spring water. Jiang Cheng glanced at him and said, "If you are in high spirits, work harder." Suji chuckled. "Amazing, I was so exhausted just now, but now that you're here, I'm fully functional." "Okay, continue when you feel more energetic." 3 days later, Yi Qingjiu was sitting in the conference room on the 14th floor. All the company executives were present, including Jiang Cheng's and Su Ji. After all, the short film was the work of both of them, so he naturally had to bring Su Ji along. Yi Qingjiu quickly pulled down the lotus leaf curtains, and the room instantly became dim. She glanced at Si Qingqing and said, "Let's show everyone yesterday's animation advertisement." "Okay, Mr. Yi." Si Qingqing turned on the projector. The stories of more than a dozen heroes begin to unfold one after another, with excellent workmanship and visual effects that are no less impressive than those of blockbusters. It combines war and fire, beauty and love, family affection and loss, inheritance and redemption. A 10-minute 3D short story tells these exquisitely. When seeing the scene with Diane Wei and Kai Wenji, several female employees couldn't help but burst into tears. The cute little girl was staggering, her voice full of innocence. "My favorite pet is Adian." But what she didn't know was that her father was killed by Diane Wei after he went berserk. Diane Wei felt very regretful after he woke up. He felt sorry for her, so he swore to protect her for the rest of his life. After the animation ended, there was silence in the conference room, and everyone was immersed in sadness and unable to let go. After a moment of silence, there was a burst of applause. "It's really hard to accept." The sentimental office director Zhao took off his glasses and quietly wiped the tears from the corners of his eyes. Manager Ma from the finance department clenched his fists, looking angry. "So, they have to fight. Only by fighting can they get the fairness that belongs to them. Yes, they have nowhere to vent their anger, and fighting is their best choice. They have no choice but to fight." Everyone's emotions were affected by this 10-minute short story. Yi Qingjiu looked at them, a smile on his lips. "So this short film advertisement has been approved by everyone, right? It's more than just passing, it's simply perfect. Perfect, no flaws. It's just a stroke of genius." Seeing that everyone was supportive, Yi Qingjiu nodded with satisfaction. "Okay then, Wu Nan. Your department can start the early marketing, lead the public opinion, and make sure that the public opinion reaches its peak by the end of the month. And then the hairstyle will be smooth, understand?" Wu Nan is the head of the marketing department. When he heard Mr. Yi speak, he nodded quickly. "Okay, Mr. Yi." Yi Qingjiu gave Jiang Cheng a meaningful look, then knocked on the table. "Okay, let's adjourn the meeting." After a while on the way back to the office, Suji couldn't contain his excitement. "Brother Cheng, did you see this? This reaction is so great." Jiang Cheng tilted his mouth corners, his face full of pride. "It's just a small scene, don't get excited." After thinking for a while, he said, "Now you have become a hit in Tengsing, you don't need to worry about your academic qualifications anymore, just stay here." Suji nodded gratefully. "Brother Jiang, it's great to have you. I just did some production this time, and the pictures and texts are all yours. Your contribution is greater than mine." Jiang Cheng patted his shoulder and said, "Speak more, good brother, for life." Suji nodded fiercely. "Yes, for a lifetime." It was around 4 in the afternoon. Jiang Cheng was getting ready to pack up and pick up his kids from get off work when the cell phone in his pocket rang. He picked it up and saw it was his mother calling. Jiang Chengyi guessed that she was thinking about her children, so he picked up the phone and said, "Hello, Mom, are you thinking about your grandchildren again?" My mother's gentle voice came from the other end of the phone. "Of course not. I miss my 2 babies. There is something else. I think I need to talk to Qingjiu." "Chat with Yi Qingjiu." Jiang Cheng asked curiously, "What's the matter?" "What else could it be? It's your business. Anyway, bring my daughter-in-law back tonight and I'll make dumplings for you." When Jiang Cheng heard about dumplings, he became greedy. Even though he was a good cook, no matter how good his cooking skills were, the taste of his mother's dumplings was the best in the world. "No problem, pork and cabbage stuffing." Mother Jiang smiled and said, "I knew you loved to eat, come back soon." "Okay." After hanging up the phone, Jiang Cheng left with a smile. She was discussing marketing details with Wu Nan from the marketing department. When Jiang Cheng opened the door, he saw Yi Qingjiu with a serious face, a pair of slender arms around him, and a strong aura. "We must maximize our interests. Do you understand? Ask manager Luo to keep a close eye on us. If Yaochen dares to blackmail us again this time, I will take legal action and make him leave with nothing to lose." Wu Nan lowered his head and said, "I understand, Mr. Yi." Seeing Jiang Cheng coming, Yi Qingjiu raised his chin and said, "Okay, you can go out first." "Yes," Wu Nan lowered his head and walked out. Jiang Cheng teased. Oh, it seems that I came at the wrong time and delayed our CEO Yi from showing off his prowess. Yi Qingjiu's beautiful eyes tilted. What's the matter? Hey, Mom asked us to go home and eat dumplings. She said she has something to discuss with us. Okay, I understand. Yi Qingjiu sat down on the leather boss chair. He had an indignant look on his face, and it was obvious that he was sulking because he was bullied. Jiang Cheng couldn't help but be curious. What happened? Wasn't everything fine during the meeting just now? Yi Qingjiu had a worried look on his face. Yao Chen is such a fly, he's everywhere. Jiang Cheng frowned. Yi Qingjiu continued. Tanxing's monthly expense report always includes an item about public relations. All the negative comments about Tanxing on the internet were leaked by Yao Chen, as expected. They are the ones who did the bad things, but they want us to pay for it. They are just trying to disgust you in various ways. We just had a meeting in the morning, and in the afternoon there were more posts. They were all negative opinions about Tanxing. I really wonder if there is a traitor in the company. Yi Qingjiu became angrier as he spoke, and a look of worry disappeared from his handsome face. After saying that, she rubbed her brows with her hands and said, Forget it, let's not talk about this anymore. Let's go pick up the kids first and have dinner at Mom's place tonight. Don't be late. Jiang Cheng looked at her haggard appearance and held her in his arms. Don't be afraid, my wife, your husband is here. Let's go home and eat first. I'll take care of the traitor. Really? Yi Qingjiu raised his head to look at her. Her fine hair covered her forehead and she looked extremely seductive. She is not good at intrigue and has always been reckless. However, in this world, those who act recklessly often suffer the most. Really? Jiang Cheng put his hand into her yellowish hair and scratched it gently. Remember, you are a married woman. Yi Qingjiu buried her head in him, and the pleasant smell of soapberry made her heart calm down. Jiang Cheng pulled her up and said, Let's go pick up the baby. Chapter 73, I am here to support my wife. The two of them went downstairs and headed towards the Montleys kindergarten. On the way, Jiang Cheng kept thinking, Morning U Group is one of the top listed groups in China and is no less powerful than Tencent Star. The two companies have been evenly matched for so many years, and both have wanted to defeat the other, but have never succeeded. Over the years, they have also been undermining each other openly and secretly, and fighting is common. What happened today clearly shows that there is a traitor in the company. There is no doubt about that, and the traitor should be among the group of people who attended the meeting today. During the meeting, I was observing the true feelings expressed by each person, and used this to judge the shocking degree of the short video. At that time, it seemed that only one person looked a little strange, even a little nervous. Sitting in the corner, looking at the phone from time to time. Jiang Cheng didn't take it too seriously at the time, but now thinking back, he felt that there was probably something wrong with this person. Just ask tomorrow and you'll find some clues. Arriving at the kindergarten, Jiang Cheng stopped the car and glanced at Yi Qingjiu, who was drooping her head beside him. He knew that she was still upset about the traitor. He gave her a warm smile and said, Cheer up, I'm here for. Yi Qingjiu nodded and took a deep breath. She didn't want her mood to affect the children. As soon as the two got out of the car, they saw a group of children jumping out of the school. Niu and Yanyan saw Yi Qingjiu and Jiang Cheng and ran towards them happily. Niu looked at her with her innocent face, her voice soft and sticky. Mom, how come you have time to pick us up today? Yanyan also stared with curiosity. Mom, don't you have to work overtime today? Yi Qingjiu patted the two babies' heads and looked at them tenderly. Mom doesn't have to work overtime today. Let's go to Grandma's house for dinner together. Okay, Tilda. When they heard they were going to Grandma's house, the two kids were extremely happy. Niu clapped his hands and was extremely excited. Great, Niu can ride a horse again. Jiang Cheng looked at his lovely daughter and said, Grandpa really loves you. When Daddy was little, he never treated Grandpa like a horse. Yanyan was also very happy. Daddy, will Grandma buy some potato chips for Yanyan? His greedy little look was so adorable that Yi Qingjiu looked full of love. She gently scratched the tip of his nose and said angrily, What a glutton, Tilda. The family of four got in the car and drove along the road towards the Wellington Villa area. There are two large supermarkets at the entrance of the villa area. When passing by, Yi Qingjiu asked Jiang Cheng to stop the car. After all, they don't come often, so I'd better buy some more nutritional supplements for them. Seeing that she was about to go shopping, Jiang Cheng stopped her and said, Wife, we have everything at home, so there is no need to buy anything. It's not that he is stingy. It's just that he probably didn't finish what he bought last time, so there's no point in buying so much. Yi Qingjiu raised her chin, looking proud and arrogant. How come you don't lack anything? What if you don't know what's missing? After saying that, he opened the car door and walked out. The two babies were anxious when they saw Mommy going to the supermarket alone. Yanyan's chubby little hands slapped the glass. Mommy, Nua wants to go too, Tilda. Nua was also very anxious. Dad, please open the door for us. Mommy secretly bought food without us. Jiang Cheng looked at the two little cuties, not knowing whether to laugh or cry. Why would Mom not take you with you? Come on, let's go find her now. After saying that, he got out of the car, opened the door, and put the two babies down. As soon as they touched the ground, the two babies ran to the supermarket anxiously. Jiang Cheng was afraid that they would get lost, so he hurriedly chased after them. Slow down, slow down. The two babies were so focused on finding their mother that they had no time to listen to Jiang Cheng's words. Yi Qingjiu entered the supermarket, and before he could even turn around, he saw Ma Ru walking towards him with a bag of things. The more you don't want to meet someone, the more you meet him or her. Oh, what a coincidence. I didn't expect to meet you here. Ma Ru's fake smile made people feel uncomfortable. Yi Qingjiu said nothing. He acted as if he didn't see her. After all, he was still upset about her pulling Jiang Cheng's hand. Qingjiu, you are not angry about what happened between me and Jiang Cheng, right? There is really nothing between him and me. Please don't misunderstand me. Ma Ru was deliberately evasive when she spoke, hoping to make Yi Qingjiu think too much. Since robbing her openly doesn't work, let's do it covertly. If I can't get her, I can't let her live comfortably. Jiang Cheng is such an outstanding person. Even if she can't get him, she can't let Yi Qingjiu feel too good about it. Yi Qingjiu curled the corners of his lips, his smile not reaching his eyes. Don't worry, I won't misunderstand. Sheng Xinyan told her everything that happened that day, and she looked at Ma Ru as if she were a clown. As she was talking, the two babies came running over, holding Yi Qingjiu's hands on the left and right. Mom, we finally found you. As soon as Jiang Cheng entered the supermarket, he saw two little ones standing next to their motionless mother. And Yi Qingjiu seemed to be talking to someone. When he walked closer, he saw it was Ma Ru and walked over in 2 steps. She put her arm around Yi Qingjiu's shoulders and said, Wife, why don't you go buy something? Mom and Dad will be anxious waiting for you soon. This woman, Ma Ru, seemed to have some problems with her brain. He didn't want to get entangled with her, and he didn't want his wife to get entangled with her. Ma Ru looked at Jiang Cheng with regret. These two children really don't look like you at all. Hearing this, Yi Qingjiu's face darkened, and he bit the corner of his lip unconsciously. What does she mean by this? Jiang Cheng sneered, not like, are you blind? Ma Ru glared at him. I'm kindly reminding you, what do you mean by that? What do you mean? Literally, to put it mildly, you are trying to sow discord between us. To put it seriously, you are spreading rumors and slandering us. You must apologize to my wife. Ma Ru was very angry about his words. Why should she apologize? Jiang Cheng, I just don't understand what's so good about Yi Qingjiu. Isn't she just a little prettier? Before Ma Ru finished speaking, Jiang Cheng interrupted her. It's not that she's prettier, she's really pretty. Not only is my wife pretty, she's also gentle, kind, cute, and generous. On the other hand, some people are simply unbearable to look at. Ma Ru was irritated by his insinuation. She glared at Jiang Cheng and asked, Who are you talking about? Jiang Cheng's expression turned cold, completely losing his usual carefree demeanor, and he said word by word, Please apologize. Ma Ru was startled by his stern look. His tone softened involuntarily. I just said that. Why are you so unreasonable? Jiang Cheng hugged Yi Qingjiu and said sternly, I'm here to support my wife, not to reason with you. Apologize quickly. What? Yi Qingjiu was stunned when he saw his serious face. What did he say? He came to support himself. Chapter 74, When Will the Wedding Be Held? Over the years, she has become accustomed to being alone and crying in the bathroom when she is wronged. After crying, she pretended that nothing had happened, and she was still the iron-clad Yi Qingjiu. But he actually said that he came to support himself. A part of my heart gradually softened. Ma Ru looked at the viciousness in Jiang Cheng's eyes and became even more frightened. So what if I don't apologize? Yanyan looked at Ma Ru with an expression that she couldn't stand it any longer. You bad aunt, you are not allowed to bully Mai. Nu's face was puffed up with anger. Bad auntie, stay away from us, we don't like you. Yi Qingjiu looked at the three of them, and his temper just now completely disappeared. After being told this by the two children, Ma Ru felt embarrassed and angry, but she couldn't scold the children, so she muttered, What kind of children are these? So rude. Then he left angrily. As soon as she left, the two babies hurriedly hugged Mommy's legs, as if they were afraid that she would be wronged. Don't be afraid, Mommy. We won't let the bad aunt bully you. Yanyan will grow up quickly and protect mommy and sister. Yi Qingjiu looked at the two babies, her face full of emotion, tears welling up in her eyes. Jiang Cheng also squatted down. He touched Yanyan's head and asked curiously, Yanyan, why don't you protect your father? Yanyan blinked. Her eyelashes were thick and long, and her eyes looked very much like Yi Qingjiu. He looked at Jiang Cheng seriously. Because mommy said that Yanyan needs to become a man so that he can protect us like daddy. He said with a hesitant look, so daddy is very powerful and doesn't need Yanyan's protection. Jiang Cheng touched his head looking curious. Oh, what else did mama say? He was really curious about how Yi Qingjiu described him in front of the children. Mom also said that daddy has worked very hard for our family, so we should listen to daddy and not make him work harder. Niu saw that his father didn't ask him. I was a little anxious. Mom also said that if daddy doesn't do well, we can't be angry because it's daddy's first time being a daddy, and he has tried his best to give us the best. Listening to the words of the two darlings, Jiang Cheng's eyes felt a little sore. It turns out that the children are not sensible enough. It's not that I'm really that outstanding. Instead, Yi Qingjiu has always helped him maintain the image of a good father in front of the children. Thinking of this, he couldn't help but look at Yi Qingjiu. Seeing him look like that, Yi Qingjiu coughed twice unnaturally. Let's go buy things quickly. If we're late, our parents will get worried. What? After buying the things, the family got back into the car and drove into the community. Mother Jiang was waiting at the door. When she saw Jiang Cheng's car driving back, she hurried down the stairs with a smile on her face. Yi Qingjiu got out of the car and looked at the enthusiastic Mother Jiang, lowering her head shyly. Mom, we are back. The call of Mom made Jiang's mother's face bloom. Good children, the dumplings are all wrapped and we are waiting for you to come back. Jiang Cheng opened the car door, and the two babies climbed down quickly, then ran to their grandmother and started acting coquettishly. Grandma Niu misses you so much. Grandma Yanyan misses you. Mother Jiang was so pleased with the sweet words spoken by the two meatballs that she smiled happily. Dear Grandma misses you too. Grandpa especially prepared a children's room for you. It has lots of toys. Grandma will take you to see it, okay? Hearing that a children's room had been prepared for the children, Yi Qingjiu felt a little guilty. How could he let the elderly spend money? Mom, look at you. I haven't done anything for you. How can I let you spend money? Mother Jiang held her hand and said, What nonsense are you talking about? We are a family. Come on, let's go in and eat dumplings. Several people entered the house, walked around the living room, and walked a while before reaching the dining room. Father Jiang brought over plates of freshly cooked dumplings. Jiu, eat them while they're hot. They won't taste good if they're cold. Yi Qingjiu nodded. Thank you, Dad. Oh, don't be polite, eat quickly. After saying that, he glared at Jiang Cheng and said, You have no manners, don't you know how to pick a dipping sauce for the wine? Jiang Cheng shook his head and looked at Yi Qingjiu with a smile. See, since you came, I am no longer your biological child. As soon as Yanyan saw there was something delicious to eat, she immediately climbed onto the chair and sat down. Grandma Niu wants to eat dumplings too, Tilda. Niu also climbed up. Grandma, I'm still here, don't forget me. Looking at the cute appearance of the two babies, Jiang's father's eyes wrinkled with smile. So cute. Jiang Cheng couldn't help but show off. Isn't she even cuter than when I was a kid? No matter who it is, as long as someone praises the two children, Jiang Cheng immediately becomes proud. Father Jiang glanced at him and said, How can that be compared? You were so amazing when you were a kid. Thinking of Jiang Cheng's childhood, Father Jiang couldn't help but shook his head. The one who climbs over walls and trees is just a monkey. Mother Jiang was making dumplings for her two precious grandsons in the kitchen when she heard the boss talking about her son. She hurriedly came out with dumplings in her hand. Don't listen to your father's nonsense. He was the one who loved you the most when you were a child. He held you in his arms all day long like you were his treasure. Seeing his wife come out to expose his past, Jiang's father pretended to be angry. Why are you everywhere? Eat, eat. The family began to eat dumplings on the table. After finishing the meal, Jiang Ma looked at Yi Qingjiu and said, Qingjiu, it's been such a long time since we got the marriage certificate. Shouldn't we meet with our parents to discuss the wedding? After hearing what Jiang Ma said, Yi Qingjiu paused and glanced at Jiang Cheng secretly. Jiang Cheng looked at her with a smile. Wife, on the day of your wedding, I will definitely order you the most beautiful wedding dress in Sichuan City. Yi Qingjiu thought for a while and said, How about this, Mom? I'll go back and discuss it with my family first. Grandpa and Grandma are easier to talk to, after all, they are in Sichuan City. My mom has been in Country M and has rarely come back in recent years. Mother Jiang nodded. her eyes full of spring breeze. Okay, no hurry, no hurry, I just want to see you in your wedding dress. It is said that women look most beautiful in wedding dresses, and our Kingjiu will definitely look even better in it. She felt sorry for her because she knew that Kingjiu's parents divorced when she was a child. She is raising 2 children by herself without their mother. It's quite pitiful. Yi Qingjiu lowered his head and said nothing. His eyes were wet. On the way home, Yi Qingjiu looked at Jiang Cheng and said, "Let's go see Grandpa and Grandma some other day." Her grandfather, Yi Chun, is an out-and-out second-generation Red. When he was young, he was also the local top leader. Now that he is old, he practices calligraphy and painting at home, and he is quite happy and free. My grandmother was the most beautiful girl in the art troupe. She was good at singing and dancing. Jiang Cheng nodded. No problem, I'd love to have you. Chapter 75, Accidentally Caught a Traitor. Yi Qingjiu thought for a moment and said, "Then let's go on the weekend and bring Niu and Yanyan with us." Jiang Cheng nodded. "I'll do as you say." The next morning, Aunt Zhang prepared breakfast as usual, and the family of 4 ate breakfast and went out. After parting with the 2 babies, the car drove all the way to Tengsing. On the way, Jiang Cheng asked, "Wife, what was the name of the man in the white shirt sitting in the corner yesterday?" Yi Qingjiu tried hard to recall and found that in the 2 corners opposite her sight seemed to be Xiao Zhao from the finance department and Xiao Zhang from the R&D department, but neither of them was wearing a white shirt. "Which corner are you talking about?" Yi Qingjiu was a little confused. Seeing that she was completely unaware, Jiang Cheng became even more convinced that the traitor was most likely the man in the white shirt. He raised his eyebrows and said calmly, "That must be him. That person has been sitting in the corner to your right. It's normal that you can't see him." The conference room was rectangular. Yi Qingjiu was facing the door, and all he noticed were the people facing him. She thought for a long time, but still couldn't remember who was wearing the white shirt. She looked into the distance and said, "Come to my office later. Kinking should know." When they arrived at Tengsing, the 2 entered the president's office. Si Kinking saw Yi Qingjiu coming and hurriedly followed him in, bowing politely. "Mr. Yi, Mr. Jiang, good morning." Yi Qingjiu looked indifferent. "Who wore a white shirt at the meeting yesterday?" Si Kinking thought for a moment and said, "It should be Wen Dong from the Wireless Technology R&D department. He was wearing a white shirt yesterday." Wendong is from the Wireless Technology R&D department and has always been in a core position in the company. Yi Qingjiu frowned and said, "Go call someone over here." Si Kinking nodded. "Okay, Mr. Yi." 5 minutes later, Wendong followed Si Kinking into the president's office. He was still wearing yesterday's white shirt, suit pants, and black leather shoes. He looked like a good employee. "Boss Yi, you are looking for me." Yi Qingjiu glanced at him with her phoenix eyes, as if she could see through him. "You were the one who leaked Tengsing's animated short film yesterday, right?" "Mr. Yi, I didn't do that. Please don't accuse me." Wendong spoke calmly and did not look panicked at all. Yi Qingjiu looked at him, his eyes dim but sharp. "Have you signed a confidentiality agreement with Teng Exing?" All middle and senior management in the company have signed a confidentiality agreement with Tengsing. The agreement states that if the secret is deliberately leaked, Tengsing must pay a compensation of 5 million. Tengsing will also publish the names of the leakers on its official website to set the record straight. But now Yi Qingjiu has no evidence in his hands, and if he wants him to tell the truth, he can only scare him. "Boss Yi, you wronged me. I didn't do that." He did not give Teng Exing's information to outsiders, so the confidentiality agreement really couldn't scare him. Seeing that he didn't admit it, Yi Qingjiu's expression darkened. "Tell me, how much money did Yaochen give you to buy Tengsing's information? Are those negative information about Tengsing that were exposed on the internet related to you?" Wendong nodded slightly with a look of disbelief on his face. "Boss Yi, what are you talking about? How could I possibly give Teng Exing's information to Yu Chen?" The sincere look in his eyes when he spoke did seem quite innocent. Jiang Cheng was a little confused. If it wasn't him, what was he doing so secretly yesterday? He sat on the sofa and looked at Wendong playfully. "After all, I don't have much evidence, so if I want him to confess, he has to confess." He thought about it and sent a WeChat message to Yi Qingjiu. "Wife, ignore him, just let him stand there without saying anything." Seeing that he refused to admit it, Yi Qingjiu was so angry that she was about to scold him and fire him. After receiving Jiang Cheng's WeChat message, I somehow shut up. When Wendong saw Yi Qingjiu asking him, he was relieved at first. Seeing Yi Qingjiu reading the documents seriously, Jiang Cheng couldn't help but send her a WeChat message. "Wife, you are so good, Tilda." Yi Qingjiu glanced at him and replied, You are so unruly. Jiang Cheng, what do you want to eat for lunch? Yi Qingju, I kind of want to eat the gelish and spicy chicken downstairs, Tilda. Jiang Cheng, it's unhygienic. Wait, your husband will go back and make it for you. Don't pay any attention to him and don't tell him to leave or stay. Seeing how worried he was, Yi Qingju couldn't help but chuckle and typed a line of words on his phone. I know, stop nagging. Jiang Chengfa went downstairs as soon as he finished speaking. His wife likes spicy food and has a bad stomach. We had lunch outside at noon that day. I didn't pay attention to her, and she ran to the bathroom 8 times. Today, I would not take her out to eat no matter what. Must do it yourself. After getting downstairs, Jiang Cheng drove back home. When he entered the house, Aunt Zhang was cleaning. He glanced at Aunt Zhang and asked, Aunt Zhang, do we have any chickens at home? Aunt Zhang stopped what she was doing and looked at him with a smile. Of course there is. It's in the refrigerator. I just bought it yesterday, but you said you wouldn't be home to eat it tonight. Got it, Jiang Cheng said and went into the kitchen, took out the chicken from the refrigerator, thawed it, and chopped it into small pieces in a few seconds. Then add 8 parts of oil, diced chicken, and various seasonings. When the food is crispy on the outside and tender on the inside, add the sautéed dried chilies. The last step is to serve. He packed a whole lunch box with spicy diced chicken. I also fried some spinach. Only then did he go to Tengsing with his loving lunch box, feeling satisfied. When they arrived at the office, Yi Qingjiu, as expected, obediently lowered his head and looked at the documents again. Wen Dong, who was standing aside, was sweating profusely and looked at a loss. Jiang Cheng put the food on the table with a smile. Wife, gelish and spicy chicken, absolutely authentic. Ding Tilda. Congratulations to the host for completing the task of sending a loving lunch box to his wife. Reward, God-level calligraphy. Jiang Cheng shouted 666. Wow, I was just worrying about what to give to Yi Qingjiu's grandparents when I went to see them, and here comes this God-level calligraphy. Elderly people, especially those of status, generally like calligraphy and paintings. Wen Dong stood there for 2 full hours, looking at the 2 people in front of him, feeling like he was going crazy. He did not sell Tengsing's information to Yaochen, but he gave all the information to the group's vice president, Li Zhang. Li Zhang is often not in the company, so he would give himself an extra 10,000 yuan every month so that he could always get first-hand information about Tengsing. Yesterday, he just followed the routine and recorded the meeting and sent the audio to Li Zhang. Unexpectedly, Yu Chen knew about Teng Xing's plan in the afternoon and even exaggerated it and made it into black material and posted it on the internet. The more Wen Dong thought about it, the more uncertain he became. Jiang Cheng glanced at Yi Qingjiu and said, Wife, since it's not Wen Dong, just sue him directly. If this matter really has nothing to do with him, that would be the best. Even if it does, you have already asked, so you have done your best. Yi Qingjiu picked up the phone and called Si Qingqing, his tone cold. Notify the legal department to prepare the materials and initiate prosecution. Chapter 76, I see. Hearing that he was going to sue, Wen Dong panicked. I'm telling you, Mr. Yi, I really didn't sell the information to Yu Chen. I just gave the information to Mr. Li. Li Zhang. Wen Dong nodded nervously. Boss Yi, you know my family is not well off, and I'm already over 30 this year. My girlfriend has been urging me to buy a house for a long time. If I can't pay the down payment, I'm afraid I won't be able to get married. He swallowed hard and said, Mr. Li knows that my conditions are not good, so he promised to give me an extra 10,000 yuan a month and asked me to report company information to him in a timely manner. He is also the vice president of the company and a shareholder. I don't think it's selling out the company if I tell him. That's why I report everything to him. I don't know either. How did Yaochen find out about it? Hearing this, Yi Qingjiu frowned. Okay, I understand, you can go down. Wen Dong was worried that Yi Qingjiu would fire him, so he lowered his head and continued to explain. Yi, Mr. Yi, I don't know who leaked this. I just told Mr. Li about it, and Mr. Li said that he was often not in the company and just wanted to understand the company's situation. Yi Qingjiu snorted coldly. How could a smart man like Li Zhang say that he asked Wen Dong to inquire in order to tell Yu Chen the information? Wen Dong was frightened by Yi Qingjiu's cold shout. He lowered his head and pinched his trouser legs again and again. Yi, Mr. Yi, you won't fire me, will you? I was wrong. I shouldn't have taken Mr. Li's money. I hope you can show mercy. I really want to stay in Tengsing. After leaving Tengsing, he had no idea where to earn money to buy a house. Not to mention buying a house, it would even be difficult to eat. Although Jiang Cheng didn't quite understand the relationships among Tengsing's top management. But he only knew one thing. Anyone who went against his wife was definitely not a good person. He looked at Li Dong and said, "It's not impossible for you to stay. From now on, President Yi will give you an extra 10,000 yuan salary every month. But the condition is that you must tell President Yi in advance what information President Li asks you to collect. Can you do it?" After such a big incident, not only did he not hold himself accountable, but he also gave away 10,000 yuan. Wen Dong was deeply moved. He looked at Jiang Cheng and nodded excitedly. "Yes, I can." After saying that, he bowed to Jiang Cheng, then turned around and bowed to Yi Qingjiu. "Thank you, Mr. Yi. Thank you, Mr. Jiang. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to reform myself. From now on, I will work hard." Yi Qingjiu raised his hand and said, "Okay, go down." After Wen Dong left, Jiang Cheng looked at Yi Qingjiu, who had a worried look on her face. "Wife, it seems that Mr. Li and you don't get along well." Yi Qingjiu pinched the bridge of his nose. "You are such a shrewd old man." It turned out that when Yi Qingjiu's father Yi En was around, several people were still afraid. Now it's Yi Qingjiu, a yellow-haired girl who would be afraid of her. Several people had already discussed buying her shares, but she had never agreed. Giving the information to Yao Chen and doing all these small things is just to make her give up and force her to give up her shares. Jiang Cheng patted her head and said, "Don't think too much. Since he's a seasoned man, let's just deal with him once. In a couple of days, we can find a reason, hold a meeting, spread some false news, and wait for him to take the bait." Yi Qingjiu looked at Jiang Cheng, her eyes filled with shattered stars. She wanted to see through him, to get into his heart and see how many secrets he was hiding. Jiang Cheng patted her head and said, "Okay, stop imagining and eat quickly. It will get cold if you don't." Yi Qingjiu nodded, and the two of them put the food on the coffee table and ate with a smile on their faces. Si Qingqing walked in with a file box, originally planning to ask Yi Qingjiu for his signature. As soon as I walked in, I was attracted by the aroma of spicy chicken. She swallowed, her eyes fixed on the spicy chicken in the lunch box. "Boss Yi, what are you eating? It smells so good." After being asked this, Yi Qingjiu felt embarrassed to eat. She blinked and looked at Jiang Cheng innocently. Jiang Cheng looked at the assistant with a smile. "It just so happens that I cooked too much today, so I fried a whole chicken. Here's another box, take it and eat it." After saying that, he handed over the lunch box. The assistant took it with a smile. "Thank you, Mr. Jiang." After that, he walked to the table and put down the documents. "Mr. Yi, these need to be signed today." Then she walked out happily, holding the spicy chicken cubes that Jiang Cheng had given her. As soon as I walked out the door, a sharp-eyed colleague asked, "Hey, Qingqing, what delicious food did you get?" Si Qingqing turned her head and looked at her. "You have a sharp eye. Nothing can escape your eyes." Her colleague stared at her with eyes wide open. "This must have been given by Mr. Yi. Good things should be shared." Ms. Yi has always been picky about food, and everything she eats is absolutely delicious. Si Qingqing smiled helplessly. "I'm impressed by you, let's eat together." After saying that, he walked over and the two of them sat on the desk. The moment they opened the lunch box, the aroma of spicy diced chicken wafted out. It smells so good." My colleague looked intoxicated. Si Qingqing swallowed her saliva, picked up the chopsticks and put a piece into her mouth impatiently. "Oh my God, it's so delicious." She had never eaten such delicious spicy chicken. Seeing her exaggerated expression, her colleague hurriedly took a bite and instantly his eyes lit up. What a delicious delicacy. The two of them were talking back and forth, which aroused the curiosity of other colleagues. "Come on, let me try it. Qingqing, please leave some for me. I'll have a taste after I finish my work." Everyone took a bite, and soon the gelish and spicy chicken in the lunchbox was finished in one gulp. They all looked at Si Qingqing with unsatisfied eyes. "Anything else?" "Yeah, I haven't even eaten it yet and it's gone." Si Qingqing looked embarrassed. "This is given by Mr. Jiang. He and Mr. Yi are having dinner together. I can't go in and ask for it." Hearing this, everyone was very disappointed. "Well, you can ask where they bought it, and then we can go over and eat it." "Yes, dear." Encouraged by everyone, Si Qingqing walked into Yi Qingjiu's office with an embarrassed look on her face. Seeing her embarrassment, Yi Qingjiu asked curiously, "What's wrong?" Si Qingqing swallowed her saliva and said, They asked me to ask Mr. Jiang where he bought the spicy chicken. It's so delicious." Hearing this, Yi Qingjiu didn't know whether to laugh or cry. "Jiang Cheng did it himself. Yeah, Jiuju can't eat anything too spicy, so I didn't put too much chili in it. I didn't expect it to be so popular." "Oh my God, what a wonderful husband. So thoughtful, so warm, great at cooking." Si Qingqing was immediately fed with dog food. "Hey, Mr. Yi, I won't disturb you guys while you're eating." After saying that, he turned and walked out. Chapter 77, Mother Yi is returning to China. As soon as I went out, 7 or 8 pairs of eyes stared at me. How is it? Which store? Do you want the address? Si King said with a bitter face. Don't think about it, Mr. Jiang made it himself. He was worried that Mr. Yi wouldn't eat well, so he sent it specially. Let's go back to work. Hearing this, everyone's eyes widened. Oh my God, our Mr. Yi is so lucky, Tilda. I didn't expect Mr. Jiang to be such a good cook. It's so perfect, Tilda. I think I want a husband like this. I want it too. I'm going to download a cooking app right now so my boyfriend can learn how to cook. If he can't cook well, I won't marry him. What? There were voices of praise coming from outside the door. The sound was heard in the office. Yi Qingju crossed her legs, revealing a pair of beautiful long and white legs. She looked at Jiang Cheng leisurely. You are now a big celebrity in our Tengsing. Many girls want you. You are really popular. Jiang Cheng heard the teasing in the words and raised his eyebrows. Why? Are you jealous? Yi Qingju nodded. Yes, I'm jealous. When she spoke, her eyes were moving, her eyebrows were deep, and the corners of her red lips were slightly raised. She was so beautiful that it was beyond words. In fact, she was not jealous. What was so delicious about it? My husband is so outstanding. I shouldn't be too happy for him. Why would I be jealous? Jiang Cheng looked at her beautiful face and was stunned for a moment. After a moment, he put his arm around her neck and pecked her on the forehead. Are you still jealous now? Yi Qingju pouted, his face darkening. What do you think? Who made him tease me every time, making me blush and my heart beat fast, and making me jealous? This time, it was my turn to tease him and make him anxious too. Seeing that she still didn't let him go, Jiang Cheng looked at him with a look of laughter and tears. Wife, I am too wronged. The corners of Yi Qingju's red lips moved, and she said proudly, How have I ever wronged you? Jiang Cheng smiled bitterly. I love you very much, but you always don't believe me. Tell me, am I wronged? Yi Qingju looked at him innocently. Why didn't I feel it? She just wanted to make things difficult for him, just to let him know how powerful she was. Who made him always make things difficult for her? Jiang Cheng looked at her and laughed. You really can't feel it. Yi Qingju nodded. Of course, Tilda. Since we can't feel it, let's just feel it. Jiang Cheng smiled with ill intention and stood up after speaking. Seeing him walking towards her, Yi Qingju couldn't help but get a little nervous. What are you doing? His protruding Adam's apple rolled. Guess what? She swallowed nervously, her eyes wandering. She knew that if he went further, she would not be able to refuse. What? You fly proudly over the leaves where I live. Yi Qingju's cell phone rang unexpectedly. Yi Qingju shyly pushed Jiang Cheng away and said, Hey, I need to answer a call. After saying that, he quickly walked towards the desk. 1,000 horses were galloping through Jiang Cheng's heart. I don't know who is so blind to make such a phone call. Yi Qingju picked up the phone, saw the incoming call reminder, paused, and said, Hello, Mom. Jiang Cheng swallowed, mother-in-law. As far as he could remember, this was the first time that Yi's mother called him. Jiu, did you call your mother yesterday? Even through the phone, one could tell that Mother Yi was an elegant woman. Yes, Mom, I'm getting married. Yi Qingju spoke a little unnaturally. Get married? There was a pause on the other end of the phone. Are the children willing? Mother Yi is a person who pursues art all her life. After divorcing Yi-En, she went to Country F alone, then to Country Y, and then to Country D to experience the rich artistic atmosphere there. Finally, they settled in Country M, and over the years they only spoke on the phone occasionally. The relationship is neither good nor bad. How can I describe it? They miss each other but rarely contact each other. They clearly want to be closer, but they unconsciously distance themselves from each other. The children are willing to do so. This is their biological father. Yi Qingju bit her lip like a child who had done something wrong. Oh, that's it. Then, do you need me to go back and see you? Mother Yi asked cautiously. If you're busy, forget it. Yi Qingju's answer was straightforward, but there was a subtle loneliness in his eyes. Well, it's just right that I go back to visit your grandpa and grandma. How could she not want to see her daughter getting married? However, over the years, she had only seen an insurmountable gap between them. They both try hard to maintain boundaries that make each other comfortable and get along with each other carefully. Okay, Mom. Well, I'll book a ticket now. If nothing goes wrong, I can arrive in Chuancheng tomorrow. What? After hanging up the phone, Jiang Cheng looked at Yi Qingju. Is it our mother calling? Yi Qingju clenched her white hands together unnaturally. She nodded, yeah. Jiang Cheng was a little nervous. Come tomorrow. Yi Qingju still nodded, yeah. What time are you coming? Do you want me to pick you up at the airport? Yi Qingjiu pursed her lips, looking a little nervous. I don't know. Jiang Cheng looked at Yi Qingjiu, who was at a loss, and asked curiously, Wife, what's wrong with you? Yi Qingjiu swallowed and said, No, nothing. Mom is coming back tomorrow and she is going to see her. How can she not be nervous? That's the person who gave birth to her. Jiang Cheng looked at her with some surprise, but more of pity. Wife, don't be nervous. If the sky falls, there are big guys to hold it up. What? At 5 o'clock in the afternoon, Jiang Cheng and Yi Qingjiu appeared at the kindergarten gate on time. When the two babies saw their dad and mom, they held their hands and ran over excitedly. Daddy, Mommy, Tilda. Jiang Cheng saw the two babies tying their hands and hurriedly squatted down. The two babies threw themselves into his arms one by one. Being pounced upon by the two meatballs, Jiang Cheng suddenly leaned back. Seeing him sway, Yi Qingjiu quickly bent down to support him. Jiang Cheng turned his head, and his eyes fell on the wrong place. Seeing that his eyes were wide open, Yi Qingjiu subconsciously covered his collar. A face that is already blushing can't be any redder. Jiang Cheng cleared his throat and said, Hey, I'll go shopping with you next time. It's easy to catch a cold if your neck is too exposed. It's okay for you to look after your own wife, but if your grandson sees it one day, you will suffer a great loss. Chapter 78, Yi Qingjiu's Concern. As soon as I went out, 7 or 8 pairs of eyes stared at me. How is it? Which store? Do you want the address? Si Qingqing said with a bitter face. Don't think about it, Mr. Jiang made it himself. He was worried that Mr. Yi wouldn't eat well, so he sent it specially. Let's go back to work. Hearing this, everyone's eyes widened. Oh my God, our Mr. Yi is so lucky, Tilda. I didn't expect Mr. Jiang to be such a good cook. It's so perfect, Tilda. I think I want a husband like this. I want it too. I'm going to download a cooking app right now so my boyfriend can learn how to cook. If he can't cook well, I won't marry him. What? There were voices of praise coming from outside the door. The sound was heard in the office. Yi Qingjiu crossed her legs, revealing a pair of beautiful long and white legs. She looked at Jiang Cheng leisurely. You are now a big celebrity in our Tengsing. Many girls want you. You are really popular. Jiang Cheng heard the teasing in the words and raised his eyebrows. Why? Are you jealous? Yi Qingjiu nodded. Yes, I'm jealous. When she spoke, her eyes were moving, her eyebrows were deep, and the corners of her red lips were slightly raised. She was so beautiful that it was beyond words. In fact, she was not jealous. What was so delicious about it? My husband is so outstanding. I shouldn't be too happy for him. Why would I be jealous? Jiang Cheng looked at her beautiful face and was stunned for a moment. After a moment, he put his arm around her neck and pecked her on the forehead. Are you still jealous now? Yi Qingjiu pouted, his face darkening. What do you think? Who made him tease me every time, making me blush and my heart beat fast, and making me jealous? This time, it was my turn to tease him and make him anxious too. Seeing that she still didn't let him go, Jiang Cheng looked at him with a look of laughter and tears. Wife, I am too wronged. The corners of Yi Qingjiu's red lips moved, and she said proudly, How have I ever wronged you? Jiang Cheng smiled bitterly. I love you very much, but you always don't believe me. Tell me, am I wronged? Yi Qingjiu looked at him innocently. Why didn't I feel it? She just wanted to make things difficult for him, just to let him know how powerful she was. Who made him always make things difficult for her? Jiang Cheng looked at her and laughed. You really can't feel it. Yi Qingjiu nodded. Of course, Tilda. Since we can't feel it, let's just feel it. Jiang Cheng smiled with ill intention and stood up after speaking. Seeing him walking towards her, Yi Qingjiu couldn't help but get a little nervous. What are you doing? His protruding Adam's apple rolled. Guess what? She swallowed nervously, her eyes wandering. She knew that if he went further, she would not be able to refuse. What? You fly proudly over the leaves where I live. Yi Qingjiu's cell phone rang unexpectedly. Yi Qingjiu shyly pushed Jiang Cheng away and said, Hey, I need to answer a call. After saying that, he quickly walked towards the desk. 1,000 horses were galloping through Jiang Cheng's heart. I don't know who is so blind to make such a phone call. Yi Qingjiu picked up the phone, saw the incoming call reminder, paused, and said, Hello, Mom. Jiang Cheng swallowed, mother-in-law. As far as he could remember, this was the first time that Yi's mother called him. Jiu, did you call your mother yesterday? Even through the phone, one could tell that Mother Yi was an elegant woman. Yes, Mom, I'm getting married. Yi Qingjiu spoke a little unnaturally. Get married? There was a pause on the other end of the phone. Are the children willing? Mother Yi is a person who pursues art all her life. After divorcing Yi En, she went to Country F alone, then to Country Y, and then to Country D to experience the rich artistic atmosphere there. Finally, they settled in Country M. and over the years they only spoke on the phone occasionally. The relationship is neither good nor bad. How can I describe it? They miss each other but rarely contact each other. They clearly want to be closer, but they unconsciously distance themselves from each other. The children are willing to do so. This is their biological father. Yi Qingjiu bit her lip like a child who had done something wrong. Oh, that's it. Then, do you need me to go back and see you? Mother Yi asked cautiously. If you're busy, forget it. Yi Qingjiu's answer was straightforward, but there was a subtle loneliness in his eyes. Well, it's just right that I go back to visit your grandpa and grandma. How could she not want to see her daughter getting married? However, over the years, she had only seen an insurmountable gap between them. They both try hard to maintain boundaries that make each other comfortable and get along with each other carefully. Okay, Mom. Well, I'll book a ticket now. If nothing goes wrong, I can arrive in Chuancheng tomorrow. What? After hanging up the phone, Jiang Cheng looked at Yi Qingjiu. Is it our mother calling? Yi Qingjiu clenched her white hands together unnaturally. She nodded, yeah. Jiang Cheng was a little nervous. Come tomorrow. Yi Qingjiu still nodded, yeah. What time are you coming? Do you want me to pick you up at the airport? Yi Qingjiu pursed her lips, looking a little nervous. I don't know. Jiang Cheng looked at Yi Qingjiu, who was at a loss, and asked curiously, Wife, what's wrong with you? Yi Qingjiu swallowed and said, No, nothing. Mom is coming back tomorrow and she is going to see her. How can she not be nervous? That's the person who gave birth to her. Jiang Cheng looked at her with some surprise, but more of pity. Wife, don't be nervous. If the sky falls, there are big guys to hold it up. What? At 5 o'clock in the afternoon, Jiang Cheng and Yi Qingjiu appeared at the kindergarten gate on time. When the two babies saw their dad and mom, they held their hands and ran over excitedly. Daddy, Mommy, Tilda. Jiang Cheng saw the two babies tying their hands and hurriedly squatted down. The two babies threw themselves into his arms one by one. Being pounced upon by the two meatballs, Jiang Cheng suddenly leaned back. Seeing him sway, Yi Qingjiu quickly bent down to support him. Jiang Cheng turned his head, and his eyes fell on her vaguely visible white rabbits. Seeing that his eyes were wide open, Yi Qingjiu subconsciously covered his collar. A face that is already blushing can't be any redder. Jiang Cheng cleared his throat and said, Hey, I'll go shopping with you next time. It's easy to catch a cold if your neck is too exposed. It's okay for you to look after your own wife, but if your grandson sees it one day, you will suffer a great loss. Neck cold. Yi Qingjiu looked at his unnatural expression and burst out laughing. He is obviously afraid that others will take advantage of him. You said it so politely, Tilda. Chapter 79, Daddy will buy you a dragon. Neck cold. Yi Qingjiu looked at his unnatural expression and burst out laughing. He is obviously afraid that others will take advantage of him. You said it so politely, Tilda. Daddy Nunu wants to eat longlong. Nunu hasn't eaten longlong for a long time, Tilda. Nunu looked at Jiang Cheng. His long eyelashes were like his mother's. He was so cute. Yanyan wants to eat too. Yanyan pouted. Jiang Cheng picked up the two little babies and said, Let's go buy longlong now. Yi Qingjiu was afraid that he would lose his balance, so he supported him from behind and said, Be careful with your waist. It's so terrible. This girl is so attractive. The family went to the seafood market, which was very large and crowded. It was Yi Qingjiu's first time to come to such a place, and he felt it was a bit novel. Whatever I want to eat is usually bought by Zhang Ma. It is no exaggeration to say that she has only seen cooked food. She looked around all the way, her face full of curiosity, while Jiang Cheng followed behind her with two cute kids in his arms, smiling. When I walked up to the lobster vendor, the owner saw that it was Jiang Cheng and greeted him with a smile. Hey, you're here. Last time, Jiang Cheng also came with two babies in his arms. Because the babies were so cute, he remembered them very clearly. Jiang Cheng pointed at the Oron in the transparent fish tank and said, Here, 4 of them. Yi Qingjiu looked puzzled. It's too much, can you finish it? Last time he didn't have enough money in his pocket, so he only bought 2, and the 3 of them only ate a few bites each. Not to mention myself, I couldn't bear to eat a single bite. This time he must have a good meal. More, not really. Jiang Cheng smiled and said, It's okay. It's rare that the children all want to eat. When the boss heard there were 4, he was so happy that he couldn't stop smiling. Okay, I'll install it for you right away. This time it's a big one, so I'll charge you 2,004. When Yi Qingjiu heard this, he hurried up to pay. Seeing that she was going to give money, Jiang Cheng put the 2 treasures on the ground, took out his mobile phone, and scanned the code directly. Okay, let's go back. Yi Qingjiu looked at him, his face darkening. They didn't talk all the way. When they got in the car, Jiang Cheng noticed that she looked strange and couldn't help but ask, "Wife, what's wrong with you?" Yi Qingjiu lowered his eyes. "Didn't you say we are a family? Why don't you want my money?" He always refuses to spend her money, and it's obvious that he cares about people saying he's a gigolo. "What do you mean by family? What's yours is mine, and what's mine is yours." "It's all lies." Jiang Cheng looked at her aggrieved little appearance, his face not knowing whether to laugh or cry. "Wife, we are a family. I don't care about being a gigolo. I just want to use my own abilities to make my wife and children live a better life. I want to do my best to give more so that you don't have to work so hard. Do you understand what I mean? Because she is rich, she has been accustomed to paying for everything herself over the years. Even think it's natural." Yi Qingjiu looked at Jiang Cheng, and the ice in his eyes gradually faded away. He just said that he wanted to make life better for himself and his children. He said he wanted to give them a little more. He didn't want to make himself so hard. Yi Qingjiu pursed her lips and said, "Thank you, husband." Jiang Cheng was stunned for a moment, and then the smile on his face gradually grew. This was the first time she took the initiative to call him husband. Wow, it sounds so nice, Tilda. When they got home, Yi Qingjiu sat at the piano and taught the two children to play Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. The two babies were standing on the left and right, their little heads shaking as they sang the music seriously. The chubby little hands pressed on the black and white keyboard one by one, looking so cute. Jiang Cheng looked at the backs of the three people, smiled knowingly, and then carried a bag of fresh Australian lobsters into the kitchen. Kill and clean the Australian lobster, put shredded ginger, green onion and lemon slices in the pot. Then put the first lobster into the pot and steam it. The second one, after opening the shell, is cooked with seafood, soy sauce, and minced garlic, which is a perfect match. The third one, stir-fried with chopped green onion, ginger, garlic, and a little chili, is super delicious. The fourth one is salt-baked cheese lobster. What? He brought 4 different kinds of lobsters to the table and shouted with a smile, "It's time to." When the two babies heard that there was food, they stretched out their chubby little legs and crawled down. Nunu ran while pinching her hands. "Daddy, hold me and sit down." Yanyan followed behind. "Daddy, Yanyan wants to sit on it too." Okay, Tilda." Jiang Cheng gently placed the two babies in the dining chairs. After serving them the rice, they also placed 4 different kinds of lobsters on the plates. He patted the two babies' heads and said, "Eat, eat." Nunu couldn't wait any longer. She licked her little lips, reached out to grab a piece of lobster meat and stuffed it into her mouth. Her chubby little cheeks began to move. "It's delicious." When Yanyan saw her sister doing it with her hands, she threw down her training chopsticks and started learning. Yi Qingjiu looked at the two babies wolfing down their food with a helpless look on his face. "Children, please eat slowly. If you eat too fast, it will be hard to digest, Tilda." Jiang Cheng picked up a lobster for her and said, "Wife, try it, it's fried. You should like it, Tilda." The family of 4 had a happy meal. I stayed in the children's room for a while longer before finally going to bed. At 7 o'clock in the morning, Yi Qingjiu just woke up and received a text message from his mother. I bought a flight ticket for 7 in the morning and should arrive in Sichuan City at 9 in the evening. She held the phone, hesitated for a moment, and then typed, "Do you want me to pick you up?" She hadn't asked this question for a long time because every time she asked, she got a cold response. "No thanks." After a long time, Yi Qingjiu simply stopped asking. She held the phone, feeling inexplicably nervous and a hint of inexplicable anticipation. 3 minutes later, the cell phone vibrated and Yi Qingjiu opened the text message. "Sorry to bother you." A strange sentence made Yi Qingjiu smile. After Jiang Cheng finished washing up, he saw her sitting on the bed with a look of hidden joy on her face. He couldn't help but ask curiously, "Is there any good news? You look so happy so early in the morning." Seeing him looking at her, Yi Qingjiu's expression turned cold. "No way." Jiang Cheng looked at her unnatural expression and raised his eyebrows. "Really?" Yi Qingjiu nodded. She didn't know how to tell Jiang Cheng about her relationship with her mother. "Every time I see Jiang's mother smiling and joking with Jiang Cheng, I can't help but feel sad in my heart. It would be great if my relationship with my mother could be like theirs." Her eyelashes fluttered. "Oh, by the way, her flight is tonight at 9 o'clock. Jiang Cheng was stunned for a moment. "You are talking about Mom, right?" "Yeah," Yi Qingjiu nodded. There was no expression on her face, except that her pair of pale hands were clenched together unnaturally. Jiang Cheng looked at her hands and frowned. She seemed to be like the same yesterday. "Wife, what's wrong with you?" Jiang Cheng asked with concern. Chapter 80, Pick Up My Mother In. Yi Qingjiu looked at him with a calm expression. "Nothing." Ever since she became the president, she has become very good at hiding her emotions. No one could tell what kind of heart she had beneath her calm appearance. Jiang Cheng came over, squatted beside him, touched her hand, and said with concern, "Are you really okay?" Yi Qingju shook his head. "It's okay." She didn't say anything, so he didn't dare to ask more. But the more she did this, the more he couldn't help but feel heartbroken. Jiang Cheng was secretly anxious, and suddenly he remembered the art of mind reading. "Oh, this brain," he muttered silently, "mind reading." Then I heard Yi Qingju's inner voice. "If Jiang Cheng knew the relationship between my mother and me, would he think I am cold-blooded and heartless? How should I explain to him, tell him that I have been without a mother since I was a child? I was almost raised by Aunt Zhang. Or maybe he will pity me or sympathize with me. I don't need anyone's sympathy, I'm fine." "Yes, Yi Qingju, you're fine." Jiang Cheng frowned, so she was afraid of this. Jiang Cheng walked over, took Yi Qingju's hand, squatted down, and looked at her seriously. "Wife, everyone grows up in a different environment, so the things they encounter are different. It's not shameful, and there's nothing to be afraid of. I won't pity you, nor will I sympathize with you. I will only feel sorry for you because you are my daughter-in-law. You have to remember, no matter what happens, I will always stand by your side." His words were like a shot of tranquilizer hitting Yi Qingju's heart. Yi Qingju looked at him doubtfully. "So, you know what I'm thinking." Jiang Cheng touched her head and said, "It's because we are of the same mind, Tilda." As they were talking, the two babies woke up. Niu rubbed his eyes, still drowsy, and opened his little hands for a hug. Seeing Yi Qingju sitting on the bed, he threw himself into her arms and started to act coquettishly. "Mom, I miss you so much, Tilda." Yanyan looked at Jiang Cheng and blinked innocently. "Dad, I want to drink some water." "What?" The two of them dropped the child off as usual and entered the Tengsing gate. The day passed quickly. After work, the two picked up their children as usual, had dinner, and then prepared to go to the airport. Hearing that they were going out, the two babies followed Aunt Zhang obediently to the bed. On the highway, Yi Qingju was a little nervous. Jiang Cheng patted her hands from time to time as a way of comforting her. When they arrived at the airport, they parked the car, got in, and waited at the security checkpoint. Because it was night, the airport was not crowded. Inside the security check, a middle-aged woman in Cheongsam walked out. Although she was pulling a suitcase, it did not affect her elegant and noble temperament at all. When she saw Yi Qingju standing outside the security check, a hint of excitement flashed in her eyes. But after a moment, she returned to her usual calmness. "Jiujiu, how have you been these past 2 years?" Yi Qingju looked at her, and his eyes unconsciously dropped. "Very good." Both mother and daughter are used to telling each other good news, but not bad news. Mother Yi nodded, "That's good." Then she looked at Jiang Cheng. "Are you the biological father of the child?" Jiang Cheng scratched his head awkwardly. "Yes." Mother Yi smiled and said, "Oh, that's good." Jiang Cheng hurriedly took the box and said, let's go back, it's getting late. Mom, you're tired too, go back and rest early." The three of them walked out of the first-floor lobby and arrived at the parking lot. Jiang Cheng opened the trunk and put his mother-in-law's box in it. Then he opened the car door and asked his mother-in-law to get in. Yi Qingju saw his mother get into the car and was about to open the passenger door. Unexpectedly, Jiang Cheng grabbed her hand and said, "Why sit in the front? Just sit in the back." After saying that, he opened the car door and pushed Yi Qingju into the car. Yi Qingju had no choice but to sit next to his mother without saying a word. "Are your grandparents okay?" Mother Yi spoke first. She could see that Yi Qingju was a little reserved, and she just wanted to find a random topic to make her relax. "Fortunately, Grandpa and Grandma are both in good health. We plan to visit them in 2 days." "Oh," Mother Yi nodded. "What about the children?" "The children are also very good. Jiang Cheng has been taking care of them recently. He is a good cook and is very popular with children." Mother Yi listened to her words, and a barely perceptible smile appeared in her eyes. It seems that the daughter should be very satisfied with the father of her children. There were not many cars at night, and the Phantom drove on the highway for an hour before finally stopping in the garage of the villa. Jiang Cheng parked the car and got out to help his mother-in-law open the door. Then he went to the trunk and took out the box. Mother Yi looked at the villa and sighed for a long time before finally walking in. The two babies are not used to sleeping with mom and dad. Without Jiang Cheng and Yi Qingju, the two of them had been tossing and turning in bed for 2 hours but still couldn't fall asleep. Hearing some noise outside, he ran towards the door barefoot, shouting as he ran, "Dad, Mom, are you back?" When Aunt Zhang saw the two babies running away, she hurriedly chased after them with her shoes in hand. slow down, the ground is slippery," Aunt Zhang shouted as they ran out. Seeing Mother Yi in the living room, Mother Zhang was stunned for a moment, then nodded quickly, "Madam." Mother Yi raised her hand and said, "Thank you for your hard work over the years." Aunt Zhang smiled and said, "It's not hard, it's all my fault." When the two babies saw Mother Yi, they became restrained. Niu walked over with a puzzled look on his face. "Are you my grandma?" Mother Yi nodded and said, "I am your grandmother." When Yanyan heard it was her grandma, she excitedly walked over and reached out for a hug. "Grandma, my mom has a lot of photos of you in her drawer. They're all very beautiful." Hearing Yanyan say this, Yi Qingjiu's face darkened. "Why don't you go to bed quickly?" Yanyan burst into tears after being scolded by Yi Qingjiu. Seeing Yanyan crying loudly, Mother Yi hurriedly coaxed her. "Yanyan, don't cry. Grandma will give you a gift, okay?" Hearing about the gifts, Niu also became nervous. "Grandma, Niu wants a gift too." Mother Yi looked at her two babies and smiled gently. "I have to say, the power of blood is really strong. Even though she has never seen them in the past 3 years, it does not affect her love for the children at all." Mother Yi opened the box and took out 2 boxes. Niu Yanyan stared at them curiously. "Grandma, what are these?" Mother Yi opened the box and said, "These are 2 love locks. Grandma prepared them especially for you, one for Niu and one for Yanyan." "Okay." The 2 babies looked at the golden lock and smiled happily. "Mom, can you put it on Niu? It's so beautiful." Yanyan also held up the small golden lock. Mom, Yanyan wants to take it too." Chapter 80 won the knot between mother and daughter. Yi Qingjiu put the lock on the 2 babies' necks. "Go ahead, thank you, Grandma Tilda." The 2 babies happily hugged Mother Yi's legs. "Grandma, Niu likes your gift very much. Thank you, Grandma Tilda." "Yanyan likes it too." Yanyan looked at Yi's mother's box again, looking very worried. "Grandma, are there any gifts for Daddy and Mommy?" Hearing this, Yi Qingjiu felt sick. Only children want gifts, adults don't need gifts. Mother Yi looked at Yanyan, squatted down, and looked at her with an especially gentle gaze. "Why do you want to give gifts to Mom and Dad?" Yanyan thought about it and looked at her grandmother seriously. "Because Daddy said that we are a family, and a family should be neat and tidy. A family should be harmonious and harmonious." This sentence pierced Yi's mother's heart like a needle. She once had a family. Mother Yi touched Yanyan's tender little face lovingly. "You are so good." After saying that, he looked at Jiang Cheng and said, "I didn't expect you could educate 2 children so well." After saying that, he turned around and took out a box from the box. He opened the box and found various toys inside, 12 in total, representing every year since they separated. Mother Yi hesitated for a moment, holding up a white toy bear, and said, Jiu, this is the gift I bought you for your birthday on the first day of the 1st grade." Then she took out a small mirror and said, "This is the 2nd year of junior high school. Girls at that time love beauty the most, so Mom bought this for you." She kept talking about how she was 18 when she was a freshman in college. "I wanted to give you this pair of crystal shoes as a gift for your adulthood. My Jiu must have been very beautiful by then." Yi Qingjiu looked at her mother's fake smile, and her vision gradually blurred. Over the years, she had never received any gifts from her, and even greetings were rare. She had always thought that she didn't love him, but if she didn't love him, why would he give her gifts? Why did he give her gifts every year? She shed tears and sobbed with a strong nasal voice. "Then why don't you give it to me? Why can't you give it to me in person?" Since she loved him, why didn't she show up when she needed her? Seeing her daughter so sad, Mother Yi couldn't help but tear up. Seeing this, Jiang Cheng hurriedly pulled up the 2 babies. "Mom, Qingjiu, you 2 chat first. I'll take them back to bed." He knew they needed time. When the 2 babies saw their mother crying, they followed Jiang Cheng into the house reluctantly. Niu puffed up her little face and said, "Daddy, why is Mommy crying?" Yanyan was also very uneasy. "Dad, did Grandma bully Mommy?" Jiang Cheng held the 2 babies in his arms and said softly, "Mommy is just acting like a spoiled child with Grandma, just like Niu and Yanyan act like a spoiled child with Mommy." Yanyan looked up at him, puzzled. "Why is Mom crying and acting like a spoiled child?" "Because you can't get what you want, because you have no place to vent your grievances, and because you don't know what to do." "But how can I explain this to my children?" Jiang Cheng touched his little head and said, "Because Mom is also Grandma's child, just like you crying and asking Mom for candy." Niu thought for a moment and said, "Then what does Mom want to ask Grandma for?" Jiang Cheng raised his eyebrows, looking helpless. "Mom wants Grandma's love." The 2 babies nodded, not quite understanding. "I understand, Dad Tilda." Looking at the 2 innocent little faces, Jiang Cheng smiled and said, So let's return Mom to her mom today, okay? Okay, the two babies said in unison. Good boy, go to bed. What? In the living room, Yi Qingjiu had already cried like a tearful person. She looked at Mother Yi and said, You said you loved me, but why do you always reject me? You don't let me see you, you don't let me look for you. Aunt Zhang stood aside and looked at Yi Qingjiu with a distressed look on her face. She knew very well what happened back then. It was Yi's father who used the Yi family's property as a condition to prevent Yi's mother from seeing Yi Qingjiu anymore. As long as she doesn't meet Yi Qingjiu, she will be the only heir of the Yi family. This is a secret that cannot be told. Every big family has secrets that cannot be told, and the Yi family is no exception. Aunt Zhang looked at Yi Qingjiu lovingly. My child, the lady really loves you. She often asked me to send her pictures of you too so that she can save them and look at them when she misses you. Mother Yi looked at her child and burst into tears. For so many years, I have not fulfilled my responsibilities as a mother. I thought that after a long time, you would get used to the days without your mother. I'm not used to it. I've never been used to it in all these years. Yi Qingjiu ran back into the house crying. She didn't understand why her mother was so cold. Zhang Ma looked helpless at Madame Yi. Madam, it's getting late. You should take a rest first. Give her some time. Oh, Mother Yi nodded. Jiang Cheng heard the noise outside, looked down at the two sleeping children, and quietly walked out. The lights in the living room were still on, but no one was there and there was silence all around. Jiang Cheng walked to the box of gifts left by Yi's mother and sighed. He carried the box into Yi Qingjiu's room. Yi Qingjiu was lying on the bed, sobbing into the quilt like a child. Her appearance was heartbreaking. Jiang Cheng put the box on the table and took out the letters one by one. He walked up to her, his eyes full of tenderness. Wife, don't you want to take a look? He hoped to untie the knot in her heart, and he tried to use these letters to untie the knot in her heart. Why do you treat me like this? Yi Qingjiu threw herself into his arms, her tears flowing down Jiang Cheng's neck and into his clothes, icy cold. He didn't say anything, just held her in his arms. As time passed, Yi Qingjiu's crying gradually calmed down. Jiang Cheng looked at her. You actually love her very much, right? How could I not love it? When she was young, every time she attended a parent-teacher conference and saw other people's mothers, she couldn't help but think about it. I did so well in the exam. If my mother were still alive, would she give her favorite teddy bear as a gift? Or criticize her for not working hard enough? She pursed her lips and said nothing. Jiang Cheng touched her head and said, In fact, life is very short. Children grow up gradually and parents grow old gradually. Do you have to wait until they are gone before you are willing to forgive them? You clearly long for your mother's love, so why do you reject her? You are only punishing yourself. Hearing this, Yi Qingjiu raised his head, his eyes misty and helpless. So, what should I do now? Read Mom's letter and try to understand her, okay? Good. Jiang Cheng accompanied her and started reading from the first letter. My baby, today is your 13th birthday. Mommy can't be with you, but I heard from Aunt Zhang that you really like the teddy bear. So Mommy gives the teddy bear to you, hoping that it can accompany you as you grow up. Chapter 82, Clearing Up Misunderstandings. Second letter. My baby, today is your 14th birthday. Do you start to get acne now? My daughter will always be the most beautiful. You must learn to be confident. The third letter. My baby, today is your 15th birthday. I wonder if any boy has written you a love letter. There is nothing wrong with falling in love, but you must learn to protect yourself. Mom supports you. Ninth letter. My baby, today is your birthday. I heard that you have become a mother. I hope you can learn to be strong and not be like me. Seeing this, Yi Qingjiu was already in tears. She reached her mother's door crying. Mom, open the door. Mother Yi sat at the table crying. It was not that she wanted to see her child, but Father Yi had made an agreement with her back then. She never wants to see Yi Qingjiu again in this life, because Yi Qingjiu will definitely be the only heir to the Yi family's property. For this promise, she endured for so many years. She thought that with property, she would have no worries about food and clothing and would be happy. For her happiness, I never disturbed her and dared not touch her life. But unexpectedly, what my daughter really needed was just a mother. Hearing her daughter crying, Mother Yi threw herself at the door. The two hugged each other and cried like rain. Jiang Cheng looked at them and said, Sir, I'm going to go back to see the kids. You guys can chat slowly. After saying that, he turned and went back to the room. The next morning, Jiang Cheng got up early and made breakfast as usual. Because his mother-in-law was there, he made extra breakfast. 4 fried eggs, 5 bowls of spinach porridge, salad cucumber, and 1 bowl of salad spinach. The mother and daughter chatted all night last night and got up very late today. When I got up, Jiang Cheng was already having breakfast with his two babies. The two babies saw Mother Yi greet them politely, and Yuan Yu was the first to speak. "Good morning, Grandma Tilda." Yan Yan also put down the spoon and said, "Grandma, good morning, Tilda." Mother Yi looked at the two babies and smiled. "Okay, let's go shopping with Grandma today, okay?" When they heard that they were going out, the two babies looked at Yi Qingjiu with uncertain eyes. "Wherever Mom and Dad are, we will be there, Tilda." Although Yi Qingjiu went to bed very late, she looked very healthy today. The mother and daughter chatted all night and resolved all their problems. She looked at the two babies with a smile. "Of course, Mom and Dad have to go. Our family of 5 will go together." After saying that, she looked at Jiang Cheng and said, "Hubby, let's go together." Even though they had been married for such a long time, Yi Qingjiu seldom called him husband. When she called him like that, he felt a little uncomfortable. I listen to you." After the family had breakfast, Yi Qingjiu stayed together with Yi's mother. Jiang Cheng asked Teacher Zhou for leave and let the two babies stay at home. After all, Mother Yi seldom came back, and he hoped that the two babies could spend more time with their grandmother. At noon, I specially made foreign flavors: steak, French foie gras, cheese, and lobster pizza. After finishing, I went to the living room and called them to eat. Yi Qingjiu held her mother's hand and was reluctant to let go. She walked all the way to the restaurant and pointed at the steak on the table. "Mom, try it and see if you like it." After all, Jiang Cheng's specialty is country Z cuisine, and he has never tried these foreign dishes before. Mother Yi was a little surprised. "Why did you make all this? I'm not a foreigner. Of course, the food at home tastes better." Jiang Cheng smiled and said, "Mom, how about we have dumplings tonight?" Mother Yi smiled and said, "Okay, I haven't eaten dumplings for a long time." After that, she tasted a bite of steak and said, Tilda, not bad, it tastes good." She originally thought that Jiang Cheng was from Country Z, so his food would definitely not be as delicious as that from Country M. Unexpectedly, she was amazed at the first bite. The fresh and tender taste was simply unforgettable. Jiang Cheng cut steaks for the two babies and placed them on their plates. "Mom, try something else." Mother Yi put in another small piece of goose liver, and her eyes lit up instantly. "Wow, I've never eaten such delicious goose liver. How did you make it?" "It's so delicious." Jiang Cheng smiled and said, "As long as you like it, it's fine. I just made it casually and I don't know what you like." Wow, even people from Country F can't make such delicious foie gras. Her son-in-law actually said that he just made it casually. It's incredible. "I finally know what my Jiujiu likes about you. You cook such delicious food, it would be strange if she doesn't like you." Mother Yi joked. Mom Tilda Yi Qingjiu looked shy. Look, he's still shy, just like when he was a kid. The family had dinner and went shopping in the mall in the afternoon. Mother Yi is very elegant. Although she is over 50 years old, you can tell at a glance that she was definitely a beauty when she was young. Both mother and daughter were born noble. Jiang Cheng looked at them and couldn't help but sigh at how powerful their genes were. Mother Yi pulled Yi Qingjiu and insisted on buying her clothes, trying her best to make up for the guilt she had felt for so many years. Yi Qingjiu also has a stubborn temper. She won't let her mother take money no matter what, and she even wants to buy clothes for her mother. The two women chatted with each other, becoming the most beautiful scenery in the mall. Jiang Cheng smiled and walked to the front desk, took out a black card and said, "I'll buy it." The waiter took the card and swiped it on the POS machine, then handed it to Jiang Cheng. "Sir, the total is 48,000. Jiang Cheng nodded. The two were still struggling to pay the bill, but when they turned around they saw that Jiang Cheng had already paid the bill. Standing there, not knowing whether to laugh or cry, Mother Yi went to the children's clothing store again and bought 2 sets of clothes for the two babies. Bought some toys. Of course, Jiang Cheng was the one who rushed to pay in the end. When they got home, the trunk was full. Jiang Cheng finally understood the horror of women's shopping. Yi Qingjiu is a typical example of someone who doesn't go shopping on weekdays. But when she does go shopping, she can buy enough clothes for 3 years. The two babies walked around for a whole day and fell asleep on the way. When they got home, Jiang Cheng and Yi Qingjiu carefully put the two sleeping little ones on the bed. Jiang Cheng looked at Yi Qingjiu and said, "Wife, please sit with Mom for a while. I'll go make the dumpling stuffing." After saying that, he turned around and was about to leave. Yi Qingjiu grabbed him and said sincerely, "Thank you, husband. If it weren't for you, I wouldn't have taken that step." Jiang Cheng knew that she was talking about her relationship with her mother again. "Wife, don't be so polite to me." "All right, I'll go make the dumpling stuffing and we'll eat dumplings tonight." Yi Qingjiu looked at him and said, "Let me go with you. Although I don't know how to do it, I can learn." Jiang Cheng looked at her serious expression and smiled. Okay, let's go together. The two of them entered the kitchen, and Jiang Cheng threw the meat into a blender, minced it, and then sprinkled some soy sauce, salt, pepper, and so on. Yi Qingjiu was not very good at making noodles, so he had to think about how to knead the dough. She took the stainless steel basin and scooped out a few bowls of flour. I added some water and started kneading the dough. Chapter 83, Making Dumplings. Originally thought to be an easy thing, Yi Qingjiu never dreamed it would be so difficult. She tried very hard to knead the dough evenly, but after kneading for a long time, most of the flour was still dry. So I decided to add some water. Who knew that once water was added, it would become so thin that it could be made into mud? Yi Qingjiu was overwhelmed looking at the bowl of thin noodles that could not even form a shape. I had no choice but to add some more flour, thinking that this time it would be almost done, but God knows, I added too much flour again. It's a bit dry and can't be rubbed. After all this trouble, Yi Qingjiu was sweating profusely. She wiped the sweat off her face, added some water, and prepared to continue kneading the dough with her head down. Just stirred it twice. I got it, there's more water. This cycle repeated several times, and Yi Qingjiu finally gave up hope. I pouted inside at the whole bowl of noodles, feeling terrible. Jiang Cheng heard the noise and turned around to look at her. Seeing Yi Qingjiu with flour all over her face, he burst out laughing. Yi Qingjiu thought he was laughing at her and was embarrassed, so she pouted and said, "What's so funny?" Jiang Cheng suppressed his laughter. "A cat came to steal our noodles." "Huh? There's a cat stealing." Yi Qingjiu reacted suddenly. "Okay, you're making fun of me." After saying that, he touched his face again. Jiang Cheng looked at her and smiled brightly. How come his wife looked a little silly and cute? Yi Qingjiu snorted, went to the bathroom to wash her face, then returned to the kitchen and saw Jiang Cheng already kneading the dough. She walked over and looked into the basin, and found that the dough, which was full of lumps of different sizes, had now all become smooth and stuck together. She couldn't help but reach out and press it. Wow, Tilda, it was just the right softness and hardness, and it felt a little chewy. She couldn't help but give Jiang Cheng a thumbs up. Jiang Cheng looked at her with a smile. Okay, go out and wait for the food. After all, she didn't know how to make dumplings. To be honest, Jiang Cheng was reluctant to let her make dumplings. That won't work. We agreed to do it together, so we have to do it together. After I learn how to cook, I can also cook, so you don't have to work so hard. When she spoke, the light in her eyes twinkled. Jiang Cheng didn't refuse. Two people were making dumplings together. In order to prevent Jiang Cheng from laughing at her, Yi Qingjiu specially made a video tutorial and watched it for 5 minutes. You know what, after watching the video package, it really looks like the real thing. Jiang Cheng couldn't help but praise. Wow, that's great. I didn't expect Mr. Yi could also make dumplings. Yi Qingjiu pouted and looked at him. If you can do it, why can't I? This is just a practice. I'll learn a few more times and then go back and make one for our mom. What? Two people were talking and laughing in the kitchen. After a short while, the dumplings were wrapped and ready to be put into the pot. Then I saw two little babies running towards me with their bare feet. Jiang Cheng looked helpless. How many times have I told you that you will never wear shoes? Yi Qingjiu raised his eyebrows and imitated his usual protective look. What are you afraid of? You're just a kid. Running barefoot helps blood circulation and promotes the development of the soles of your feet, Tilda. Jiang Cheng looked at her, who said that. Yi Qingjiu looked very proud and even straightened his body deliberately, imitating Jiang Chengsu's usual behavior. That's what the expert said, Tilda. You little bitch, you actually stole my role this time. Jiang Cheng looked at her, smiling. Just talk, why are you standing so straight? Yi Qingjiu said proudly, my waist is fine. While this sentence seems familiar, is this revenge on myself? Jiang Cheng burst out laughing. What can you prove that your waist is good? Oops, it seems that there is no such sentence. How can I prove it? Yi Qingjiu looked at Jiang Cheng with an unyielding look. How do you prove it? Jiang Cheng thought about it and said seriously, then you have to do some physical work. What physical work? Yi Qingjiu had already thought it through. No matter what he said, he would prove it to him. In short, he could not admit defeat. She looked so serious that Jiang Cheng felt embarrassed. I originally wanted to tease her, see her blush, and then shyly shout, Jiang Cheng, who knew that this girl didn't react at all. Jiang Cheng coughed twice and said, anyway, just do more exercise. Niu and Yan looked at the plump white dumplings on the chopping board and were so happy. Dad, Niu wants to eat 10. Yan was not willing to be left behind. Daddy, Yan can eat 15. Jiang Cheng looked at the two little darlings and said, okay, Daddy will cook for you right away. You and Mommy go out and wait. The two babies stopped Jiang Cheng from talking and nodded obediently. Okay, then Daddy has to be quick, Tilda. Don't worry, Jiang Cheng nodded with a smile. Yi Qingju brought the two babies out. Niu looked around with his head spread out. Hey, where's Grandma? Yanyan also nodded. Yes, Grandma has gone back. Yi Qingju took the two babies to their mother's room and found the room empty. Aunt Zhang came over and looked at Yi Qingju. Miss, Madam is in the study on the second floor. Oh, Yi Qingju nodded. Let's go to the second floor to find Grandma. As soon as I reached the stairs, I saw Mother Yi moving a wooden support with a drawing board on it. Mom, what are you doing? Yi Qingju looked puzzled. Mother Yi smiled and said, I want to draw a picture for the children so that they can keep it as a souvenir when they go back. Oh, I see. Yi Qingju agreed and went over to help. Two men moved the shelf down. Jiang Cheng's dumplings were already cooked and served. Seeing Yi Qingju and his mother-in-law, he hurriedly said, Mom, my wife is coming to eat soon. When Niu and Yanyan heard that dinner was ready, they ran over on tiptoe, clasping their hands and vying to be carried to the dining chairs by their father. Yi Qingju responded, I'll be right there. He put the food away and went to eat. Jiang Cheng put some dumplings in the bowls of the two babies, then turned to look at Mother Yi. Mom, please try it. Mother Yi nodded and said, I never knew you could make dumplings at such a young age. After saying that, he picked up a dumpling and put it in his mouth. Delicious. Mother Yi hadn't eaten dumplings for a long time, let alone such delicious dumplings. I couldn't help but continue to praise. This tastes so good, even better than the foie gras we had at noon. Jiang Cheng smiled and said, Actually, I personally think that in such a big world, only the food in our country can be considered as real food. Mother Yi nodded. Yes, that's right. After so many years away from home, I miss the food from my hometown. After dinner, Aunt Zhang cleared the table. Mother Yi sat next to the drawing board and took out a delicate white suitcase. She opened it and found paints of various colors inside. She mixed the colors and prepared to paint an oil painting for her two babies as a souvenir. Chapter 84, a painting for Mother Yi. When the two kids saw their grandmother take out a very professional box and start mixing the paints, they couldn't help but lean forward with a look of curiosity. Grandma, are you drawing? Nano had seen pencils, watercolor pens, and crayons, but this kind of special paint and brushes was the first time she had seen it. Seeing how cute she was, Mother Yi smiled and said, Yes, Grandma, can you draw a Nano? When Niu heard that Grandma wanted to draw him, he was very excited. Okay, Grandma has to draw Niu very beautifully. Daddy has drawn Niu very beautifully. Yanyan got anxious when she heard that Grandma wanted to draw Niu. Grandma, can you draw a Yanyan too, Tilda? Mother Yi looked at the two babies with her eyes curved with smile. Okay, Grandma will draw them all. After saying that, he picked up the pen and carefully sketched on the wooden board. Jiang Cheng looked at Yi's mother. Since she wanted to keep a souvenir so much, why didn't she draw herself in it? Jiang Cheng thought for a moment and said, Mom, how about I help you draw a joint oil painting for the four of you? This kind of commemoration will be more meaningful. Mother Yi listened to Jiang Cheng's words and nodded. That's great, but can you do it? It's not that she is self-righteous and looks down on Jiang Cheng's skills. It's just that this painting is extremely important to her. She planned to hang this painting on the wall and have it accompany her for meals, chats, and daydreaming every day. Yi Qing looked at his mother confidently. Mom, just let him come. Although I don't quite understand your professional vocabulary, I think he can do it. Seeing her daughter said so, Mother Yi couldn't refuse. Okay, then come. After saying that, he stood up and gave up his seat. Jiang Cheng sat down on the bench, picked up a small paintbrush and started painting. Yi Qingju sat opposite him. She couldn't see what Jiang Cheng was drawing, but she could see the seriousness and concentration on his face. The two babies stood beside their daddy and watched curiously, saying a few words from time to time. Dad, the painting is great, Tilda. Dad, the sofa is obviously white. It needs to be whiter. Yi Qingju and her mother sat on the sofa, chatting and laughing. Half an hour later, Jiang Cheng finally finished the painting. He looked at Yi Qingju and then looked at Yi Qingju in the painting. Yeah, not bad. Seeing him stand up, Yi Qingju asked curiously, You finished the painting so quickly. It feels like we haven't even said a few words yet. After saying that, she came over to take a look. Mother Yi couldn't wait to see how he drew herself and the two babies. Jiang Cheng painted a simple oil painting. A mother and daughter were talking and laughing on the sofa, and two little babies were playing around them. Each of the four people is painted very vividly. Mother Yi in the painting is wearing a cheongsam. Elegant and noble, Yi Qingju next to her had a pair of eyes as bright as stars. and the corners of her lips were raised, and it was obvious that she was very happy. The two babies were playing with each other, holding their chubby little hands. 3 generations of grandparents and grandchildren live in harmony and love. There is unspeakable happiness in the warm orange hue. Mother Yi looked at the painting in disbelief. After a moment, her eyes became wet. "It's such a great painting. I didn't expect you could paint so well." Without waiting for Jiang Cheng to speak, the two little darlings looked proud and proud. Yu raised his head high. "My dad is very good at drawing. My class still has his words hanging on the wall." Yan also nodded. "That's right. The teacher also said that he would ask Dad to draw a picture and hang it in the school's exhibition hall." Seeing the two babies defending their dad, Mother Yi couldn't help but burst out laughing. "Is your dad really that awesome?" Hearing their grandmother's doubts, the two babies were obviously unhappy. "My dad is the best dad in the world." Nano circled the pair of little arms. Her tsundere look is very much like her mother, Yi Qingjiu. Dad is more powerful than Ultraman. Mother Yi couldn't help but feel secretly happy when she heard her two babies' affirmation of Jiang Cheng. It seems that he must be very good to the two children to become their idol in such a short time. Jiang Cheng smiled and said, "Mom, don't listen to the kids' nonsense. I was just drawing casually. Mother Yi has won so many awards. How can she not tell the difference between good and bad?" Mother Yi smiled and said, "Don't be so modest. I started learning oil painting when I was 14, and I'm 48 this year. 34 years of hard work has not been in vain. You must have been a painter for at least 30 years. Jiang Cheng felt a little embarrassed after being praised by his mother-in-law. "Mom, I'm just drawing casually. Please don't be disgusted." "Dislike it. I love it so much. Hurry up and move it into the house to cool down, and make sure you protect it well. I want to take it back to Country M." When Jiang Cheng heard this, he hurriedly moved the easel, and Yi Qingjiu happily stood beside him to help. When she heard her mother's affirmation of Jiang Cheng, she felt happy in her heart even though she didn't say anything. At night, Yi Qingjiu went to his mother's room to sleep again. The mother and daughter were lying on the bed, chatting intermittently. Mother Yi looked at her well-behaved daughter and said, "Jiujiu, have you told your grandparents about the wedding?" Yi Qingjiu shook his head. "I was planning to go to my grandparents' house this weekend, but today is only Thursday, so I haven't had time to tell you yet." Hearing this, Mother Yi warned, "Well, you still have to discuss it with the elderly. After all, they are your grandparents." Yi Qingjiu nodded, "Okay. As for your wedding, meet your grandparents and get their opinions." Oh. The two of them fell asleep while chatting without realizing it. The next morning, Jiang Cheng prepared breakfast, washed a basin of cherries, and placed a portion of cherry tomatoes on the table, ready to satisfy the two darlings' cravings. Before the two babies got up, Mother Yi and Yi Qingjiu got up first. After saying hello to Jiang Cheng, the mother went to the bathroom. Yi Qingjiu greeted Jiang Cheng with a smile. "Good morning. You can see that she is still in a good mood today." Jiang Cheng gave her a wronged look and said, "Can it be okay?" Seeing him like this, Yi Qingjiu walked over and sat beside him, looking worried. "What happened? Why are you unhappy?" Jiang Cheng had a bitter face, aggrieved like a child. "Wife, you haven't slept with us for 2 days. Do you think I can be happy?" "Not serious." Yi Qingjiu felt so helpless. This person would be unhappy if he didn't tease him a few times a day. "Alas, I have a lot of pain in my heart, but I can't let anyone tell me." Jiang Cheng pretended to be helpless. In fact, he just wanted to tease Yi Qingjiu. Yi Qingjiu looked at his drooping face and couldn't help but feel soft in her heart. "Well, then tell me, how can you feel less bitter?" Chapter 85, It's All Your Fault. Mom saw it. Jiang Cheng stretched his face forward and teased. "That requires a reward." Yi Qingjiu pursed her lips, and the next second she mustered up the courage to kiss him. The soft touch spreads. Why is it so soft? The touch was more like. Yi Qingjiu opened his eyes suddenly. Sure enough, what I just kissed was his mouth. Mother Yi had just finished washing up and came out of the bathroom. She had lived here for a long time and did not feel that kissing was something embarrassing. On the contrary, it proved that they had a good relationship. "Hello, Tilda," she greeted with a smile and turned to go into the house to get some daily necessities. Yi Qingjiu has never been an open person. When he heard his mother's voice, he almost exploded with nervousness in an instant, and even his skin became tense. It's over, my mom saw it." Her face turned red at a visible speed, spreading to her earlobes. "It's all Jiang Cheng's fault. We're all finished now. I am too embarrassed to see my mother." She bit her lips tightly and looked at Jiang Cheng angrily. You did it on purpose." Seeing her blushing again, Jiang Cheng couldn't help but want to tease her. He said in a teasing tone, It was obviously you who kissed the wrong place. Now even Mom knows that you were plotting against me, Tilda. How could he confuse right and wrong? How could it be that I kissed the wrong person? It was clearly him who secretly turned his face away. You are talking nonsense. It's obvious that you did it on purpose. Yes, you did it on purpose. The wicked are the first to complain. Yi Qingjiu couldn't argue with him and was very angry. He waved his little fist and came towards Jiang Cheng. He had to teach him a lesson today. This was the result of bullying me. She pouted her face with her mouth pouting high, and her proud little look was so adorable. Jiang Cheng took advantage of the situation and pulled her into his arms. Wife, you're not cute if you hit people. After saying that, he pecked her on the head and said, Good girl, Tilda. The two babies opened their eyes and found that their daddy was not there. They climbed out of bed barefoot and ran all the way to the living room. Seeing Jiang Cheng holding Yi Qingjiu, Niu looked jealous, pouting, Daddy, Niu wants a hug too, Tilda. Yanyan tied her hands and ran to Jiang Cheng. Yanyan wants Daddy to hold her. Jiang Cheng picked up the two kids. Okay, Daddy will hold them, Daddy will hold them. After saying that, he picked up the two kids and went into the bathroom to brush his teeth and wash his face. After packing up the two babies, the family of 5 sat at the dining table to have breakfast. Mother Yi had a good appetite and drank 2 bowls of porridge. Jiang Cheng cooks really well. After saying that, I saw that the cherries on the table were red and bright, and all of them were very big. I couldn't help but take one and put it in my mouth to taste it with a surprised look on my face. Tilda, this cherry is so delicious. When I go back, I must buy more to bring back. Jiang Cheng smiled and said, Mom, as long as you like it, I'll bring you more later. Then I'll trouble you. The family of 5 had breakfast, and then nothing else happened. Aunt Zhang cleared the table. Yi Qingjiu looked at her mother and said, Why don't you accompany me to buy some gifts for Grandpa and Grandma today? Mother Yi nodded and said, Sure. Since there was nothing else to do, she might as well accompany her daughter to go shopping. The family of 5 got into the car and drove to see shopping mall. The mall was very big, 3 stories high, and sold a lot of things. As soon as a few people entered the store, they saw a round platform in the middle of the mall. A host was talking on it. The two babies are naturally fond of lively activities. When they see a performance, their eyes are wide open. She refused to leave no matter what, and held Jiang Cheng and Yi Qingjiu's hands and acted like a spoiled child, looking pitiful. Daddy, Mommy, can we go to the front and take a look, Tilda? Okay. Jiang Cheng has never had any resistance to the two babies. He picked up the 2 cubs and said, Mom, Jiu, why don't we go and take a look? It's still early. Mother Yi knew that it was a pair of big babies who wanted to watch, and she couldn't bear to stop them. Okay, then let's watch it together. The family talked and squeezed to the front. Welcome to our 80th anniversary celebration of CE Mall. Welcome to participate in the following activities. The winner can get a shopping card worth 1,000 yuan and 2 toy bears. The MC on the stage spoke in an excited tone. While introducing the items, he showed the stuffed toys to everyone. They were 2 brown plush teddy bears, a little clumsy, silly, and cute. Niu's eyes were full of the stuffed teddy bear. She looked at Jiang Cheng eagerly. Daddy, I want that. Yanyan has no interest in stuffed toys, but since his sister wants one, he still wants to help his sister beg his dad for it. Dad, can you help your sister? Jiang Cheng looked at his 2 babies helplessly, and the old father's heart was melted instantly. Let's listen to what the host has to say first, okay? Okay, the 2 babies nodded obediently. The first round is an old song competition. All the contestants have to do is sing the old song on the screen within the specified time and without going out of tune. They can take home these 2 cute little bears and a shopping card worth 1,000 yuan. Is there anyone who wants to participate? Hearing that the requirements were so simple, many people signed up enthusiastically. Niu also shouted anxiously, Yes, my dad wants to participate. Yanyan looked at Jiang Cheng with determination. Dad, you have to work harder and get the bear. Jiang Cheng touched the heads of his 2 darlings. He really couldn't do anything about them. He put the kids on the ground and walked onto the stage. Then several other contestants walked up. One of the boys, who was about 17 or 18 years old and looked a bit rustic, made a heart shape with his hands to his girlfriend in the audience and said, Wife, when I win a shopping card, I will buy you some clothes. The girlfriend in the audience was also very excited. Hubby, you have to keep going. Both of them were dressed in a somewhat rustic way, and it looked like they had just arrived in the city. Jiang Cheng looked at the 2 of them and felt a little embarrassed that he won. The 2 little guys, Niu and Yanyan, crawled to the edge of the stage and kept cheering for Jiang Cheng. "Dad, you have to work harder. Daddy, you're the best." After the host and others finished their performances, they announced the start of the competition. There were 8 people in total, and Jiang Chengpai was 4th. As the big screen lit up, music began to play. The first song was Jian Mei, which was indeed quite old. The contestant excitedly picked up the microphone and sang seriously, his voice sounding even louder than if struck by thunder. After singing a few lines, the audience couldn't stand it anymore. "Get off the stage, get off the stage." The second song is The Sea, which is also a classic old song. This contestant's voice wasn't as bad as the previous one, but he was out of tune, and after singing a few sentences, he was prompted that he had failed the mission. When it was Jiang Cheng's turn, 4 words, "The sea is vast and the sky is vast," appeared on the big screen. This is a classic old song by Beyond, and Jiang Cheng has always liked it. Chapter 86, Buying Gifts for Grandpa and Grandma. I didn't expect to come across a song I like. This is also a lucky thing. Jiang Cheng picked up the microphone and slowly spoke as the music started. His voice was sometimes high-pitched and sometimes low. "Today I watched the snow drifting in the cold night. With a cooled heart, I drift far away, tilde. Chasing in the wind and rain, the shadows cannot be distinguished in the fog. The sky and the sea are vast. You and I, can we change, tilde? How many times, facing the cold eyes and ridicule, I never gave up the ideal in my heart, tilde. In an instant, I felt dazed and as if something was lost, and then it faded away unnoticed, and the love in my heart remained. Forgive me for being uninhibited and loving freedom, but I am also afraid that I will fall one day, oh tilde." The 2 babies were so fascinated by what they heard that their little heads were shaking. The little meaty hands couldn't help but clap their hands. Mother Yi didn't expect her son-in-law to have such talent. She leaned over to Yi Qingjiu with a surprised look on her face. "Jiang Cheng sings so well." Yi Qingjiu also looked intoxicated. "Yes, Mom. From the first day he came to the company to apply for a job until now, he seems to be able to bring surprises to himself every day. He is like a book that you can never finish reading. The more you turn the page, the more exciting it becomes." "This sounds so beautiful," Mother Yi sighed. "Today is a weekday, so there aren't many people coming to the mall, but there are definitely not a few either." The moment everyone heard Jiang Cheng's singing, they all looked around and then gathered together from all directions. How many people born in the 1970s and 1980s like this song? It is a symbol of their era. "Wife, you don't know this song is a classic in my heart. How about it? It sounds nice, right?" Passerby A couldn't help showing off to his wife next to him. "Oh my God, what day is it today? I come here to buy things and actually meet the god of songs." Someone couldn't help but take a photo on his WeChat moments with his phone. "I didn't expect that when I went out to buy things today, I would be lucky enough to hear a classic performance. What a pleasant surprise." Some even couldn't help but sing along. Once one person took the lead, the others couldn't help themselves. The scene is spectacular. It's like a small concert. The host on the stage was stunned. She had hosted hundreds of small events like this, and there were usually only a few dozen audience members. Today, as soon as Jiang Cheng opened his mouth, it seemed as if he attracted the attention of everyone in the shopping mall. "This is incredible." Jiang Cheng finished singing a song, cleared his throat, and handed the topic over to the host. "Thanks." When everyone saw him leaving, they all shouted anxiously, "Brother, sing another song. This is simply the God of Song. God of Song, please sing another song of glory days." "Yes, one more in another glorious year." Jiang Cheng listened to the calls from the crowd and smiled. "Everyone, this is a competition. Let's follow the rules." Although the calls were getting louder and louder, Jiang Cheng only wanted to get the 2 little bears. "What are you comparing, brother? Why do you even need to compare? You are number 1. What is there for a singing god to compare with them?" "Yeah, brother, I have a lot of shopping cards at home. I'll give you 2 2,000 yuan ones. Have a song, brother. Look how enthusiastic everyone is. They originally came here to buy things, but were won over by your song and became your fans." The cheers grew louder and louder. Jiang Cheng stood on the stage with an awkward smile on his face. "I'm so sorry, everyone. My daughter said she wanted the bear, so I came here for the bear." After hearing what Jiang Cheng said, someone asked curiously, "Brother, which one is our daughter?" "My family runs a toy factory. Although we don't have high-end robots, if you want plush toys, I will bring you a truckload tomorrow." Yi Qingjiu looked at the enthusiastic faces and smiled at Jiang Cheng on the stage. "Why don't you just sing?" She was really happy to see her husband being recognized by so many people. Nunu also clapped his hands. "Daddy's singing is the best." Nuno wants to hear Daddy sing to Tilda. Her voice attracted the attention of passers-by, especially the guy who drove the toy car. Seeing Nuno's big watery eyes like a little princess, he couldn't help but love her. Wow, this girl is so cute. Ask Daddy to sing one more song and Uncle will give you a carload of toys tomorrow. How about that? Nuo looked at him and said in a cute voice, I only want what my daddy gives me. What a good kid. Mother Yi stood aside holding Yanyan with a smile on her face. Although she didn't say a word, her face was full of pride. Her son-in-law was so outstanding. Seeing that his wife had spoken, Jiang Cheng did not refuse. He looked at the host and said, Can I sing another song? The host had never seen such a spectacular scene before and was immersed in the excitement of becoming an overnight sensation. When Jiang Cheng said this, she was so happy that she said, Great, great, whatever you want to sing, I'll arrange it right away. Jiang Cheng thought for a moment and said, Then let's sing another song of glory days. Okay. Jiang Cheng sang another song called Glorious Years, and everyone was mesmerized by it. It directly pushed the entire event to its climax. After the song was over, everyone was still not satisfied and wanted to sing another one. Jiang Cheng looked at everyone helplessly. Sorry, everyone, I'm here to accompany my wife shopping today, so let's stop here today. When they heard him refuse, everyone was reluctant to leave. The host concluded on the spot that it was impossible for anyone in the entire CE shopping mall to sing better than him. He simply took the microphone and announced, I declare that the winner of this round of singing is this gentleman. After saying that, he took out a shopping voucher worth 1,000 yuan and 2 cute stuffed bears and gave them to Jiang Cheng. Sir, I wonder if I can take a photo with you. This was the most successful hosting experience in her career, and she wanted to take a photo to commemorate it. Hearing this, Jiang Cheng looked embarrassed. As for taking a photo, I have to ask my wife. After all, there is a jealous person at home. Is he crazy? He says he is a jealous person in front of so many people. Doesn't he have any dignity? Before the host could speak, Yi Qingjiu's eyes widened and he tried his best to explain. How could I not do that? He wronged me. She is so cute when she looks serious. Everyone couldn't help but envy them when they saw such a loving couple. A young lady next to them held her boyfriend's hand and said with envy, Wow, look at them. They are so loving. The man also laughed. Yes, a talented man and a beautiful woman, they are a perfect match. The host laughed. What a loving couple. When the game was over, Jiang Cheng handed a teddy bear to Nuo. Here, Tilda, the bear you wanted. Nuo pouted. There's one more and one more. Jiang Cheng smiled and patted her head. This one, please give it to Mom. When Nuo heard that his father was going to give it to his mother, he stopped struggling and nodded obediently. Good things should be shared. One for Mom and one for Nuo. After saying that, she couldn't help but kiss the little bear in her arms. Chapter 87. God-level calligraphy has many benefits. Yi Qingjiu looked at Jiang Cheng and her heart tightened. How did he know that she liked teddy bears? Oh no, will he laugh at me for being childish? Without waiting for Jiang Cheng to speak, Yi Qingjiu hurriedly said, Leave it to Nuo. Adults don't need toys. Jiang Cheng looked at her pair of peach blossom eyes and smiled. You have always been a little kid in my heart. Yi Qingjiu lowered his head, his heart almost melting. She lowered her head shyly, then pursed her lips and took the little bear. It's so cute, with round eyes, a brown body, and a little bit of an ugly look. Yi Qingjiu held it in her arms, raised her head and looked at Jiang Cheng. Hubby, thank you. When she spoke, there seemed to be stars in her eyes, twinkling, and Jiang Cheng was unknowingly lost in that beautiful light. Oh no, this girl is becoming more and more attractive. Yi Qingjiu smiled at him very beautifully. What are you looking at? Jiang Cheng coughed twice and said, Let's go shopping. We still have to visit Grandpa and Grandma tomorrow. After buying the things, it was already 4 o'clock in the afternoon. The family was exhausted, so they went home, had dinner, and then went to rest. The next morning, Jiang Cheng took Yi Qingjiu and the 2 babies and set off for their grandparents' house on time. Yi Bing's mother did not go. After all, they had been divorced for so many years, and she didn't know how to meet Yi En's parents. I am very happy to have nothing to do, so I soak in the hot spring outside the villa and drink red wine. On the way, Jiang Cheng was a little nervous, and his palms were slightly sweaty. Seeing his unnatural expression, Yi Qingjiu couldn't help but laugh. You weren't nervous when you met my mom, so why are you so nervous when you meet Grandpa and Grandma? Jiang Cheng glanced at her, held the steering wheel, and said carelessly, Why am I not nervous? You were so nervous when you met our mom, so of course I can't be nervous. There has to be someone in our family who can stand up. So it's not that he's not nervous. He just becomes not nervous for his own sake. His words were like a spring breeze blowing into Yi Qingjiu's heart, moving her somewhat. She didn't say anything, but turned her head and looked out the window. The weather is really nice. The sun is gentle, and there are no clouds in the sky. An hour later, we arrived at my grandparents' house, a two-story Western-style building outside a Fenghang scenic area. Most of the people living in this area are old revolutionaries from that time. In short, they all come from prominent backgrounds. Yi Qingjiu rang the doorbell with her two babies. Grandma Yi was busy tending to her 1-acre vegetable garden in the yard. When she heard the doorbell, she hurried to open the door. After a while, the door opened, and Grandma Yi saw Yi Qingjiu coming. Her old face was full of joy. "Jiujiu, why are you here? You are not busy today." Then she looked at Jiang Cheng next to her. "Who is this?" Hearing that there were still people who didn't know their dad, the two little darlings got anxious. Before Jiang Cheng could speak, Yan pouted and introduced him. "This is my dad." Niu also smiled happily. "Yes, Grandma, this is Daddy Tilda." When Grandma Yi heard the two babies calling her dad, she quickly invited them into the house. "Hey, don't be so formal. Grandma is old and can't see anything without glasses." After saying that, she went into the house to find her reading glasses. She must take a good look at what her grandson-in-law looks like. Grandpa was practicing calligraphy in the study when he saw his wife hurried in, rummaging through the drawers and cabinets looking for something. I couldn't help but frown. "Why are you in such a hurry?" Grandma Yi smiled and said, "Old man, Qingjiu is here with the children's father." When Mr. Yi heard this, he narrowed his eyes and asked, "Really? Can I lie to you?" As the two were talking, Yi Qingjiu walked in with Jiang Cheng. "Grandpa, this is Jiang Cheng. I brought him to see you." When the grandfather heard that it was his grandson-in-law, he quickly put down his brush and said, Okay. Why did you suddenly think of coming here today?" Yi Qingjiu looked shy and said, "Hey, let's get married." When the grandfather heard that his granddaughter was getting married, he was so excited. "Child, if you don't get married, why don't you come to see Grandpa and Grandma? Have dinner at home today and let Grandma make more delicious food for you." After saying that, he cleared the things on the table and prepared to chat with them. Because of excitement, Grandpa didn't put the brush away properly, and somehow it suddenly rolled to the ground. Jiang Cheng quickly bent down to pick up the brush on the ground and handed it over. "Grandpa, you like calligraphy." Grandpa picked up the brush and frowned. "You're just writing nonsense. I've been writing for so many years, but I haven't achieved anything famous." After saying that, he looked at the sentence he had just written and pulled Jiang Cheng over. "Come and take a look at my handwriting. Is there something missing?" When talking about his calligraphy, my grandfather became a little carried away. "Anyone who comes will be caught by him for advice." Grandma put on her reading glasses and saw him grabbing Jiang Cheng and refusing to let go. She said angrily, "What are you doing, old man? It's only the first time for him to come here and you're grabbing him to show you your crappy calligraphy." Grandpa glanced at her and said, "What do you know? I just listened to your opinions." After saying that, he pointed to the paper on his desk and said, "Come and help me take a look. Give me some suggestions or something." Jiang Cheng walked to the table and read it carefully. "You wrote it very well, but the last part is not well done. It feels a little unstable." Grandpa Yi was overjoyed when he heard this. For all these years, no one dared to give him any real advice. Okay, tell me in detail." Jiang Cheng was a little embarrassed how to say this. He thought about it, picked up the brush on the table, and wrote the last few big words. "Don't you see? The white hair in the mirror in the hall, which was black in the morning and turned into white in the evening. The brushwork is vigorous and skillful, like a startled swan on a phoenix branch. The strokes are swift and completed in one go." After reading these few words, Grandpa Yi's eyes lit up. Old lady, come and see. Our new son-in-law is quite capable." Grandma Yi glanced at him and said, "All you do is write all day. My two babies are still hungry." After saying that, he walked over reluctantly. Seeing this, he was extremely surprised. "This is the calligrapher. That's great. Your calligraphy is so good. It's a good opportunity for me to have a good exchange with your grandfather." Jiang Cheng looked at the two old men with a smile. "This is what I wish for. Come on, write a few more sentences for me. Write a few more sentences." After saying that, he pulled Jiang Cheng and started writing again. Yi Qingjiu looked at his grandfather, not knowing whether to laugh or cry. "You guys keep writing. I'm going to accompany Grandma to cook." After saying that, the two of them walked away. Grandma held Yi Qingjiu's hand and said, "My Jiujiu is the best. Look at that old man. He only knows how to write and draw all day. He seems to be out of touch with the world." Yi Qingjiu smiled and said, As an old man, it's good to practice calligraphy and painting when you have nothing to do. Grandma smiled lovingly. Just spoil him. Those pens and ink stones must have cost a lot of money. I bought them for him over the years. What? Chapter 88, Grandpa's Show Off. Upstairs, Jiang Cheng was cutting and rubbing with his grandfather in full swing. At first, he was worried that the old man might have a bit of temper due to his age and being an old revolutionary. Unexpectedly, the old man was not arrogant at all and was completely humble in asking for advice and accepting it. Jiang Cheng also stopped giving instructions. I think, when writing this word, just turn the pen like this. Oh, I didn't realize that you are so young, but you know so much about calligraphy. Come on, follow me to the Calligraphy Association tomorrow and let those old guys see it. Grandpa can't wait to bring his grandson-in-law to the Calligraphy Association to show off. No, 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 Grandpa, I'm just writing casually. I'm really not good enough for the Calligraphy Association. What's wrong with that? Those old guys can't write as well as I can. If I say you can do it, then you can do it. What? The two babies played in Grandma's vegetable garden for the whole afternoon, sometimes digging the soil, sometimes playing cooking games. They were so adorable. Newell played the mother with her hands in her arms and said proudly, I have a bad stomach. I can't eat anything too spicy. Yan pretended to be a dad. No problem, I'm a super chef. Newell pointed at the tomatoes in the vegetable garden and said, I want to eat some. Yan said like a little adult, No, that won't work. You have a bad stomach and can't eat raw food. After lunch, the family sat on the sofa and chatted. Grandpa held the teacup and looked at Jiang Cheng seriously. To be honest, Kingju has always been a strong-willed child. No one can stop her from making decisions. She brought you to us today, which means she definitely recognizes you. As elders, we naturally support her. Grandma nodded and said, Yes, we definitely support it. It's a pity that her father couldn't make it to your wedding. Thinking of her son, Grandma felt sad. My poor Kingju, he has been raising the child alone all these years without a father's support. When she said this, Grandma couldn't help but redden her eyes. She is a rural woman and can't help with anything in the company. My own health is not good and I get sick every now and then. I can't help Kingju take care of the children. The old man is in good health, but he is an old revolutionary after all. It is not easy to get involved in the company's affairs. The two old people feel extremely guilty about not being able to help. Seeing their grandmother crying, the two sensible children quickly climbed onto her lap and said, Grandma, please stop crying. Mom said that you won't be beautiful if you cry. Grandma touched the heads of the two babies and said, They are all good children of Grandma. Grandpa was also upset, but he was a man after all and was not good at expressing his emotions. He said angrily, all right, it's a rare opportunity for the children to come here. What are you doing? After that, he looked at Jiang Cheng and said, What do you think about the wedding? Jiang Cheng looked at Yi Qingju. What do you think? I think, aren't these things usually brought up by men? He asked himself if he said it, would people think he was taking the initiative? Jiang Cheng saw that she was being shy, and it was at her grandparents' house. I could only silently say, mind reading. He had to know what she was thinking. Although our family conditions are average, as long as Kingju is with me, I will definitely not let her suffer any grievances. Besides, my parents also like her very much. If you have no objection, I would like to book her until New Year's Day. Grandpa nodded and said, We have no objection as long as you are willing. Jiang Cheng looked at Yi Qingju and said, Wife, do you have any opinion? Yi Qingju smiled and said, I have no objection. After setting the date, the two took the children back home. After Jiang Cheng left, Grandpa went back upstairs with his teacup and looked at the calligraphy Jiang Cheng left for him. He treasured it more and more. So he rolled it up carefully, got in the car, and drove to the Calligraphy Association. He was an old director of the Calligraphy Association. As soon as I got off the car, I ran into Lao Zhang, who was also a director of the Calligraphy Association. When he saw Lao Yi coming, he came up to greet him with a smile. Hey, what are you holding in your arms? Grandpa patted it like a treasure, looking very proud. This is a good thing, I won't tell you yet. Let's talk about it after we go in. Old Zhang glanced at him with disdain, still keeping us in suspense. After saying that, the two of them entered the association's gate. Seeing that everyone was there, Grandpa cleared his throat and said, While everyone is here, come and see how my baby is doing. Grandpa has always called himself an elder in the Calligraphy Association, and there are very few things that can catch his eye. Everyone couldn't help but come over to see where he got the thing from. He unfolded the piece of paper Jiang Cheng had written and spread it flat on the table. Old Zhang looked at the powerful and sophisticated handwriting on the paper and praised it highly. This is the character of a scholar. Look at the strength of the writing, the lines. As expected of old Yi, he hasn't taken anything out for 10 years, but once he does, it's a treasure. If you don't make a sound, you'll be amazing. Listening to everyone's praise, old Yi felt very happy. To tell you the truth, this calligraphy was written by my grandson-in-law. How about it? It's amazing. Old Zhang looked at him cheerfully. You didn't buy this grandson-in-law just to win you over, did you? When Grandpa Yi heard this, his face darkened. Go to hell. My grandson-in-law wrote this to me on the spot. Do you think they are all like your daughter-in-law and son-in-law? They specialize in buying calligraphy and paintings to cheat the elderly, and they were caught cheating. Last time, Lao Zhang's grandson-in-law got a painting from somewhere and said he wrote it himself and gave it to Lao Zhang. Later, Lao Zhang showed off so much that everyone almost laughed their teeth off. Old Zhang glanced at Old Yi and said, Okay, my grandson-in-law is awesome. I won't talk to you anymore. I'm old now, so I'll go out for a walk and exercise. Old Yi looked very proud. Goodbye, I won't see you. As soon as Lao Zhang left, everyone started to look at Jiang Cheng's calligraphy again. A few of them were so serious that they took out magnifying glasses to study it. The more I studied it, the more I realized that the word Jiang Cheng was written seemingly casually, but in fact it was secretly accumulated strength. The pen power was well controlled, with thick and heavy strokes and thin strokes with thickness. I couldn't help but sigh, Old Yi, this is superb. This calligraphy can be framed for appreciation. Yes, Old Yi, does your son-in-law want to join our calligraphy association? We can't let such talents go. He has learned calligraphy at such a young age. He has a bright future. What a talent. Grandpa, you felt very happy listening to everyone's praise. When I see this kid again, I will catch him and make him join our calligraphy association. Inside the villa, the family of 5 sat at the dining table and had dinner. Mother Yi put down her chopsticks. Jiang Cheng, who was worried, said, Son, I think our 2 families should meet before the wedding. After all, we will be a family in the future. What do you think? Chapter 89. Playing the long game, please give me a recommendation. Jiang Cheng nodded. Yes, that's what my parents mean too. They think you have raised such an outstanding daughter, and now she is marrying into our family, and they want to thank you wholeheartedly. Yi Qingjiu glanced at him secretly and thought, wow, he has such a sweet mouth. No wonder he is trying to please people all the time. When Mother Yi heard this, she hurriedly said, No, it's because your parents taught you well that you are so outstanding at such a young age. Jiang Cheng smiled modestly. How about this? Let's go to my house for dinner the day after tomorrow, and you can meet my parents. He considered that Qingjiu had not been to the company for the past few days, and that there were probably many things waiting for her, so he deliberately arranged the time for the day after tomorrow. Mother Yi nodded, okay. The next morning, Jiang Cheng and Yi Qingjiu sent their 2 babies to kindergarten as usual, so we set off towards Tengsing. When they arrived at the company, Yi Qingjiu returned to the president's office, while Jiang Cheng went to his own team. Suji was eating a fried dough stick. When he saw Jiang Cheng coming, he handed him the remaining one with a smile. Come here, it's freshly fried and still hot. Jiang Cheng looked at him calmly. You are bribing the leader, you know that. After saying that, he snatched the fried dough stick from Suji's hand and took a bite. Although he had already had breakfast in the morning, he didn't mind eating a little more. Feeling a little dry, I took Suji's soy milk and drank 2 sips. Then he put it back and said, It's too sweet, put less sugar next time. Suji rolled his eyes at him and said, I didn't buy it for you. It's good to have something to eat. The 2 of them exchanged a few pleasantries, and Jiang Cheng was just about to make himself a cup of tea when he received a WeChat message from Yi Qingjiu. He opened it and saw, Husband, come here. Yo, Tilda. My husband has been calling me a lot these days. Isn't this girl too shy to say it out loud? Tusk, it turns out that the more beautiful a woman is, the more likely she is to lie. Jiang Cheng lowered his head and went to Yi Qingjiu's office. When I opened the door, I saw Yi Qingjiu sitting in the office chair, looking worriedly at the notebook in front of him. The young assistant stood beside her in fear, as if worried that she would explode at any time. Seeing her like this, Jiang Cheng asked hurriedly, What happened? Yi Qingjiu turned the notebook in front of Jiang Cheng with a bitter face and pushed it over to him. Here, Tilda, take a look at this. This is the homepage of a large website, and the hot searches are filled with photos and videos of Jiang Cheng participating in a singing competition at CE Mall. Even Yi Qingjiu and the 2 babies in the audience were photographed clearly. There are also extremely vicious words below, which are confirmed. Tengsing is about to go bankrupt, and the president and his family rely on performing arts for a living. Jiang Cheng couldn't help but burst out laughing when he saw the title. Is this called a solid hammer? This is called being timid in real life, but striking hard on the internet. Isn't this obviously intentional fanning the flames? He scrolled through the comments below. Jeliangdi, did you hear his real voice? Can't he go to a bar to perform? The salary is higher than this, what a bunch of idiots. Wuji, the person above, I support you. But I think it's a sure win for him to participate in the Voice of China, and it's a bit of a waste of his talent to go to the bar. Yu, it seems that Tengsing is going to fail. The CEO is participating in such a small event that is not even considered mainstream. Red Scarf, a typical example of selling character, playing the victim, treating the masses as fools. Just counting the days, Tengsing will probably reopen the King of Glory. What despicable tactics, really disgusting. I want to be quiet. The one above, the whole family has started marketing, even the children are not spared, rubbish parents. Boycott the king. Silence, so these days anything can happen as long as you dare to think about it. The president of Tengsing actually went out to play the victim and sell his image. Sorry, we don't buy it. Boycott. What? Jiang Cheng snorted coldly and found the poster on the computer. Then I searched the address, and sure enough, the coordinates showed that it was near Chenyu building. Hiss, it really is like a fly. It's not very lethal, but it's really annoying. The purpose of Yaochen doing this is nothing more than to delay the launch of Honor of Kings. There is a lot of criticism online now. Before getting positive reviews, no one dares to launch a blockbuster game at the height of the storm. That would be simply courting death. Jiang Cheng looked at C. Kinking and said, Go tell manager Luo to contact the internet trolls. No matter how much money it costs, we must make the netizens support us. Do you understand? We must whitewash the company. C. Kinking nodded. Okay, Mr. Jiang. When Yi Qingjiu heard about the Navy, he felt overwhelmed. It's not going to work if this continues. Jiang Cheng laughed. Next, you have to hold a high-level meeting and release false news that the game will be delayed for 3 months, and make sure everyone knows it. Why? Yi Qingjiu looked confused. These days, everyone is working very hard for this game. The purpose is to launch it on the market 1 day earlier. Jiang Cheng smiled and said, We must make Li Zhang believe that the game is really delayed for 3 months. This way we can ensure that Yaochen will not make any other moves. Otherwise, they may continue to make these small moves. Yi Qingjiu thought for a moment. Well, isn't there Wendong? Can't we just let him convey the message directly? Jiang Cheng also thought about this problem. Although only Wendong has been exposed so far, there is no guarantee that there is no one who is better concealed and is passing on the news. Rather than taking risks, it is better to take this opportunity to completely wipe out the problem and prevent future troubles. Yi Qingjiu felt that what he said made sense. She thought for a while and said, If we postpone it for 3 months, Yaochen will definitely not attack us within this week. We can go public directly next week, which is October 1st, and catch him off guard. Jiang Cheng smiled and said, Yes, and if Yaochen knows this fake news, what do you think he will do to Li Zhang? When he is considered a discarded pawn by Yaochen, will we still be afraid that we can't deal with him by then? After hearing what Jiang Cheng said, Yi Qingjiu's eyes lit up. She didn't expect that Jiang Cheng was so strategic. She is not good at intrigue, and always engages in confrontation and proof. So I suffered a lot in this regard, but now with Jiang Cheng, it seems that there is nothing he can't solve. In the afternoon, Yi Qingjiu held a high-level meeting with a gloomy face and told everyone that the game's launch would be postponed for 3 months. After the meeting, Jiang Cheng called Wendong to the office again and told him to call General Manager Li a day later this time, not to mention the specific time, but to say that there had been a meeting. As long as Mr. Li asks him why he didn't say it yesterday, it will prove that someone else must have reported it in advance, and there must be a traitor. After everything was arranged, the two of them happily went to the underground parking lot and prepared to drive to pick up the baby. Yi Qingjiu was in a surprisingly good mood today. In the past, Yu Chen had always been the one making the moves. He often gives me a headache. This time, not only can we avenge Chenyu, but we can also pull out Mr. Li, killing 2 birds with 1 stone. The more Yi Qingjiu thought about it, the happier he became. Chapter 92, Mothers Met. Please recommend. She looked at Jiang Cheng, who was about to start the car, and smiled as bright as the sunshine. Husband, husband, look at me. Jiang Cheng turned around and asked, Why? Before he finished speaking, he felt his lips getting hot, and then Yi Qingjiu looked at him with a smile. Hubby, you're awesome. Jiang Cheng was completely stunned. What did she do? Did she just kiss herself? She actually kissed herself. Jiang Cheng has always been the one who takes the initiative and likes to see Yi Qingjiu blush and feel shy. Being kissed by her like this, I felt like I was being teased suddenly. Yi Qingjiu looked at Jiang Cheng's helpless look, raised his eyebrows, and said with disdain, "Why are you so nervous? We are an old married couple, and this is not the first time." Sounds so familiar. She is actually learning from herself. She learns herself. Jiang Cheng didn't know whether to laugh or cry. "Good for you, you dare to imitate me." Yi Qingjiu raised his eyebrows and smiled evilly. "It's not that I don't want to take revenge, it's just that the time has not come yet." The two arrived at school. They came a little early today, and the kids should still be in class. While waiting for someone, a parent in a blue sportswear came over with a smile. "Hello, are you Nano's parent?" Jiang Cheng nodded. "Who are you?" Hearing the other party admit it, the person smiled like a flower. "I am Su Tianxin's mother, and I work as a reporter at Xinglang. Can I interview you?" Right now, the video of Jiang Cheng singing on CE is so popular that it has become a hot search on several websites. If we can interview him, it will definitely be the next headline. Jiang Cheng remembered what happened during the day and suddenly realized, "I had originally planned to have Yi Qingjiu hold a press conference to clarify the truth of the matter, but it seems that this is no longer necessary." He nodded, "Okay." After saying that, he pulled Yi Qingjiu behind him and said, "This is my wife, let's go together." Su Tianxin's mother didn't expect him to agree so readily and said excitedly, Okay, no problem." Jiang Cheng glanced towards the kindergarten and said, "Let's go to the car. It's easier to tell the place from here." Mingli's is the top kindergarten in Sichuan province. It is a landmark building, and it is easy to find. He didn't want anyone to harass his children. Su Tianxin's mother nodded and said, "You are very thoughtful. Let's go to my car. I happen to be driving a business car today, which has a lot of space." The three people got in the car. Su Tianxin's mother excitedly took out her cell phone and adjusted the angle so that the screen was aimed right at Jiang Cheng and his wife. "Hello, Mr. Jiang. Did you know that the video of you participating in the event at CE Mall has become very popular recently?" Jiang Cheng nodded. "I know, and they also took pictures of my wife and children. So, is what the video says true?" Jiang Cheng smiled and took Yi Qingjiu's hand. "Of course not. Our family was just going shopping that day. I participated in the event because the child wanted the prize teddy bear. As for why it was later posted online, I'm not sure, but one thing is for sure. The quality of Tencxing's products always comes before marketing. They market in a timely manner and never use inferior marketing techniques. Yi Qingjiu is not only the president of Tencxing, but also my lover. Even if Tencxing goes bankrupt one day, I will not let her go out and make money by selling her persona. You are willing to do so, but I am not." He spoke in a slow and unhurried tone, as if he was stating something, but also seemed to be joking. All in all, it makes people feel relaxed. Su Tianxin's mother continued to ask, "Some people on the internet have begun to boycott the game King of Glory. What do you think about this?" Jiang Cheng smiled and said, "It's everyone's right to like or not. We are only responsible for bringing good things to everyone. As for the comments, let them do it." "Oh, is that so? Then there are people online asking when you will debut. What do you think about this?" Hearing this, Jiang Cheng smiled and said, "I haven't thought about it yet, but I can give it a try if I have the chance in the future." After the interview, the three people got out of the car. Su Tianxin's mother was very excited. "Thank you, Mr. Jiang and Mr. Yi, for your cooperation. Thank you so much." Jiang Cheng smiled and said, "It's nothing. As I was talking, I saw the babies running out of the classroom. Then the school gate opened. When Yu and Yanyan saw their parents, they happily hugged them and asked for hugs." In the evening, after the family had dinner, Yi Qingjiu received a call from his assistant. "Mr. Yi, you and Mr. Jiang are on the hot search again. Please take a look." "Okay, I understand." After hanging up the phone, Yi Qingjiu opened Weibo, and sure enough, the latest hot search was the one he and Jiang Cheng recorded at the school gate. Follow her and click on the comments. "Ordinary little accountant. You trolls, stop trolling Tencxing. You can even troll a family of 4 shopping and make it a hot topic. It's really hard for you." The second young master Gong Gong. "The bear is for my daughter. The song is sung by Mr. Jiang. Mr. Yi is implicated, and Tang Xing cries so helplessly. Do meow meow. I don't care. Mr. Jiang is a warm-hearted man. What's wrong with asking for a toy for a child? The singing is so beautiful. I love it. Dao Dao Tang. Mr. Jiang is so manly. He actually said he couldn't bear to part with it. I love this sentence so much. I love Mr. Jiang so much. Xiaosi. Am I the only one who ate a handful of dog food? What? Seeing that the whole situation had undergone tremendous changes, Yi Qingjiu was completely relieved. Now, as long as we wait for Li Zhang to take the bait, we can eliminate the trouble forever. Jiang Cheng called his mother and told them that Yi Qingjiu's mother had returned home and was going to visit her tomorrow. He then took the children to bed early. The next morning, the two babies got up early and heard their grandmother's words. They said they would not go to school and wanted to go to their grandmother's house with them. Jiang Cheng looked at the two little cuties with a helpless look on his face. I didn't go the past 2 days and I only went yesterday. I have to ask for leave again to go today. That's not good, Tilda. Niu pouted his lips and said, No, Niu wants to go to Grandpa's house to ride a big horse. Yan also pulled his sleeve and acted coquettishly. Grandma will miss us. Jiang Cheng was overwhelmed. Yi Qingjiu stood in the corridor, leaning against the door frame, and said in a light tone, If you don't want to go, then don't go. Anyway, you can have fun anywhere. You are so young now, and you will have to learn for the rest of your life, Tilda. After hearing what their mother said, the two babies clapped their hands happily. Wow, Mom is so nice. Great, I can go to Grandma's house now. Jiang Cheng looked at Yi Qingjiu. Wasn't she a very strict and serious person? She was the kind of person who didn't even want to give children a piece of candy. How could she tolerate them not going to your school? He smiled and said, Wife, do you feel like you have changed? Yi Qingjiu smiled, raised the corners of her beautiful eyes, and opened and closed her red lips. Changed? Have you become more beautiful? Damn it! Why is she so attractive now? Where is Yi Qingjiu, the soft little white rabbit who blushes when teased? Jiang Cheng felt his heartbeat suddenly quicken, and he was actually a little overwhelmed. Chapter 91. Deciding on the dowry, please give me a recommendation. Yi Qingjiu looked at Jiang Cheng's dazed look and secretly rejoiced in his heart. Humph, who told you to always bully me? She clapped her hands and said, Nunyuo Yanyan, come here and change your clothes. We'll go to Grandma's house later. Okay, Mom. The two babies spread their legs and followed Yi Qingjiu into the house. After changing their clothes, Mother Yi picked up the gifts she brought back from Country M, and the family of 4 went out. When we arrived at the Wellington community, the car just drove to the turning point in front of Jiang Cheng's house, and we saw Sheng Xinyan wearing a white silk pajamas and slippers walking the dog at the door. Jiang Cheng was so helpless. I came back 10 times, and 9 times I saw Sheng Xinyan Tilda. Yi Qingjiu pouted, looking sour. You don't want to see Xinyan, do you want to see Ma Ru? Jiang Cheng smiled and said, I don't want to see anyone but you. Yi Qingjiu was happy and pursed her lips. That's pretty good. Seeing Jiang Cheng's car, Sheng Xinyan hurried over. Mother Yi got out of the car and greeted her. Hello, I'm Jiujiu's mother. Do you remember me? Sheng Xinyan nodded repeatedly. I remember when I was a child, my aunt taught me to draw. How could I forget that? Mother Yi smiled and said, I haven't seen you for so many years. You are getting more and more beautiful. Hearing that she was being praised, Sheng Xinyan looked very happy. Auntie, I haven't seen you for so many years. You are becoming more and more elegant. Seeing that Sheng Xinyan had no intention of leaving, Yi Qingjiu said, Hey, my mom is here to visit Jiang Cheng's parents today. If you don't go in, they will get impatient. Go walk the dog and we'll talk later. Sheng Xinyan nodded. Then I won't bother you anymore. By the way, a company has taken a fancy to my novel and called to say they want to buy the copyright. I want to wait until I finish the book before deciding. To be honest, Yi Qingjiu had also heard Jiang Cheng talk about her Duluo Dalu, and the content was indeed good. Yi Qingjiu thought for a moment and said, Don't sell it yet. Let's talk about it in detail after I finish my work in the next 2 days. Sheng Xinyan nodded. Okay, I won't bother you anymore, come in. After that, he smiled and said to Mother Yi, Auntie, I'm leaving first. Come to my house when you are free. Mother Yi nodded, okay. Niu and Yanyan got out of the car and went straight to Grandma's house. Mother Yi looked at the Jiang family's villa and couldn't help but praise it to Yi Qingjiu. I didn't expect that Jiang Cheng's family is in such good condition. Yi Qingjiu looked at her mother with pride. Mom, there are many things you can't imagine. This villa was bought by Jiang Cheng himself. He earned the money with his own ability. Isn't it amazing? Mother Yi didn't expect her son-in-law to be so capable. She was surprised and said, Wow, he can buy a villa at such a young age. It seems that Jiang Cheng is very capable. You have to know that when Yi En wanted Jiang Cheng to be as old as him, his family only lived in a flat and couldn't afford a villa. I didn't expect that Jiang Cheng was only in his 20s and could already buy a villa. He is truly better than his teacher. Mother Jiang knew that Mother Yi was coming, so she and her husband cleaned up the house early in the morning. The dishes were almost ready by then. When I heard the doorbell, I hurried to open the door. "Oh, everyone is here. Come in and sit down." Mother Yi smiled and said, "Hello, I am King Jiu's mother." Mother Jiang said enthusiastically, "Mother-in-law, please sit inside. Now that the two children have obtained the marriage certificate, we are considered relatives." Father Jiang was still serving dishes outside. When he saw Mother Yi, he hurried over to greet her. "Hello, mother-in-law." Mother Yi put the gifts she brought on the table. "I came back in a hurry and didn't bring much. These are all foreign specialties. I hope you don't mind." Mother Jiang said politely, "We are all family. Why are you bringing anything?" "Nothing, just a small gift, a token of my appreciation." Yi Qingjiu saw Jiang's father busying around, so he hurried over to help serve the rice. The meal was served and everyone sat at the table, including Yi Qingjiu and Jiang Cheng with their two children. Mother Yi sat next to Mother Jiang, and the two of them were as affectionate as sisters who had been separated for many years. "By the way, my dear relatives, do you have any requirements for the bride price?" asked Mother Jiang. Although the two people have obtained their marriage certificate, they still have to follow this custom. Everyone has it, and Mother Jiang will never skimp on Yi Qingjiu. Mother Yi looked at Yi Qingjiu and said, "It's like this. We only have one child in our family. As long as the two children are truly in love, I don't think it matters whether the betrothal gift is a guessing gift or not." Mother Yi is an artist and has lived abroad for many years, so her thoughts are relatively open. Besides, the Yi family is not short of money, and what they value is Jiang Cheng's character. "That won't do. Other girls have it, so Yi Qingjiu must have it too." Mother Jiang didn't want to treat Yi Qingjiu unfairly. From the bottom of her heart, she loved Yi Qingjiu like her own daughter. When Yi Qingjiu heard that Jiang's mother wanted to give a betrothal gift, he refused. Jiang's parents were ordinary workers, and it was not easy for them to save money in a lifetime. She said she couldn't bear to accept it. She thought for a while and said, "Mom, I don't want a betrothal gift. Jiang Cheng has already bought me a diamond ring, so that's it." Mother Jiang looked at Yi Qingjiu's ignorant look and didn't know whether to laugh or cry. "Silly girl, a diamond ring is a diamond ring, and a betrothal gift is a betrothal gift. How can they be the same?" Father Jiang, who was sitting nearby, couldn't help but get anxious. "Well, our family is offering a betrothal gift of 100,000 yuan. Who wouldn't want one? Telling others about it would make people laugh. The betrothal gifts of many families in Sichuan are basically around 60,000 yuan. So giving 100,000 yuan is already considered a lot." When Yi Qingjiu heard that her father-in-law wanted to give her 100,000 yuan, she said she didn't want anything. "Dad, it's really not necessary. I don't want a betrothal gift." Mother Jiang looked at her with a smile. "Silly girl, if you don't want a dowry, what will you do if someone laughs at you in the future? Everyone wants more, but you don't want a penny. Do you think you will be well received by others?" After hearing what Mother Jiang said, Mother Yi was deeply moved. Her in-laws really wanted the best for their daughter and even thought of these things. Jiang Cheng also said, "Wife, this is a gift from my parents, just accept it. How can you get married without a gift?" Seeing that he had spoken, Yi Qingjiu did not refuse and pursed her lips. "Okay, then thank you, Mom and Dad." "Okay, good boy." The family had a happy meal. As they had things to do in the company in the afternoon, Jiang Cheng and Yi Qingjiu prepared to take the children and mother-in-law back home. Unexpectedly, the two little babies refused to leave their grandma's house. Going to ride a big horse with Grandpa, Jiang Cheng left the child with his parents, sent his mother-in-law away, and followed Yi Qingjiu to Tengsing. Yi Qingjiu sat in the office, feeling uncomfortable when he thought of the 100,000 yuan betrothal gift. But he couldn't give it up, so after thinking it over, he took Si Qingqing and walked out of Tengsing's gate. The two went to the BMW 4S store. She plans to buy a car for her parents-in-law, so that it will be more convenient for them to go out in the future, without having to take the bus all the time. Chapter 92, This Wife is a Bit Silly, Seeking Recommendation Votes. When they arrived at the 4S store, Yi Qingjiu and Si Qingqing looked around and finally decided on a champagne-colored BMW X7. She didn't know much about cars, but she thought this car was spacious. A more spacious car would be relatively comfortable to sit in and give a wider field of vision. The needs of the elderly should be comfort and safety. The sales lady was still introducing the product, and Yi Qingjiu raised his hand, signaling her to stop. Then he said calmly, "That's it, check out." The young lady was so excited. It was the first time she had seen such a straightforward person in all her years of selling cars. "Then do you want to buy car insurance? It's a good deal. Before she could finish her introduction, Yi Qingjiu interrupted her. "Buy full insurance. What? Jiang Cheng was not idle either. He sent a message to Wen Dong in the afternoon and asked him to meet him on the open-air balcony on the 19th floor. There are usually not many people there, so it is more private. Jiang Cheng was standing on the balcony, looking down idly, when Wen Dong opened the door and walked in. Seeing Jiang Cheng, he walked over and said respectfully, "Mr. Jiang." Jiang Cheng looked back at him. "Have you called Li Zhang?" Wen Dong nodded and said, "Yes, I did it today after lunch." For Wen Dong, Jiang Cheng is his great benefactor. If it weren't for Jiang Cheng, he might have been kicked out of Tengsing long ago. Not only did Jiang Cheng not let him go, he also increased his salary by 10,000 yuan. Now, he would not listen to anyone except Jiang Cheng. Jiang Cheng nodded. What did he say? Wen Dong lowered his head. "Just like you said, asking me about the meeting I had yesterday, why did you only talk about it today?" Jiang Cheng curled his lips. As he expected, there was a traitor in the company. "You didn't mention the meeting time since you arrived, right?" Jiang Cheng wanted to confirm again. Wen Dong's face was firm. "Yes, Mr. Jiang, I only told you the content, not the time. I will not forget what you told me." Jiang Cheng nodded and patted his arm. "Thank you for your hard work. You did a great job." Wen Dong pursed his lips, looking like he was still blaming himself for what happened last time. No, it's all my responsibility. I'm very happy to work for Mr. Jiang." Jiang Cheng looked at him earnestly. "Okay, go back to work. If you have any difficulties in the future, tell me or find Mr. Yi. There are too many bad people in this society. You never know when you will be deceived. Once you fall into their trap, all the charges will fall on your head, and those real bad guys will only laugh at you behind your back and add insult to injury." Wen Dong lowered his head and listened carefully. Wasn't he deceived by someone like Mr. Li? After a while, he raised his head and looked at Jiang Cheng gratefully. "I will definitely remember your words." After saying that, he hesitated again, "But obviously there are other people who are reporting to Mr. Li. How do you check these people?" Jiang Cheng smiled faintly. "It's okay, there's still a lot of time, let's take it slow." "What?" "There is less than a week left until the end of the month, as soon as the game is released. Li Zhang will definitely settle accounts with these people. There will always be some clues. At that time, I will take action and solve the problem once and for all." "What?" When it was almost time to get off work, Jiang Cheng entered the president's office and prepared to find Yi Qingjiu to pick up the child from his mother's house, and then go home. As soon as I entered the door, I saw Yi Qingjiu with a rosy complexion and looked very happy. He couldn't help but ask curiously, "Wife, what happy thing happened to you?" Yi Qingjiu looked at him with a smile. "Come on, let's go pick up the baby." After saying that, he pulled Jiang Cheng, opened the door, and went to the elevator. Jiang Cheng looked at her in confusion. "Wife, why are you in such a hurry?" How could she not be anxious? She also wanted to let Jiang Cheng see whether Jiang's father would like her gift. After all, she is a daughter-in-law, so of course she wants to make her parents-in-law happy. The two of them backed into the garage, and Yi Qingjiu took out the car key from her bag and pressed the key. After a moment, a brand-new champagne-colored BMW X7 had its headlights flashing and stood there like a guard obeying an order. Jiang Cheng looked at her with a look of surprise. "Wife, are you dissatisfied with the Lamborghini and want to buy a new car?" He felt a little guilty when he thought of this. After all, his wife was used to driving a Rolls-Royce. "Actually, you can just drive mine. I don't have any demand for cars." Yi Qingjiu handed the car keys to him excitedly. "I bought this for my dad. Let's drive it back to see if he likes it." Hearing this, Jiang Cheng was petrified instantly. "It's both touching and funny. In short, my mood is very complicated." "So you went out all afternoon just to buy a car?" Yi Qingjiu nodded, looking innocent. "Yes, it can't just be the man who gives the gift. The woman also has to give a dowry. She couldn't just take Jiang's father and mother's hard-earned money for nothing. She would feel guilty about that." Jiang Cheng didn't know whether to laugh or cry. "Wife, my parents are retired now. They basically don't go out except to buy groceries. There's no point in buying a car. There is a large supermarket in front of the villa, which sells all kinds of vegetables. You can't drive everywhere outside the community. Moreover, since Mr. and Mrs. Jiang have gotten older, they have added a new exercise to their routine, which is walking. After dinner every day, the two of them would walk around the community a few times, which was wonderful. There is no use for the car at all. Besides, it's not very safe for an elderly person to drive." Yi Qingjiu glanced at him and said, "What do you know? With it, my parents can go on a self-driving tour on weekends. Besides, it will be much more convenient to go out on weekdays." Jiang Cheng smiled helplessly. "If they really want to buy a car, I can buy it too. Why would they wait until now? Jiang Cheng just wanted to express that his parents really didn't need a car. Yi Qingjiu's expression changed after hearing this. So, why can I only spend your money and not mine? What? The question comes back to the fact that Jiang Cheng is unwilling to be a gigolo. I just want to buy a car for my dad to get around, Yi Qingjiu said, and suddenly lowered his head in grievance. Her long eyelashes hang down, making people fall in love with her. Jiang Cheng hugged her and coaxed her gently. Wife, I know you want them to feel more comfortable. I was wrong. I just said it casually. In fact, I like to eat soft rice the most. Soft rice is so delicious. Yi Qingjiu tapped him lightly on the chest and said, Go away, you are so unruly, Tilda. As the two were talking, 3 employees who were out on business came down. I just happened to bump into 2 people face to face. The 3 of them were stunned. Oh my God. I can run into Mr. Yi and be intimate with him in the next garage. What kind of luck is this? How can your life be good if you disturb your boss's fun? The more I thought about it, the more nervous I became. Yi Qingjiu almost jumped out of Jiang Cheng's arms, her face flushed redder than ever. She was so embarrassed that she couldn't extricate herself. Her image. Chapter 93, Give a car to your father-in-law. Please vote for recommendation. Would the employees think that I was a lecher? The kind who wouldn't even miss a chance in the garage. A female employee wearing glasses came up with a quick idea. She looked around and said, The lights in this garage are so dim, I can't see anything clearly. How annoying. The older middle-aged male colleague next to him immediately agreed. Yeah, let's ask the security guard to get a few more light bulbs next time. It's too dark and it's easy to fall. We're Tengsing, that's a big company. The employee wearing glasses agreed. It's too dark, really too dark. As he said this, he prepared to slip away. No one expected that the youngest employee would suddenly speak up. Didn't you see that this is Mr. Yi? She was the youngest and the newcomer, so she couldn't help but tell the truth when she saw the 2 men staring at each other and talking nonsense seriously. Time seemed to stop suddenly. 30 seconds later, the female employee with glasses adjusted her glasses with an embarrassed look on her face. He smiled awkwardly. The light was too dark just now. I didn't recognize you. It turns out to be Mr. Yi. Hello, Mr. Yi. The middle-aged man also had a fake smile on his face. Hello, Mr. Yi. We have something else to do, so we'll be leaving first. After saying that, he dragged the newcomer forward, complaining as he walked. Is there something wrong with your brain? Don't you see that the leaders are loving? You are the only one who talks too much. You are the only one who is polite. Just wait to be punished. Ah, how should I know? I thought I had to greet the leader when I saw him. What should I do? Will Mr. Yi make things difficult for me tomorrow? By the way, Mr. Jiang is so handsome. I also want to have a hug like that. The voices of the few people were not loud, but unfortunately the underground parking lot was so empty that it seemed to have its own built-in loudspeaker function. Every word they said reached the ears of Yi Qingjiu and Jiang Cheng without any error. After hearing what they said, Yi Qingjiu felt sick all over. Am I that fierce? Making things difficult for you. It's better to be objective and not subjective. What? Jiang Cheng looked at Yi Qingjiu, who was embarrassed, and snorted. Okay, let's go. Mom is still waiting for us at home. After saying that, he stuffed her into the cab. I got into the driver's cab of the X7, and a Rolls-Royce Phantom and a brand new X7 drove out of the Tengsing parking lot. What? Half an hour later, 2 cars entered the Wellington community one after the other and stopped in the garage of Building 8. Jiang Cheng rang the doorbell and saw the 2 babies were making a fuss in the bedroom, looking for their parents. When I heard the doorbell, I climbed out of bed and ran to open the door. But the 2 of them were too short to reach it, and they were extremely anxious. Mother Jiang chased after them, 2 little ancestors. Then he opened the door. As soon as the door opened, the 2 little guys got out. Yanyan hugged Jiang Cheng's legs and said, Daddy, you're finally back. Nunu held her hands. Her round eyes were watery. Daddy, I want a hug, a kiss, Tilda. Jiang Cheng picked up the 2 little babies and said, Let's go into the house first. After saying that, she carried the child into the house, and Yi Qingjiu followed obediently behind. When Mother Jiang saw Yi Qingjiu, she quickly pulled her to sit down and said, You are so tired from work, just ask him to come and pick up the child. Why did you come all the way here? Yi Qingjiu smiled and said, Mom, it's okay. We are going together. Mother Jiang poured her a glass of water and said, Drink more water. The weather has been a bit dry recently, and it's easy to get irritated. Jiang Cheng put the 2 babies on the sofa, went to the house to get the children's shoes, put them on the 2 babies, and then smiled. Mom, give me a drink too. Mother Jiang glared at him and said, Don't you have hands? Fall down on your own. Father Jiang was reading in the study. When he heard the two people coming back, he came out as well. You haven't eaten yet? Tell your mother what you want to eat and let her make it for you. Mother Jiang glanced at her husband and said, It's not easy for her to come back home for 2 days. She must want her children to spend more time with her. We are all parents. Don't you understand this? After hearing what his wife said, Mr. Jiang suddenly understood. Then he looked ashamed and said, Your mother is right. It was Dad who was careless. Take the children back quickly and come over for dinner another day when you are free. Jiang Cheng looked at his father and smiled. Dad, your daughter-in-law bought you a gift. Hearing this, Father Jiang frowned. I just brought a gift at noon. Why are you giving me another gift now? We are old, we don't need anything like that. Jiang Cheng looked at his father. Aren't you curious about what it is? This question stumped my dad. He looked around but saw nothing. What? Jiang Cheng walked over with a smile, holding his father's shoulders as he walked outside, and said cheerfully, It's a big item, and there's no room for it in the house. After hearing Jiang Cheng say it was a big item, Jiang's mother also became curious. She looked at Yi Qingjiu and asked, Son, what did you buy again? Yi Qingjiu smiled and said, I don't know if you like it or not, so I just picked it randomly. You can take a look at it too. Oh, you kid. Mother Jiang stood up after she said that. She said it was a waste and refused the gift from her daughter-in-law, but she was happy in her heart. At least the kids have a heart. Mother Jiang smiled and said, Come on, let's take a look together. After saying that, the two of them went outside. Father Jiang looked at the brand new X7 with a surprised look on his face. Dad is so old. Why did you buy him a car? Mother Jiang was also shocked when she saw it was a car. She pulled Yi Qingjiu's hand and said, Son, why did you buy such an expensive gift? Your father and I don't go out very often. Buying a car is a waste of talent. Yi Qingjiu smiled and said, Mom, the purpose of buying a car is to make it convenient for you. You can go wherever you want in the future. Father Jiang looked at Yi Qingjiu seriously and said, Son, this is too valuable. We can't accept it. Please drive it back. Mother Jiang also nodded quickly. Yes, you young people have many places to use cars, and we old people really don't have much demand. Yi Qingjiu looked at the two elderly people with sincere eyes. Dad, Mom, you can keep it and open it. Just consider it my dowry. After hearing what Yi Qingjiu said, both of them laughed. Mother Jiang looked at her lovingly. My silly child, the dowry is for you too, not for your parents. Yi Qingjiu never dreamed that this would be the case. Now it seemed that there was no reason for them to take the car. While they were thinking of a solution, Jiang Cheng looked at the three of them and smiled. Dad, just accept it. After all, it's a token of your daughter-in-law's love. If you don't accept it, she will be upset and cry when she goes back. When Mr. Jiang heard this, he looked embarrassed. To be honest, it can be said that cars are of no use to them. They are definitely more convenient. He thought about it and said, Okay, I'll take it. You can come and get it any time you need it in the future. Hearing that Father Jiang accepted it, Yi Qingjiu finally felt relieved. She smiled and said, Dad, just drive with peace of mind. Chapter 94, Jiang Family Heirloom. Mother Jiang pulled Yi Qingjiu and said, You are such a filial child. Come with me into the house. I have something for you. After saying that, he pulled Yi Qingjiu back to the house. Jiang Cheng was confused. He looked at his father and asked, Dad, what is Mom going to give me? Father Jiang smiled and said, What can your mother give? It's probably the bracelet your grandmother left for her. Wow, there is a family heirloom. I have been staying at home for so many years, and I really didn't know there was any bracelet. There is such a treasure. Why haven't I seen it before? Jiang Cheng was a little unbelievable. Dad glared at him and said, That was passed on to our Jiang family's daughter-in-law. What did you see? Okay. Jiang Cheng looked as if what you said was right. The two of them chatted and laughed as they went into the house. The babies were sitting on the sofa and playing with toys obediently. Seeing that they were playing happily, Jiang Cheng didn't disturb them and went straight into his mother's room. Then I saw my mother holding a big gold bracelet and putting it on Yi Qingjiu's hand. That bracelet looks like it has been passed down for 4 generations, and its style is a bit inconsistent with today's aesthetics. It looks weird and a little rustic. Seeing Jiang Cheng coming, Yi Qingjiu raised her hand and looked at him with a smile. Husband, how is it? Jiang Cheng was a little worried that Yi Qingjiu wouldn't like it, but since it was something left behind by his old age, he could only look embarrassed and said, Well, it's okay. How can you say it's okay? This is my mother-in-law's recognition of me. Yi Qingjiu pouted. It's obviously very beautiful. How can you say it's just okay? Do you have any aesthetic sense? Mother Jiang was very happy to see her daughter-in-law liked it. She looked at her with a smile and said, "As long as you like it, that's good." Yi Qingjiu looked at the bracelet on her hand and was so happy. "Mom, you are so kind." Mother Jiang held her hand and said, "My child, this is what your great-grandmother left behind. Now I am handing it over to you." Yi Qingjiu nodded. "Mom, I will take good care of your heart." What? On the way home, Yi Qingjiu sat in the back with her two children. She looked in a good mood and even hummed a song. Niu couldn't help but raise her little face curiously. "Mom, are you happy today?" Yi Qingjiu proudly stretched out her arm and shook the shiny gold bracelet. "Look, this is the gift Grandma gave to Mom. It's very beautiful, isn't it?" Hearing this, the two babies both pulled up their chubby cheeks, with expressions that were hard to describe. Yanyan licked her lips and said, "Mom, I think the one Aunt Xinyan gave you looks better." Niu also agreed. "Yes, Aunt Xinyan bought it for Mom and it looks nice." What Niu and Yanyan were talking about was the gold bracelet that Sheng Xinyan bought for Yi Qingjiu on her birthday last year. To be fair, that bracelet was better in style, workmanship, and even weight than this one. Yi Qingjiu was not short of these things. He packed them up one by one, worth millions, and the jewelry cabinet was full of them. But they are just for occasions. She doesn't like wearing jewelry because she thinks it's cumbersome. But this time it's different. This was given by my mother-in-law, and she wants everyone to see it. Seeing that the two babies didn't like it, Yi Qingjiu glanced at them and said, "This is the recognition of Mom by Grandpa and Grandma. This is the inheritance of the family and has far-reaching significance. Do you understand?" Niu looked at her mother in confusion. "Mom, what is inheritance?" "Well, inheritance is passed down from generation to generation. This is called inheritance." After hearing what their mother said, the two babies nodded as if they understood. Niu blinked her watery eyes and said, "Mom, can you pass it on to me in the future? I also want to inherit it, Tilda." When Yanyan heard that her elder sister wanted it, she also became anxious. Yanyan also wants to inherit it. Yi Qingjiu looked at the two adorable babies and couldn't help but kiss each of them on the head. "Let's talk about it when you grow up, Tilda." Jiang Cheng drove silently. When he saw Yi Qingjiu's brilliant smile in the rearview mirror, he felt an indescribable warmth in his heart. When they got home, Mother Yi was sitting at the dining table waiting for them. She was not very good at cooking, so Mother Zhang prepared the meal. When Niu and Yanyan saw their grandmother, they ran over and acted coquettishly. Niu pouted and looked at Mother Yi. Grandma, do you miss Niu?" Yanyan threw herself on her legs. "Grandma, you can't just think about your sister and not Yanyan Tilda." Mother Yi touched the two babies' heads and said, "Of course Grandma misses you." After saying that, he held the two babies in his arms. After all, for middle-aged or elderly people, it is still a bit difficult to hold two children. Jiang Cheng was afraid that Mother Yi would be tired. "You two little ones, hurry up and come down, don't let Grandma hold you." Mother Yi was so distressed that she couldn't bear to put down her two babies. It's okay. I'll hold them for a while. You won't be able to hold them tomorrow if you want to." After hearing this, Yi Qingjiu was stunned. "Are you going to leave?" She was reluctant to let her mother go. Jiang Cheng also hurriedly said, "It's not easy to come back for a few days. You can stay a few more days." Mother Yi looked at the two of them and said, "It's like this. This time when I came back, I also wanted to visit Jiujiu's grandparents. They are old and in poor health." Yi Qingjiu's grandparents lived in a small place near Yudu. How to describe it? Beautiful mountains and rivers, but so boring. Not many people live there because the conditions are poor and transportation is inconvenient. It is because the transportation is not convenient that the local customs and culture have been preserved intact. In fact, Yi Qingjiu's grandparents originally lived in the urban area, but they fell in love with the environment there and moved there after retirement. "I built a small courtyard for myself, where I planted crops and picked melons all day long. When I had nothing to do, I would drink a pot of tea. I lived a very leisurely and comfortable life. However, the older the elderly are, the more likely they are to have health problems. Yi Qingjiu's grandparents are not in very good health either. So Mother Yi wanted to go and see them and stay there for a while." Hearing this, Yi Qingjiu thought for a moment and said, "Mom, why don't I go with you?" She still couldn't bear to leave her mother. Jiang Cheng calculated the days and found that there were still 4 days before the release of Honor of Kings. So there was nothing wrong with staying there for 2 days. He hurriedly said, "Yes, Mom, we'll go with you." When they heard that their parents were leaving, although they didn't know where they were going, Niu and Yanyan were determined to follow them. Niu started to act like a spoiled child. "Daddy, take Niu with." Yanyan was also extremely anxious. "And Yanyan wants to go too." Mother Yi looked at the two babies and was a little hesitant, but when she remembered that Yi Qingjiu was so busy, she couldn't bear to waste her time, so she thought about it. How about this, if you guys go too? You can stay for a day and come back the next day, how about that? Yi Qingjiu calculated the time and nodded. Okay, the third day is just the right time to prepare for the press conference. After discussing the route, Jiang Cheng took his two babies to wash their feet, brush their teeth, and then went to bed. The next morning after breakfast, Jiang Cheng drove out the Alpha that the nanny used to use from the garage. After all, it is a long-distance trip, and Alpha is a business car with a larger space. With enough space, it can be more comfortable. The family got in the car and headed towards the vicinity of Yudu. Chapter 95, 5-Year Driving Experience. Niu and Yanyan had never been out of the house before. The two babies looked outside curiously all the way. Niu pointed at the lush green woods and said curiously, "Wow, Mom, the trees over there are so tall." Yi Qingjiu kissed her daughter's cute face gently and said softly, "That forest must be very old and no one has trimmed it, so it is very lush." As the mother and daughter were talking, the car arrived at the entrance of the tunnel. The moment it entered the tunnel, it suddenly became dark. The two babies were obviously frightened by the sudden darkness. Yanyan nervously pulled Yi Qingjiu's hand and said, "Mom, why can our car drive under the mountain?" Yi Qingjiu hugged him and patted him a few times as a consolation. "This is a tunnel. It's the quickest way that the tunnelers dug from the bottom of the mountain." Niu looked at her curiously. "Mom, will there be big bad wolves on the mountain?" Children's imaginations are truly endless. Yi Qingjiu explained patiently, There should be some." After getting a positive answer from their mother, the two babies became even more curious. Yanyan opened her eyes wide and looked at her. "Mom, will the big bad wolf's dad and Mom brush his teeth and wash his feet?" "Yeah, big bad wolf, do you want to wash your feet?" Niu also looked at his mother seriously, waiting for her negative answer. Yi Qingjiu looked at the two innocent children, not knowing whether to laugh or cry. She thought about it and nodded seriously, yes. After getting a positive answer, Niu was obviously disappointed. "I don't believe it, Mom, you lied to me. The big bad wolf runs on the ground every day and his feet are so dirty. Doesn't he have to wash his feet all the time?" Jiang Cheng couldn't help laughing out loud while listening to the conversation between the mother and her two children. The children's questions were so cute. He said, "Who told them not to wear shoes? If they don't wear shoes, they have to wash their feet, tilde." After hearing what their father said, the two babies pouted and lowered their heads. Yi Qingjiu patted their little heads and asked, "So, do you two want to wear shoes from now on?" "Want? What?" After driving on the highway for 3 hours, the car finally stopped at a gas station. Yi Qingjiu was worried that Jiang Cheng might be driving while fatigued, so she took the initiative to ask to drive the next section of the route. Jiang Cheng took out the spiritual spring water he brought with him and drank a sip of it. "It's okay, I can do it." He is a man with spiritual power, so he doesn't get tired. Let alone 4 hours, even driving for a whole night is not a problem. Yi Qingjiu looked worried. "Let me do it. We can take turns driving so you can have a rest. Driving while fatigued is very dangerous." "Yes, just let Qingjiu open it." The mother-in-law was also worried about him. After all, there were 5 people in the family. What if something happened? Jiang Cheng looked at Yi Qingjiu hesitantly. "My mom and I are in the back with the kids. Can you drive alone?" "What's wrong with that? I'm an experienced driver with 5 years of driving experience." Yi Qingjiu retorted. "You can go and tell them the consequences of the big bad wolf not wearing shoes." As she was talking, she suddenly smiled, with the corners of her bright red lips slightly raised, looking indescribably beautiful. Jiang Cheng couldn't help but lick his lips. "Okay, then I'll go tell them a story." After a short rest, the car continued on the road. After telling the story, the two little ones fell asleep in the car, and Jiang Cheng was still peeling apples for them. When I looked back, I saw that the two babies were already sleeping in their seats. Mother Yi was worried that they would catch a cold, so she gently covered the two babies with a blanket. Jiang Cheng handed the apple over. "Mom, have an apple." Mother Yi took the apple and smiled. "Thank you." An hour later, the car finally got off the highway and started heading towards the small village where Yi Qingjiu's grandmother lived. The road at the beginning was an asphalt road, but it became more and more difficult to drive on as it became all dirt roads and extremely uneven. The intersection is very narrow, and the road is difficult to navigate, and large trucks on the opposite side are also waiting to pass here. When we got to a narrow turn, there was a traffic jam. As soon as the car in front passed, the large truck on the opposite side drove over impatiently and blocked Yi Qingjiu. It was her first time driving on this road, and she was a little nervous. I wanted to try to move to the side, but I was afraid that if I moved, I would move into the small puddle next to it. The puddle was not deep, but it was definitely not shallow either. It was just about half the height of the wheel of the car. This is very embarrassing. Seeing that Yi Qingjiu was not moving, the truck opposite honked. Jiang Cheng glanced outside and said, "How about I come?" "He is coming." Having just said that he was an experienced driver, Yi Qingjiu didn't want to show his weakness. She said firmly, "No, I'll do it myself." After saying that, he put the car in reverse gear and turned the steering wheel. However, the driver behind him was unhappy as soon as he moved. He also started to blare loudly. Yi Qingjiu was overwhelmed. He looked at Jiang Cheng helplessly, "Or you should come." I have to admit that Jiang Cheng's skills are indeed better than mine. Jiang Cheng was about to get out of the car. He opened the door and saw a puddle next to him. Judging from the long backing space from the front of the car, his shoes would be soaked in water that afternoon, and his trouser legs might even get wet. He thought for a moment and said, "Wife, why don't you stick your head out?" "Huh?" Yi Qingjiu looked confused. "Why are you sticking your head out?" "Be good and listen, stick your head out." Yi Qingjiu looked at Jiang Cheng's confident expression and somehow stuck his head out. The driver of the truck on the opposite side was looking anxious, and when he noticed that the driver of the oncoming car was a female, he immediately understood. Silently backed the car out for a distance. Yi Qingjiu stepped on the accelerator lightly and passed the intersection smoothly. She couldn't figure out why the car on the opposite side suddenly gave way. Does she know herself? Although she is the president of Tanxing and has been interviewed several times, she is not familiar to the whole nation. After thinking for a long time, I still couldn't figure it out, so I couldn't help but ask, "Husband, why does he move aside when I stick my head out?" Jiang Cheng laughed out loud and said in a teasing tone, "Wife, you may not know this, but male drivers are generally afraid of female drivers, especially a driver like you who is so charming and has 5 years of driving experience." Yi Qingjiu widened her eyes and looked back at him shyly. "You are making fun of me." Jiang Cheng smiled brightly. "No, no, no, I didn't. My wife is the best." "You're just making fun of me." "No, no, how could that be possible?" The two of them were talking to each other. Mother Yi couldn't help laughing when she saw the friendly appearance of the two people. She looked at Jiang Cheng and said, "I didn't realize you were so smart. You can come up with such an idea. Female drivers are generally timid and are indeed slightly inferior to male drivers, especially when it comes to emergencies like this." Mother Yi understands this very well. Hearing her mother praising Jiang Cheng, Yi Qing was so drunk that she pouted and acted like a spoiled child. "Mom, you're still speaking for him, Tilda." Jiang Cheng looked ashamed. "Mom, please don't praise me. If you praise Qingjiu again, I'll be jealous." Yi Qingjiu snorted, "I'm not jealous of you." Chapter 96. Wow, this place is great. After driving along a mountain road, they finally arrived at their grandparents' house, and Yi Qingjiu stopped the car. Niu and Yanyan also woke up. Jiang Cheng touched the back of the two babies' heads and saw that they were not sweating, so he opened the car door with confidence. Let's go. Let's go down and take a look, Tilda." The two babies were sleeping in a daze. They blinked their eyes and then slowly sat up with their heads drooped. After getting off the bus, Mother Yi stretched out her hands to hug the babies. "Come to Grandma. Grandma will carry you off the bus." Hearing this, the two babies climbed down from their seats. Mother Yi carefully picked up Yanyan and then turned around to pick up Niu. The two babies got down to the ground, looked around, and instantly became energetic. The scenery is beautiful, and there are even butterflies. White and yellow butterflies were flying around, entwined with each other. Not far away there is a stream, flowing slowly down from the mountain stream. Yi Qingjiu has been working intensively. When she has a rare day off, she stays at home and at most goes out shopping with her bestie. I seldom go out, but when I saw such a beautiful scenery, I couldn't help but sigh. No wonder my grandparents didn't live in the city but came here. It's so beautiful. Mother Yi smiled and said, "Yes, your grandparents just liked the scenery here. Now that they are old, it's good to be away from the hustle and bustle of the city. Come on, let's go in. Otherwise, Grandpa and Grandma will be waiting anxiously." Hearing what Jiang Cheng said, the mother and daughter nodded and went towards the Yi family's yard. The two babies wanted to catch butterflies, so Jiang Cheng picked them up and said, "Let's play later. Let's go see Grandma and Grandpa first." Yi Qingjiu's grandfather was cleaning the yard. When he heard the knock on the door, he hurried over to open it. "Yu, why are you back? And you brought some green wine with you." Mother Yi's name is Zhang Yue, and Yu is her nickname. My grandfather is already 70 years old. He is not as energetic as Grandpa Yi and looks a little old. Dad, I brought the kids back to see you. This is Jiang Cheng, Jiuju's husband. After hearing what Zhang Yue said, Grandpa looked at Jiang Cheng's face. It must be said that this grandson-in-law is really a handsome man. He nodded with satisfaction. Come on, let's talk first. After entering the yard, Yi's mother asked curiously, Dad, where is my mom? Hearing this, Grandpa shook his head and said, I haven't been in a good mood recently. I've been sleeping for most of the day. After saying that, he looked at Yi Qingjiu and Jiang Cheng and said, Hurry up and sit down. Hurry up and sit down. Grandpa will go get you some water. Niu and Yanyan's minds were all on the butterfly outside. The two of them leaned on Jiang Cheng, looking aggrieved. Niu's eyes were filled with tears, and it seemed like they were about to fall any second. She looked like she was about to cry at any moment. Daddy, just take us to catch butterflies. Yanyan also looked at him gloomily. Daddy, we will be good just 10 minutes, okay, Tilda. Jiang Cheng's heart broke when he looked at his two babies. Mother Yi looked at the aggrieved looks of her two babies and felt as if her heart was being pinched. Without waiting for Jiang Cheng to speak, he hurriedly said, Grandma is still resting now, so it's okay for the children to go play for a while. Jiang Cheng rubbed the two babies' heads and said, Go and thank Grandma. Thank you, Grandma Tilda. Grandma Niu wants to give you a kiss, Tilda. Mother Yi giggled at the cute looks of the two babies. Go quickly and be careful. After saying that, Jiang Cheng took the two babies out of the door. Passing by the yard, he saw a net and a 1-meter-long wooden stick in the corner, which were just right for the two babies to catch butterflies. He picked up the net and left the yard. The two babies cheered and ran excitedly. Jiang Cheng was sweating profusely as he chased after him. Pay attention to the stones under your feet. Don't bump into them. Yanyan agreed without even turning her head. I know, Dad, Tilda. After saying that, he ran away in small steps, and the butterfly had already disappeared. I searched for the two treasures for a long time but couldn't find them. I was very disappointed. Niu pouted and was about to cry. Jiang Cheng comforted her. Niu, be good, don't cry, Tilda. Then he pointed to the stream over there and said, There are no butterflies, but there are other things. Look over there. Daddy will take you to catch fish, okay? When he heard about catching fish, Niu's eyes lit up instantly. He had a bitter face and looked like he was about to cry just now, but now he was smiling brightly. Dad, Niu likes to catch fish. Yanyan also clapped her hands. Yanyan wants to catch fish. Jiang Chengxiao looked helpless. Let's go catch some fish. After saying that, he took his two babies and walked towards the stream. He just took a quick glance at it when he got off the car just now, but now standing in front of it, Jiang Cheng realized that it was not a stream at all. The water inside should be crystal clear and look shallow, but it is actually not shallow. It is at least 1 meter deep. It's definitely not possible for the children to go down. He thought for a moment and said, Let me go a little further forward. It should be shallower there. Okay, the two babies said in unison. Then he skipped forward along the dirt road beside him. After walking for a distance, I finally found a relatively shallow place. But because the water is shallow, there are only some small fish fry in it, and the big ones are as long as the thumb. Fortunately, the two babies didn't mind. Niu jumped up excitedly. Daddy, help me take off my shoes quickly, I want to get off. Niu is not very good at taking off his shoes now, and often needs help from adults. While Jiang Cheng was still helping her take off her shoes, Yanyan had already skillfully taken off her shoes and her socks. Jiang Cheng rolled up the trouser legs of the two babies and put them in the water, with the water just covering their calves. The two babies had a lot of fun. Jiang Cheng just watched from the side and took a look at the surrounding scenery. As I was looking, I discovered a very beautiful plant growing in the mud by the stream. It had small white and purple flowers and was extremely beautiful. When I walked closer, I saw that it turned out to be a Pinellia ternata plant. Pinellia ternata is a medicinal herb that is not very expensive, but there are many fakes on the market now, so it is not easy to buy the real one. Seeing that it was blooming beautifully, Jiang Cheng simply dug it out, put it carefully in his pocket, and prepared to plant it in the space before going to bed at night. I originally thought that the two kids were just catching fish for fun, but unexpectedly, Yanyan actually caught a small fish. He was so happy that he held the fish and shouted, Dad, come and see. Niu was also very excited. Dad, my brother caught a fish, Tilda. Jiang Cheng walked over with a smile on his face. He touched Yanyan's head and said, Baby, that's great. When praised by his father, the child said proudly, Daddy, can I take it home? Jiang Cheng smiled and said, Baby, look at how small it is. Doesn't it look like our lovely little Yanyan? Yanyan looked down at Xiaoyu and suddenly pouted. Daddy, it also has a daddy and a mommy, right? Chapter 97, I am an old Chinese doctor. Jiang Cheng nodded. Yes, of course it has a dad and a mom and maybe an older sister as well. Yanyan thought about it, then suddenly squatted down, put the fish back into the water, and said to the little fish in a baby voice, Go find your dad and mom quickly. Thank you for playing with me. I'm very happy, Tilda. Seeing his son being so loving, Jiang Cheng felt so relieved. He is really daddy's good boy. Ding Tilda, bring 2 treasures to catch fish, and you will be rewarded with famous doctor skills. Jiang Cheng was curious. Famous doctor, interesting, Chinese medicine or Western medicine. System, traditional Chinese medicine. Traditional Chinese medicine is good, to be honest. It is the most effective. Jiang Cheng only felt a wave of heat flowing through all the acupuncture points in his body. Suddenly, my mind was filled with countless knowledge about traditional Chinese medicine, which flowed through my mind like slide shows. It's a wonderful feeling inside. Jiang Cheng shook his head, went back to the stream, and played with the 2 little darlings for a while. Feeling that the time was about right, he took the 2 babies out and dressed them in dolls and shoes. He pulled one with his left hand and another with his right hand, and skipped back to Yi Qingjiu's grandmother's house. Yanyan wanted to share the joy of catching fish with her mother, so she pushed open the door of the courtyard and rushed in. Mom, where are you? Nunu also ran wildly following Yanyan. Jiang Cheng followed behind with a helpless look on his face. The house was very big. The living room was right after the entrance. There was a bedroom in each of the 4 corners, east, south, west, and north, and each bedroom had an attached bathroom. It still looks very grand, and doesn't look like a formal rural family at all. The 2 babies searched each room one by one, and finally found Yi Qingjiu in the westernmost room. She was sitting beside her grandmother's bed with Mother Yi, looking worried. Seeing the 2 babies, he hurriedly pulled them over and said, Come here, this is Grandma. The 2 babies looked at the gray-haired old woman lying on the bed and called out sensibly, Hello, Grandma. The grandmother looked at her 2 great-grandchildren and smiled warmly. My dears, come and let Grandma take a look. The 2 babies looked at each other and then walked up to their grandmother. Nu's long eyelashes fluttered as she looked at her grandmother seriously. Grandma, are you sick? Grandma smiled and said, Grandma is just dizzy, it's low blood sugar. I'll be fine after a rest. Jiang Cheng walked in, looked at his grandmother who looked very old and nodded. Hello, Grandma. Mother Yi hurriedly introduced her to her grandmother. Mom, this is Jiujiu's husband. His name is Jiang Cheng. Jiang Cheng smiled politely. Yes, Grandma, my name is Jiang Cheng. When the grandmother heard that it was her grandson-in-law, she sat up and took a closer look. Come, give me a hand. After saying that, he pulled Yi's mother's arm and stood up. She walked slowly to Jiang Cheng and said, Child, are you hungry? Grandma will cook for you and the babies. It was the first time that her grandson-in-law came to visit, so as an elder she had to cook a meal for the children. Seeing that Grandma was staggering, he hurriedly supported her and said, Grandma, you take a rest. Just tell me where the kitchen is and I'll go cook. Yi Qingjiu also stood up. Yes, Grandma, you have a good chat with Mom and we will go cook. She had a very good relationship with her grandmother when she was a child, and once secretly went to her grandmother's house to eat snacks. The spicy noodles cost 50 cents a bag, and only her grandmother bought them for her in the family. Yes, Mom, let the children go cook and you take a rest. It's not pleasant to have hypoglycemia. Mother Yi also advised her. Grandma hesitated for a moment, then smiled and said, Okay, then I will eat the meal cooked by my granddaughter and grandson-in-law today. Mother Yi was really worried that she would faint, so she quickly helped her back to bed. Yi Qingjiu took Jiang Cheng to the kitchen. The kitchen is quite big and has everything you need. Jiang Cheng opened the refrigerator and looked. Wife, what does our grandma like to eat? To be honest, Yi Qingjiu didn't know what her grandma liked to eat. She was very young at that time, but she remembers that her grandmother always made braised pork ribs for her, with big chunks of ribs. Yi Qingjiu really likes to eat the ribs made by her grandmother. She always eats them in big and small bites. Her grandmother always sits beside her and watches her eat with a smile on her face. It seemed that as long as she ate it, she would be happier than if she ate it herself. She frowned. Grandma should like to eat ribs, but are ribs suitable for the elderly? My grandmother is already over 70 years old. She must have had several dentures installed. Will the bones knock her teeth off? The more Yi Qingjiu spoke, the more worried he became. Jiang Cheng almost laughed out loud after hearing her answer. Oh my God, his wife is so cute. Yi Qingjiu glared at him. What are you laughing at? Jiang Cheng cleared his throat. It's okay. It's just spare ribs. Let's prepare it. Stew it until the bones fall off. It's soft and fragrant, and the inside will melt in your mouth. I absolutely can't make Grandma's teeth break. Yi Qingjiu nodded in satisfaction. Well, that's good enough. What do you need me to do for you? I can peel onions and wash vegetables. Jiang Cheng patted her head and said, No need, I can do it alone. Go and chat with Grandma. Yi Qingjiu shook his head. No. Why? Jiang Cheng looked curious. Yi Qingjiu blinked and said, Because Grandma has Mom to accompany her, but you don't have anyone to accompany you. Oh my God, is this really a cool female CEO? Really? Jiang Cheng was so touched. How about this? Go get me a chair. Oh, Yi Qingjiu nodded, walked to the living room, and obediently moved a chair over. Here, Tilda, the chair you asked for. Jiang Cheng held her shoulders and pressed her into the chair. Okay, then you just sit here and chat with me, Tilda. Looking at his handsome smile, Yi Qingjiu felt warm in his heart. She smiled helplessly. I can do something to help you. Jiang Cheng waved his hand. No, just sit down. If you're bored, play with your phone for a while. I'll be there soon. In fact, Yi Qingjiu was not feeling well today. A few days before her period, she would feel particularly uncomfortable and sleepy. Seeing that Jiang Cheng insisted on letting her rest, she did not refuse. She checked her phone, chatted with Si Kinking on WeChat, and asked about the company's situation. He sat in the chair with his head tilted and fell asleep in a daze. When she woke up, she was shocked to find Jiang Cheng looking at her with a smile. Why are you looking at me? Jiang Cheng chuckled. I wanted to carry you to bed, but I was afraid that if I touched you, I would wake you up. I was just hesitating when you woke up. Yi Qingjiu rubbed his eyes and said, It's okay, just take a nap, no need to rest. After saying that, he glanced at the dishes on the stove and saw that they were almost ready. He stood up, took the dishes out, and put them on the table. Mom, Grandpa, and Grandma, it's time to eat. When they heard about the meal, the two little darlings almost immediately rushed out of their grandmother's room. Chapter 98, Grandma's Strange Disease, asking for monthly ticket. He was running and fishing just now, and now he is starving. When Grandpa heard that it was time for dinner, he came out from the north room. He just saw his daughter, granddaughter, and wife whispering. I didn't want to disturb them and simply went back to the room to take a nap. Unexpectedly, when I woke up, my granddaughter called me to eat. Hey, it's rare for you two to come back. How come you're cooking? Jiang Cheng came out of the kitchen with a few bowls of rice. Grandpa, you go ahead and do it. There are still ribs in the pot. I'll go get them. After saying that, he turned and went back to the kitchen. After Jiang Cheng left, Grandpa gave Yi Qingjiu a thumbs up and said mysteriously, I think this kid is good. He can also cook. I won't let your stomach suffer in the future. After hearing what Grandpa said, Yi Qingjiu looked shy. Grandpa Tilda. When the grandfather saw his granddaughter was shy, he smiled and said, You are already a grown-up girl in your 20s. You can't be like a little girl, always shy. As the two were talking, Mother Yi came out with Grandma. She carefully helped Grandma to the chair and said, Mom, please sit down first. You will feel better after you finish your meal. Jiang Cheng came out with a large pot of steaming and fragrant spare ribs. Come on, eat while it's hot. As soon as the ribs were served, the room was immediately filled with fragrance. The two little guys stared with their eyes wide open. Nuo licked his lips with a look of eagerness. Daddy, Nuo wants to eat some meat. Hurry up and give Nuo some meat. Yanyan was so anxious that she almost stood up from the stool. Daddy, Yanyan wants to eat meat too. Jiang Cheng looked at the ribs placed on the table and smiled helplessly. Yes. How could you two little darlings be missing? Seeing the two babies, exaggerated expressions, Grandpa and Grandma couldn't help but laugh. A family of 7 sat at the dining table, talking and laughing while eating. Yi Qingjiu added a piece of spare ribs to Grandma's bowl with a tender look on her face. Grandma, you cooked spare ribs for me when I was a child. Now, although I can't cook, I found a husband who can cook. He can cook spare ribs for you. Grandma looked at Yi Qingjiu lovingly. Silly girl, Grandma is already old. How can she eat this? After saying that, he picked out the ribs and gave them to Mother Yi. Seeing this, Yi Qingjiu hurriedly said, Grandma, this is stewed specially for you by Jiang Cheng. Please try it. She believed in Jiang Cheng's ability, and as long as he said that Grandma could eat it, then there must be no problem. Grandma's eyes were touched. Okay, let's try it. It's amazing that my good granddaughter still remembers Grandma. After saying that, he put the ribs to his mouth and took a bite. It was really boneless, and the meat and bones had been cooked apart. My grandmother chewed it gently, and it really melted in her mouth. And the taste is exceptionally delicious. She had never eaten such delicious ribs. Grandma ate a piece and praised it. She smiled, and the wrinkles on her face became deeper. Well, it's good. Old man, you should try it too. Hearing this, Grandpa also picked up a piece and put it in his mouth. Delicious. This taste is so fragrant. In my grandfather's memory, the most delicious meat he had ever eaten was the one his mother stole from somewhere, when there was a famine when he was a child. It was just a small piece, so I cooked some soup first. The whole family drank the oily soup to satisfy their cravings. He was the only one who ate meat. The taste is amazing. Unexpectedly, Jiang Cheng's ribs today are even more delicious than that piece of meat. Grandpa smacked his lips and said, "You cook so well, are you a chef?" Jiang Cheng smiled and said, "Grandpa, I studied computer science, that is, computers." Hearing this, Grandpa was surprised at first, then his weathered face broke into a smile. "You're quite talented, that's great." The grandmother who was eating couldn't help but glared at the grandfather. "If you can't speak, don't speak. What do you mean by multi-talented? This is called an ambitious young man." Everyone couldn't help laughing when they heard the two people's inappropriate praise. After dinner, Grandma felt really bad and insisted on washing the dishes. Seeing that Jiang Cheng and Yi Qingjiu refused, Grandma's face darkened. "You two have cooked. What's there for a grandma to be afraid of washing the dishes?" She felt that she was the elder and that the children came to her house for dinner and cooked the meals themselves. She did not do anything and felt really embarrassed. Seeing that Grandma was angry, the two of them had to stop insisting. "Then we collect it and you wash it, that should be fine." Jiang Cheng smiled. Grandma nodded, "Okay." After saying that, he picked up 2 plates and walked towards the kitchen. After taking a few steps, he began to feel dizzy. His body went limp and he almost fell down. Jiang Cheng was quick to catch his grandmother. When Mother Yi saw her mother almost fall down, her heart rose to her throat. She hurried over and snatched the plate from her hand. "Mom, what's wrong with you?" Grandpa was also very nervous. "Hurry, help your grandma lie down." After Grandma said that, no one cared whether the dishes were washed or not. They all followed her into the bedroom. Even the 2 little babies followed Yi Qingjiu with nervous looks on their faces. Grandma sat on the bed and frowned. "Alas, I've been sleeping for the whole morning and it still doesn't work. I'm really useless at my age." Seeing her mother like this, Yi's mother almost cried. "Mom, what are you talking about? Why are they useless? If she is sick, we can just go to see a doctor." Grandma took Mother Yi's hand and said, "Forget it. This is an old problem of mine. I know it myself. Over the past few years, I have been to almost all the major hospitals in the country." After hearing what Grandma said, Yi's mother burst into tears. "Didn't you say it was hypoglycemia?" The grandfather at the side couldn't help but said, "What hypoglycemia? She said that on purpose because she was afraid you would worry. You only come back for a few days every year. How could she bear to make you worry?" After hearing what her grandfather said, Yi Qingjiu couldn't help but well up in tears. Although they hadn't seen each other for many years, they were blood relatives after all. She could still vividly remember how kind her grandmother had been to her, and she felt really bad seeing her fall like that. Grandma looked at the faces of several people, each one uglier than the last. She coughed twice and said helplessly, "I'm just dizzy, not terminally ill. What are you doing?" My grandmother has suffered from a strange disease in recent years and is always dizzy. For a normal person, the most she would feel when dizzy is confusion and nausea. She felt so dizzy that when she stood up, she felt that everything around her was moving and she couldn't walk normally. Moreover, my eyesight has deteriorated significantly, and everything I see is blurry. Seeing her mother like this, Mother Yi felt sad. "Mom, listen to me, let's go to a big hospital tomorrow." Grandma smiled and said, "It's an old problem. It will be gone in a couple of days. There's no need to see a doctor. I went to the hospital and had an X-ray. They couldn't find anything wrong with me. The doctor said there's nothing wrong with me." Chapter 99, This Disease Cannot Be Cured by Western Medicine, asking for monthly votes. Mother Yi's eyes were red. "How could you be so dizzy if you are not sick? Who can believe this? If you feel uncomfortable, you must be sick. You can't even walk. How can you be okay?" Jiang Chengdong listened to this, and that for a long time. I probably understood what illness my grandmother had. After all, he was a famous doctor, a renowned old Chinese doctor. He could basically diagnose the condition just by looking, smelling, and asking, without having to do any cutting. But he still wanted to confirm. "Grandma, when you took the X-ray, did the doctor say that it was suspected to be caused by shoulder and neck problems?" Grandma nodded. "Yes, at first they thought there might be something growing on my neck and shoulders, but later they found nothing. They checked my entire body, but they couldn't find the problem." Jiang Cheng looked at his grandmother seriously. Have you tried Chinese medicine? Hearing the Chinese doctor's words, my grandfather shook his head helplessly. Why didn't you go see a doctor? He just prescribed some medicine and told you to go home and rest. It was useless at all. I originally went to see a traditional Chinese doctor, but that didn't work, so I went to see a Western doctor, and the Western doctor just started taking some X-rays. We did a lot of tests like MRI, chest X-ray, etc., but they couldn't find out the problem. They prescribed some Western medicine, but it didn't help. The more Yima listened, the uglier her expression became. Could it be that this dizziness problem has become an incurable disease? Jiang Cheng looked at his mother-in-law and said, Mom, don't worry, how about letting me try? You? Mother Yi was surprised. When would her son-in-law see a doctor? Can you treat illnesses? Yi Qingjiu looked at Jiang Cheng. His mind suddenly buzzed, and before he could speak, he pulled him aside. Don't mess around, this is a big deal. Grandma is so old and can't stand the hard work. Jiang Cheng looked at her with a smile. Wife, how can this be nonsense? I tell you I am serious about Chinese medicine. Have you ever watched TV? The famous old Chinese doctor Jiang Liang, an academician of the Chinese Academy of Traditional Chinese Medicine, is my second grandfather. I have been influenced by him since I was a child. There is no problem. He really didn't lie. His second grandfather was real, and his relatives were real too. However, as for this, what we learn through observation and exposure, it is a bit watery. Only he himself knows how much water there is. Yi Qingjiu had indeed seen Jiang Liang on TV, and he often spoke of him at lectures on traditional Chinese medicine. It is said that he treats medical problems for senior executives. In short, he is very powerful. She looked at Jiang Cheng in confusion. Why didn't you say so earlier? Jiang Cheng touched his head and smiled slightly. Then you didn't ask me, what else can I say about this matter? Yi Qingjiu thought about it, and it seemed to be true. He didn't rely on this for a living, so there was really nothing to say. Well, why don't you try it? Jiang Cheng nodded confidently. Don't worry, it's a small problem. After saying that, he walked to the bed and said, Grandma, how about I help you take a look? My grandmother had been to the hospital for so many times that she had given up hope. But Jiang Cheng was her grandson-in-law after all, so she couldn't refuse. Okay, then you can take a look. Jiang Cheng felt his grandmother's pulse and said, Grandma, are you very sleepy? She shook her head. I don't get enough sleep every day. I can sleep most of the day. Oh, so your eyesight has also deteriorated, especially in your left eye. When Grandma heard this, she was surprised and asked, You know all this? She didn't mention her eyesight just now, but she didn't expect that this guy could actually figure it out for her. It seems that he is really good at it. Jiang Cheng nodded. Grandma, let me get you some medicine later. Take it for 2 days first. Let's see how it works. Through these two simple questions, Grandma has completely believed in Jiang Cheng's abilities. In the past, she had always taken the initiative to explain her condition to the doctor repeatedly. But this time, Jiang Chengguang could know all her problems just by taking her pulse. Grandma nodded excitedly. Okay, it would be great if it really gets better. I feel dizzy and can't get out of bed every other day. It's really torturous. Jiang Cheng nodded. Seeing that he was about to leave, Yi Qingjiu felt a little worried. After all, he was not familiar with the place. How about I go with you? Mother Yi also felt that 2 people should go. That's right, you 2 should go together, so that there will be one more person to take care of you on the way. Jiang Cheng smiled and said, Okay. Yi Qingjiu looked at the 2 babies behind him and said, We are going to get medicine for Grandma. Can you stay at home obediently? When the 2 babies heard that their parents were leaving, the eldest one was very unhappy. Nuo tugged at her clothes and acted coquettishly. No, Nuo wants to be with Mommy. Yanyan also hugged her legs, pleading. Yanyan also wants to follow Mommy. Yanyan is very good and won't run around. Yi Qingjiu looked at the 2 babies helplessly. We'll be back soon, okay? It will be dark soon, and it's not safe for the kids to be outside. No, no. No, no. The 2 babies came to their grandmother's house for the first time and were obviously a little unfamiliar. Although their grandmother was with them, they wanted to stay with their parents more. Hearing their mother's disagreement, the 2 babies immediately hugged Jiang Cheng's legs. Dad, Nuo wants to be with you. When Nuo spoke, tears welled up in her peach blossom eyes that looked very much like Jiang Cheng's. It could fall down at any time in the blink of an eye. Yanyan also pouted and said aggrievedly, Daddy, please don't abandon us, Tilda. Oh my God, looking at these 2 chubby kids, hugging their legs and acting coquettishly, who can resist it? Jiang Cheng patted the 2 babies' heads with a doting look on his face. Come on, Mom and Dad will take you there. After saying that, he picked up the two babies and looked at Yi Qingjiu behind him. Let's go. What? The family of four got in the car and drove into a relatively larger county town in the surrounding area. The conditions in the county town are pretty good, except that the buildings are low and the roads are narrow. Everything else is basically there. There are drugstores, supermarkets, and even a JD offline store, which looks pretty good. The family of four parked the car in the open-air parking lot and got out. The two babies looked at the bustling street and were extremely happy. Nuo pointed to the stall in front and said, "Mom, look, there are so many delicious foods there." After saying that, he ran away. Yanyan also followed her. Seeing that both children had run away, Yi Qingjiu hurriedly chased after them. "Don't run around. I already said we were here to buy medicine." The two kids were running and suddenly stopped at a stall selling candied haws, looking like they couldn't move anymore. Nuo looked at the red candied haws and drooled with greed. Yanyan also stood on tiptoe, leaning against the iron window of the stall and looking up. But he was too short, and after digging for a long time, he could only see half of the candied haws and could not see the whole picture. Yi Qingjiu hugged the two babies, looking worried. "You two can't run like this. What if you get lost?" Nuo pointed at the candied haws and said, "Mom, I want this." Yanyan also swallowed and said, "Mom, I want it too." Chapter 100, Candied Haws, asking for monthly ticket. Yi Qingjiu looked at the two treasures patiently. "This one is very sweet. It will damage your teeth. How about we buy something else?" When they heard that their mother didn't buy them anything, the two babies immediately felt aggrieved. Mom. Yi Qingjiu wanted to explain a few more words. Jiang Cheng walked over with his hands in his hands. "Boss, 3 candied haws." The boss looked at him with a smile. "Do you want to take it away?" "Need not." There is no doubt that Jiang Cheng bought it for the children. The two babies were so happy when they heard that they could eat candied haws. Nuo tied his hands and asked his father to hold him. "Daddy, Daddy, hug me." Yanyan also pricked this hand and said in a baby voice, "Daddy, there is Yanyan Tilda." It's as if his father is the only good person in the world. Yi Qingjiu put the two treasures on the ground, looking helpless. "This is too sweet. What if I damage my teeth?" She was really afraid that her two babies would damage their teeth and start having toothaches at a young age. Jiang Cheng looked at her with a smile and teased, "How could that be? I ate it often when I was a child and my teeth were not damaged. Look how white and shiny they are." Yi Qingjiu looked at him and couldn't help laughing. "You are so unruly." Jiang Cheng chuckled and handed the candied haws to Nuo and Yanyan. "Remember to brush your teeth after dinner. Don't be lazy, understand?" The two babies nodded. "Okay, Dad." After saying that, he couldn't wait to take a bite of the candied haws. Jiang Cheng looked at Yi Qingjiu and smiled. "Here, this is for you." She never thought that she would have her own. No one had ever bought her candied haws before. "When I was little, my dad always told me that eating too much sweets would cause cavities in the teeth. Now that I'm grown up, although no one is watching over me, I still ask for things from other children. She is an adult, she is a mother. Although she was eager inside, her intuition told her that she had to be more mature. "Why, you don't like it?" Jiang Cheng said in a light tone. Yi Qingjiu looked at the string of candied haws and hesitated a lot. Jiang Cheng could even see the desire in her eyes. She pursed her lips and shook her head. "How can an adult eat children's food?" "Tisk, this girl, what's wrong with her?" Jiang Cheng pulled her hand over and stuffed the candied haws into her hand. "Who said that adults can't eat it? Besides, the big baby is not a baby anymore. Eat it if you want, your husband will protect you, don't be afraid." His tone was carefree and a little overbearing. Yi Qingjiu looked at him and suddenly smiled like a loved child. The sunlight danced on the tips of her slightly yellow hair. It was undeniable that she was really beautiful. Jiang Cheng touched her head and said, "Wife, you are so beautiful." Yi Qingjiu glanced at him and said, "You are so unruly. Let's go buy some medicine for Grandma." After buying the medicine, the family of four returned the same way. Along the way, Yi Qingjiu held the candied haws carefully and was reluctant to eat anyone. Jiang Cheng looked at her curiously. "Wife, why don't you eat?" Her eyes were clearly full of desire just now. Yi Qingjiu swallowed, not knowing how to explain. Jiang Cheng saw her with her head down and in silence. "I couldn't help but use my mind reading again. How can I explain this? Such a beautiful candied haws, if you eat one it will be incomplete. This is the first time in my life that someone gave me a candied haws. I really don't want to eat it. Will he think I have a lot of problems? Then there won't be any more little surprises in the future. How can he be so caring, warm, and flirty? It's really unbearable." "Hiss." Women's minds are really full of twists and turns. Just a candied hawes, but we can associate it with so many things. Jiang Cheng didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Wife, how about we take a picture as a souvenir? If we don't eat it, the sugar will melt in a while. Tilda. Jiang Cheng held the steering wheel and spoke casually. He knows it again. He knows it again. How come he knows everything? Yi Qingjiu's phoenix eyes widened at the boss, his face full of disbelief. Why do you know everything? Jiang Cheng looked very proud. I told you that we are in tune with each other, but you still don't believe it, Tilda. Yi Qingjiu's face instantly turned red, and she snorted. Hate Tilda. There is a lot of space in the back seat of Alpha, and the two babies are sitting on the ground, playing with toys attentively. When they heard that Mom hated Dad, no one wanted to play with her anymore. Nuo pouted and stretched his head from behind, looking aggrieved. Mom, you can't hate Daddy, Tilda. Yanyan was also unhappy. Yes, Mom, Daddy likes you very much. Why do you hate him? What? Oh my God. Yi Qingjiu turned around and looked at the two babies. Be good babies. Mommy doesn't hate Daddy, Tilda. Nuo pouted. Humph, you're lying. You just said you hate Daddy. Yi Qingjiu really wanted to cry but had no tears. Mom really doesn't hate Dad. Yanyan looked at her, blinking her eyes, pouting her lips and thinking for a long time. Well, then you have to say you like Daddy. Mommy likes Daddy. Are you satisfied with this? After hearing Yi Qingjiu's affirmative answer, the two babies sat back on the ground contentedly and started playing with their toys again. 10 minutes later, the family of 4 arrived at Grandma's house. It was already getting dark at this time. Seeing them coming back, Mother Yi came up to them with a worried look on her face. Why did you take so long? Are you hungry? Yi Qingjiu smiled and said, It's okay. I ate a lot at noon, so I'm not too hungry now. Mom, do you have a medicine pot? Jiang Cheng held up a few Chinese medicines. I'll go make the medicine for Grandma. I feel really embarrassed that my grandson-in-law has to cook, take care of the doctor, and buy medicine for my wife. Without waiting for Mother Yi to speak, Grandpa hurriedly took the medicine and said, I'll go. You guys sit down and drink some water and take a rest. Jiang Cheng smiled and said, It's okay, Grandpa, I'm not tired. Seeing her father leaving with the medicine, Mother Yi said hurriedly, All right, don't be polite, don't fight over it, I'll go. Jiu, take Jiang Cheng to rest for a while. After saying that, he followed in his grandfather's footsteps. Yi Qingjiu raised an eyebrow at Jiang Cheng, looking helpless. Well, it seems like there is really nothing left for us to do. What? The family of 4 sat on the sofa for a while. The two kids had nothing to play with, so they both pulled their chins down and looked bored. Jiang Cheng touched their heads and said, What's wrong? Why are you unhappy, Tilda? Nuo looked at his father and said, Dad, Yanyan got Yuyu today, but I didn't. When Yanyan heard her sister say this, she looked very proud with I am the best written all over her face. Sister, I'll take you there tomorrow and catch some fish for you. Nuo looked at Yanyan and said, Why don't we go now? Good. The brother and sister are the ones who dare to speak and listen. Jiang Cheng was so scared that he broke into a cold sweat. So, let me digress. Tilda I often mark the group number, but there are always people asking me when the group was opened. 1,051,548,671 is the group number. Everyone is welcome to join. Chapter 101 Dad, let's go fishing, Tilda. It's getting dark now. It's so unsafe to go fishing. What if you bump into something or fall? It's scary enough just to think about it. Jiang Cheng hurriedly said, How about we go again tomorrow during the day? How about Daddy taking you to catch fish tomorrow? We can also catch butterflies. Nuo pouted and acted like a spoiled child. No, Tilda. Be good, let's go tomorrow. Jiang Cheng touched her head as a comfort. The little girl didn't want to be comforted. Her long eyelashes fluttered and her voice was sweet and sticky. No, Tilda. Jiang Cheng looked at his lovely daughter and almost agreed. He hardened his heart and said, No, it's too dark at night and it's not safe. Seeing that Daddy didn't agree, Nuo pouted and burst into tears. I don't know why this kid is so focused on catching fish. Maybe he was unwilling to accept the fact that he saw his younger brother catch the fish while he didn't. When Yanyan saw her sister crying, she suddenly climbed down from the sofa with her little butt sticking out and stretched out her little hands to wipe her sister's tears. While wiping, he said, Don't cry, Daddy won't take you, so I will take you. When Nuo heard this, she really stopped crying. She looked at Yanyan and asked, Really? Yanyan nodded, I am a man, I won't lie to you. After getting a positive answer, Nuo stopped crying, touched his eyes, and climbed down from the sofa with his butt sticking out. The two babies are about to go out holding hands. Jiang Cheng looked at them with a puzzled look. How about this? Daddy goes to catch fish for you guys. The ones caught during the day are too small. How about we go and catch a big one? He was really worried about his two darlings going into the water, so instead of letting them catch fish, he might as well catch them himself. Hearing that there was a big fish, the two babies nodded. Okay. The speed of changing faces is so fast that even movie stars may not be able to do it. Yi Qingjiu sat on the sofa with a helpless look on his face. You spoil them too much. Can't you even pick the stars in the sky? He doesn't want to get used to it, but there's no other way. He really couldn't bear to see the child cry. Besides, he hadn't been able to be with them for the past 3 years, and now he just wanted to make up for it. He thought about it, and suddenly his eyes lit up. Wife, let's go, I'll take you to eat grilled fish. Grilled fish? Jiang Cheng doesn't want to catch the fish and grill it himself, does he? Are you sure you can catch the fish? Yi Qingjiu hugged her long legs and looked at him uncertainly while sitting on the sofa. Jiang Cheng nodded. I saw it during the day. There were really fish, big fish. Seeing that she was still confused, Jiang Cheng grabbed her arm and pulled her up from the sofa. Let's go, let's go. We are free anyway. Yi Qingjiu lazily put on his shoes, looking helpless. I really can't do anything about you. Jiang Cheng put his arm around her shoulders and said, Let's go, my dear. Oh, let's go. The two babies ran out happily. Jiang Cheng carried the net he had used during the day, found some seasonings and put them in a bag, and then went out with his family of 3. The stars are very bright tonight, twinkling like diamonds embedded in the night sky. Niu pointed at the stars in the sky and was very excited. Dad, Mom, look, there are stars. So many stars. Yanyan also pulled at the corner of Yi Qingjiu's clothes. Mom, it's so beautiful. Yanyan likes it here so much. The deep blue sky and the silver moonlight. This is what the night should look like. Yi Qingjiu looked up at the stars in the sky, a view that had never been seen in the city. She curled the corners of her lips inadvertently. So beautiful. Jiang Cheng looked at her beautiful profile and said, When we get old, we can build our own yard, plant flowers and bask in the sun during the day, and take a walk and look at the night sky at night. How about that? Just thinking about it is enough to make one feel happy. Yi Qingjiu nodded. Will you dislike me for being an old woman? Jiang Cheng hugged her and laughed. How could that be? Even if all your teeth fall out, you are still my big baby. Yi Qingjiu poked him with her finger, her face full of happiness. Go to hell. What? The 4 of them walked to the creek. Jiang Cheng rolled up his sleeves and lowered the net deeper into the water. I have to admit, it looks pretty good. The mother and her 2 sons stood behind, and Niu and Yanyan kept cheering him on. Dad, you have to work harder. Daddy, we have to catch the biggest fish. What? Jiang Cheng was lucky and caught a fish in just 10 minutes. Although it was not the biggest, it was not small at all and was definitely enough for the whole family. The 2 babies clapped their hands excitedly when they saw the fish in the net. Daddy is great. Daddy is so awesome. Yi Qingjiu was also a little excited. Wow, he really caught it, so impressive. Jiang Cheng looked at the 3 people's admiring eyes and couldn't help but feel a little cocky in his heart. Well, this feeling is really wonderful. He smiled happily. Do you want to eat grilled fish? When the 2 babies heard that there was fish to eat, they immediately nodded frantically. Yes. Jiang Cheng smiled lovingly. How about we go pick up some branches to make grilled fish? Okay, Tilda. The 2 babies cheered. I'll take them to pick it up. Yi Qingjiu carefully pointed at the fish that was still struggling on the ground. You go and kill it. She looked nervous when she spoke, and it was obvious that she was still frightened by the last time she killed fish. Jiang Cheng will never forget the scene of her lowering her head to look for a fire extinguisher. He suppressed his laughter. Okay, then don't go far, there are plenty of them on the ground. Yi Qingjiu nodded obediently. Oh, I see. By the time Jiang Cheng finished washing the fish, the mother and her 2 sons had already returned with a small pile of branches. Jiang Cheng looked at the branch in Yi Qingjiu's arms and raised his eyebrows. My wife is so capable. When Niu heard that Daddy only praised Mommy, she became unhappy and pouted her lips so much that a bottle of oil could be hung on it. Daddy, you are so biased. Yanyan and I are obviously very capable too. Wow, now everyone knows the word biased. That's incredible. Jiang Chengcheng gave his 2 babies a thumbs up. They can do it all. Daddy's babies are the best babies. Niu became happy when he heard his father's praise. Yi Qingjiu put the branch on the ground and said, It's up to you from now on. Jiang Cheng patted his chest and said, No problem. He gathered the dry branches together and poured a little oil on them before he started a fire. The branches soaked in oil caught fire and immediately caught fire. The firelight instantly illuminated the darkness. Yi Qingjiu looked at the burning flames with a look of surprise. This was the first time she had seen such a scene in her life. It's really amazing. The two babies were so happy that they danced with joy. Wow, what a beautiful fire. What a nice view. Don't get too close, otherwise you will get burned, Tilda, Jiang Cheng warned. Yi Qingjiu took the hands of his two babies and sat down by the fire. The distance is neither too far nor too close, just right. Jiang Cheng skewered the washed fish on tree branches, applied some seasoning on it, and then roasted it over the fire. Chapter 102, Barbecue Night for a Family of 4. The bright firelight seemed particularly warm in the quiet night. The firelight shone on everyone's face. Yi Qingjiu sat next to Jiang Cheng, looked at the stick in his hand curiously, and then asked carefully, "Can I try it?" Jiang Cheng shook his head seriously. "No." Is there any secret to this?" Yi Qingjiu asked curiously. "Why?" Jiang Cheng poked his face and looked at her with a smile. "The meaning is very clear. You have to kiss each other." Yi Qingjiu looked at him helplessly. "The children are all here. Kissing in front of a child is so weird." Jiang Cheng smiled at her as if he knew everything. "I knew you would do this." Before he could finish his words, a pair of warm lips suddenly touched his face. After a moment, Yi Qingjiu looked at him shyly. "Is this okay?" Jiang Cheng just wanted to tease her, but unexpectedly, she actually kissed him. "By the way, this girl has a very soft mouth." He handed over the branch in his hand. "Okay, here you go." Seeing their mother grilling fish, the two kids couldn't help but want to try it. Nunu said softly, "Mom, can I try it?" "Mom, I want to try it too." Yanyan was also eager to try. Yi Qingjiu looked at the two treasures and asked, "Why didn't you grab them when Dad was roasting them?" "I just got them." Nunu glanced at Jiang Cheng, then at Yi Qingjiu. "It's because Baba baked it very seriously." "So you don't bake seriously?" Yi Qingjiu smiled bitterly, feeling that this child was becoming more and more partial. She looked at Yanyan next to her and said, "You and your sister think the same thing, right? After all, the two babies are twins, a boy and a girl, and their ideas are often similar." Hearing his mother asking him, Yanyan looked at her seriously and blinked his eyes. "No, Mom, Yanyan is a man. Yanyan wants to help Mom with the work." Yi Qingjiu looked at her son and felt warm in her heart. Yanyan is awesome. He is really Mom's little man. Yanyan was extremely happy to hear her mother's praise. He has been learning from his father, learning how to be a man and how to take care of his mother and sister. Jiang Cheng touched Yanyan's head and said, "Great." Then he looked at Yi Qingjiu and said, "Come on, let me do it. Look how much your son loves you and doesn't want you to get tired." After saying that, he took the wooden stick from Yi Qingjiu's hand, turned it over, and continued to roast it. The fish was grilled in about 20 minutes. The fragrance continued to float out. Jiang Cheng took back the stick, carefully tore off a small piece and blew on it, then handed it to Yi Qingjiu. "How about trying it?" Seeing that Daddy favored Mommy again, Nunu pouted. "Daddy, Nunu wants to eat too. Why don't you give it to Nunu?" Jiang Cheng patted her head and said, "Silly child, Daddy wants Mommy to taste it first to see if it's salty or spicy, to see if our little Nunu can eat it." After hearing what her father said, Nunu immediately put away her pouting mouth and said, "Mom, please try it." Yi Qingjiu looked at the father and daughter, not knowing whether to laugh or cry. "Okay, so you guys are using me to test the poison." Jiang Cheng raised his eyebrows, looking like he understood everything. How could he not know how much salt or chili he put in his cooking? "I just wanted to let my wife have a taste first. After all, without my wife, I wouldn't have my two lovely babies." Yi Qingjiu took a sip and looked very happy. Tilda, this is definitely the best grilled fish I have ever eaten." Jiang Cheng looked proud, of course. After saying that, he tore off a small piece for Nunu and Yan each and put them in their mouths. "The food my dad cooks is truly the most delicious in the world." Nunu has a small mouth like a hungry bird, crying out, "Daddy, I want more." Yanyan also looked eager. "Daddy, Yanyan wants to eat too." Jiang Cheng looked at the two babies with eyes full of doting. "Wait until Yi Qingjiu and the two children are full." Jiang Cheng then ate some of the fishtail, smacked his lips and sighed. It turned out that everything a god-level chef makes tastes good. The nights in the countryside are especially quiet. The family of 4 finished eating the grilled fish and returned to Grandma's house. Grandma took the medicine and went to bed early. Mother Yi was sitting in the yard waiting for them, taking advantage of the time when Yi Qingjiu and the babies were chatting with Yi's mother. Jiang Cheng entered the kitchen, locked the door, and entered the space. "My goodness, the cherries have fallen all over the ground. If it weren't for the spiritual field in the space that ensures the freshness of the cherries, they would have rotted by now." He frowned, and it seemed that he had to get rid of these cherries. Jiang Cheng took out the pinolea he had dug during the day from his pocket. After being separated from the soil for half a day, it had wilted. Jiang Cheng planted it in the spiritual field and then watered it with some spiritual spring water. After being watered with the spiritual spring water, the pinolea instantly became energetic, and its leaves also stretched out little by little. Jiang Cheng squatted on the ground and took a look, then walked out of the space with peace of mind. The next morning the sun was shining brightly, and it was another good day. The yard was filled with the strong smell of Chinese medicine. Niu opened her eyes, sniffed carefully, and frowned unconsciously. She nudged Yanyan, who was sleeping next to her. "Brother, do you smell anything?" Seeing that Yanyan didn't respond, Niu nudged Jiang Cheng next to him. "Dad, what's that smell?" Jiang Cheng was dazed. Seeing his daughter wake up, he touched her head and said, "Grandma is sick. Grandpa is making medicine for her." Hearing about the medicine being boiled, Niu perked up again. "Dad, can I go take a look?" Children seemed to be full of curiosity about the world. Jiang Cheng looked at Niu's innocent face and smiled. "Okay, you can take a look." Yi Qingjiu listened to the two people talking to each other and opened his eyes. "What are you talking about?" "My sister said that she wanted to watch the medicine being boiled." Yanyan closed her eyes, not moving at all, and didn't look like she was awake at all. All three of them laughed at his sudden words. "Is Yanyan awake? Why don't you open your eyes?" Jiang Cheng said in a gentle tone. Yanyan still closed her eyes. Yanyan wants to sleep for a while. After saying this, he actually fell asleep. Yi Qingjiu called him softly, "Yanyan." "What?" Jiang Cheng also called him, "Yanyan." "What?" While the child really fell asleep in the next second, Jiang Cheng was amazed. So the three of them got up, washed, and packed up, and Jiang Cheng took Niu to see how the medicine was boiled. Yi Qingjiu went to her grandmother's room. Her grandmother was half leaning on the bed, eating the cakes that Yi's mother brought her. Seeing that she looked good, Yi Qingjiu greeted her with a smile. "Good morning, Grandma." "Okay, do you want some snacks? Your mother brought them back from abroad." Yi Qingjiu shook his head. "I still like to eat our domestic food, such as sweet-scented osmanthus cake and red date cake. These are so delicious." After that, he asked with concern, "By the way, Grandma, how are you?" Chapter 103, Returning Home, Asking for Monthly Ticket. Grandma took the medicine last night and was obviously feeling much better. She looked at Yi Qingjiu with a smile. "I took the medicine my grandson-in-law brought me yesterday, and I don't feel as dizzy when I get up at night. I think I'll be completely well in 2 days." Mother Yi stayed with Grandma last night, fearing that it would be inconvenient for her to get up at night. Unexpectedly, Grandma was able to walk a few steps slowly and obviously had no intention of fainting. At that moment, his recognition of Jiang Cheng increased to a higher level. This son-in-law is so outstanding. I didn't expect Jiang Cheng to be so amazing. Not to mention he's handsome, he's also a good cook, sings beautifully, can draw, and now he's even a Chinese medicine practitioner. He has so many advantages. I'll leave you to him. Mommy couldn't be more relieved. Yi Qingjiu put her hands behind her back, listening to her mother's praise of her husband, and unconsciously became proud. "Mom, you don't know, he is like a book. The more you turn the pages, the more exciting it becomes." When she mentioned Jiang Cheng, she couldn't hide her love for him. Mother Yi looked at her and couldn't help but smile. "Oh, it's rare to hear our Jiujiu praising others. It seems that she is really in love." Found out by Mom." Yi Qingjiu lowered her head shyly. "Mom, what are you talking about?" Jiang Cheng walked in with Niu from outside. Seeing Yi Qingjiu's red face, he asked curiously, "Wife, what's wrong?" Yi Qingjiu coughed twice and pretended that nothing had happened. Seeing that she didn't speak, Jiang Cheng didn't ask any more questions. He turned around and looked at his grandmother. "Grandma, how do you feel?" Grandma nodded and said, "After taking your medicine, I feel much better. Now I can walk a few steps less. I think I will be completely well in 2 days." She never imagined that a disease that many famous doctors could not cure could be cured by her grandson-in-law. This is truly amazing. This child looks so young, yet he has such advanced medical skills. As long as he develops in this direction, he will definitely be a household name as a miracle doctor in the future. Grandma looked at him with a warm gaze. "Son, how old are you this year?" "He's still young, having just graduated from university." Mother Yi looked proud. "It seems like I'm saying, Mom, look at my son-in-law. Isn't he 1,000 times better than your son-in-law?" When Yi's father graduated from college, he married Yi's mother. At that time, they really didn't know anything. Mother Yi took care of his daily life every day just to make him work well. But in the end, she was always fired for various reasons. Grandma looked at Jiang Cheng and asked, Have you ever thought about pursuing a career in medicine? Jiang Cheng shook his head. Not yet. Grandma shook her head. What a shame, such a good technique is wasted. What a waste. After lunch, Jiang Cheng took Yi Qingjiu and the two children back to Chuancheng as he was going to attend a meeting at the company the next day. The day after tomorrow is the press conference for Honor of Kings, and we can't delay it. Mother Yi stayed at her grandmother's house, where she planned to take care of her grandmother for a while. Grandpa felt bad to see them leaving, but there was nothing good to give them at home, so he simply went to the vegetable garden to pick some fresh vegetables and asked Jiang Cheng to take them back. Jiang Cheng did not refuse and accepted it happily. After all, it was a gift from the old man. As soon as they got in the car, Yi Qingjiu and the two meatballs all fell asleep. Yi Qingjiu slept soundly, as if he had taken drugs. Not to mention the two meatballs, they have the habit of taking naps, especially in the car, where they are swaying around and fall into a deep sleep. Jiang Cheng drove alone for 4 hours in silence, from getting on the highway to getting off the highway, and then back to the lakeside villa area. He parked the car in the garage. Seeing that they were still asleep, he did not have the heart to wake them up, so he just laid down the seat back and played with his phone for a while. Yi Qingjiu didn't know how long he had slept. He just felt very sleepy and wanted to sleep more. Suddenly, he sneezed and woke himself up completely. She sat up and looked. Oh, we're home. Jiang Cheng looked at her with a smile. Wife, you are finally awake. Yi Qingjiu shook his head listlessly. I don't know what happened today. I just couldn't wake up. After saying that, he opened the car door and got out. Aunt Zhang knew that they would be coming back today, so she was there to greet them at the door early. Seeing two people, each holding a sleeping baby, he quickly opened the door and let them in. The two of them held the children carefully, but who would have thought that as soon as they entered the house, the two babies woke up. The two little guys were so happy to find themselves back home. Niu lifted her calves and asked her father to put her down. Jiang Cheng had no choice but to put her on the ground. Yanyan also opened her eyes. Mom, let me go. Niu took Yanyan's hand and said, Come on, let's go slide. Good. The two babies haven't played with their own toys for a few days, and they miss them so much. The first thing to do when you get home is to go to the children's room and play for a while. Aunt Zhang looked at the two of them and said, You must be tired too. Go take a shower and have a rest. I'll take them out to play. Yi Qingjiu was not tired, but she still had a lot of things to deal with. She nodded, Thank you for your hard work. That's impossible. I watched Niu and Yanyan grow up under my care. I can't bear the pain. Why are you suffering so much? After saying this, Aunt Zhang smiled and went to the children's room. Yi Qingjiu returned to the room and began to deal with the various emails from the past 2 days, as well as the various documents that Si Qingqing had sent her that needed to be reviewed. Seeing that she was busy, Jiang Cheng didn't disturb her. He went back to the room, took a shower, and started preparing dinner. After dinner, Yi Qingjiu continued to deal with documents. The two babies watched TV with Jiang Cheng for a while, drank some milk, and then went to bed. While coaxing her to sleep, Jiang Cheng's heart had already flown to Yi Qingjiu's room. They have been sleeping separately for several days since Yi's mother came. As soon as the two babies fell asleep, Jiang Cheng entered Yi Qingjiu's room. There was no light in the room, only a faint glow from the notebook. Yi Qingjiu was concentrating on processing documents. Jiang Cheng brought a glass of milk and placed it on her desk. Don't stay up too late. Drink some milk and go to bed early. Yi Qingjiu also wanted to go to bed early. He had been feeling unwell all day. After sitting for so long, my back and waist are sore. She shrugged her shoulders, her beautiful eyes drooped, and she immediately looked pitiful. Honey, I'm so pitiful, my shoulders hurt so much, Tilda. Her lips were slightly raised when she spoke, making people want to kiss her. Who can stand this? Be good, don't do it if you're tired. Otherwise, I'll give you a massage. As Jiang Cheng spoke, he placed his hands on Yi Qingjiu's shoulders. After all, he was a man and his hands were very strong. After just 2 presses, Yi Qingjiu began to frown and hide here and there. It hurts so much. Chapter 104, Massage for my wife, asking for monthly ticket. When Jiang Cheng heard his wife cry out in pain, he immediately pulled back his hand. He thought for a moment and said, Why don't you lie down and press it to see if it will feel better? Yi Qingjiu nodded and climbed onto the bed obediently. Her skin was in good condition, white and tender. Jiang Cheng felt that if he applied a little force, he could leave a red mark on her skin. He controlled the strength to make each stroke neither too heavy nor too light, from the shoulders to the lower back, and then to the shoulders again. He looked at her beautiful back and his heart beat faster. He tried to calm himself down. Yi Qingjiu lay on the bed with an intoxicated look on his face. I didn't realize you could give massages. Jiang Cheng teased, I know a lot more, do you want to try it? What is he going to do? Hearing this, Yi Qingjiu became a little nervous. She swallowed and quickly sat up. Hey, I want to take a shower. She didn't even have time to take a shower at her grandmother's house yesterday, and she didn't want to. Jiang Cheng nodded with a half smile. Okay, do you want me to accompany you? What kind of lewd words are these? Her heart was lifted up. No, do. Before she could finish, Jiang Cheng had already picked her up. No, you want it. What? 2 hours later, Yi Qingjiu was carried out of the bathroom weakly by him. Jiang Cheng kissed her rosy little face. Is my wife satisfied? Yi Qingjiu's whole body softened. You put me down. How come this guy is getting more and more powerful each time? Who can stand this? Jiang Cheng put her on the bed, covered her with a blanket, and said lovingly, have a good rest. Yi Qingjiu turned away, embarrassed to look at him. She couldn't help blushing and her heart beating fast when she thought of the scene in the bathroom just now. What? The next morning, she was woken up by a kiss. And when I realized it, I seemed to be responding actively. She opened her eyes, husband, you. Jiang Cheng looked at her, Sue, don't talk. You fly proudly over the leaves where I live. Yi Qingjiu's cell phone rang. She hesitated for a moment and finally picked up the phone. Hello. Hello, Mr. Yi, the meeting will start in 10 minutes. When will you come over? Si Qinking's voice came from the other end of the phone. Just last night, Yi Qingjiu told Si Qingking to notify everyone to attend a meeting at 8 o'clock this morning. But now she can't go. Yi Qingjiu answered with difficulty. Notify everyone, the meeting will be postponed. After she finished speaking, she quickly hung up the phone. Si Qingking looked at Manager Luo opposite her with a confused look on her face. What happened to Mr. Yi? His voice was intermittent. What? 2 hours later, Yi Qingjiu arrived at Tang Xing's office. God knows how tired she was. She looked at Si Qingking and said 4 words expressionlessly. Hold the meeting immediately. What? Jiang Cheng was already on his way to send his 2 babies to kindergarten. I had originally planned to send it off together, but I didn't expect to be late. All I can say is that plans don't change as fast as they should, or maybe I'm young and in good health. In short, he was in a good mood all the way. The 2 babies haven't come to kindergarten for several days, and now they are in a very good mood. When I arrived at the school gate, I ran in impatiently without any reluctance at all. Jiang Cheng looked at their excited backs, shook his head, and smiled helplessly. Only after the 2 people entered the classroom did Jiang Cheng get in the car, turn the car around, and drive towards Tengxing. I passed by a breakfast shop and bought 2 fried dough sticks on purpose. Today was a special day, and I didn't make breakfast at home. The 2 babies can eat at school, but my wife can't go hungry. When Jiang Cheng arrived at Tengxing, Yi Qingjiu's meeting had already ended, and he was leaning back in the boss chair to take a rest. Seeing Jiang Cheng coming in, he asked weakly, Why are you here? Jiang Cheng looked at her and said, I'm here to bring you breakfast. After saying that, he placed the fried dough sticks and soy milk on the table and said, Remember to eat them. I'll go ask Suji if there is anything else going on in the past 2 days. After saying that, he walked out. Yi Qingjiu glanced at the fried dough sticks on the table. He wanted to eat them, but he was too lazy to move. When Jiang Cheng arrived at the project team, everyone was working hard except Suji, who was holding a big bun and stuffing it into his mouth with one hand while typing on the computer with the other hand. Jiang Cheng looked at him and felt sick. Brother, look at him, then look at yourself. What's wrong with me? Hearing Jiang Cheng talking about him, Suji was very unconvinced. He swallowed the bun and said, I originally had something to tell you. Since you dislike me so much, forget it. Anything wrong? Jiang Cheng perked up when he heard this, and his attitude immediately changed 80 degrees. How about we go to the balcony and have a cigarette to refresh ourselves? Suji smacked his lips, looking reluctant. Okay. The 2 of them went to the balcony. Jiang Cheng took out a cigarette and handed it to Suji. Tell me what happened in the past 2 days. When he left, he arranged for Suji to pay attention to the movements of everyone in the group. After all, their group was the most critical in the entire Tengxing. He holds a large amount of first-hand information about the king, and if any of it is leaked out, it will be a big problem. Suji lit up the cigarette and took a sip. It was that guy from MIT. I left my house key in the office that day. When I came back to get it, it was already past 8 o'clock. He was the only one who didn't leave the company. Jiang Cheng raised his eyebrows, and then I heard him on the phone in his office. Suji took another puff of his cigarette. By the way, is there a CEO named Wang in our company? Jiang Cheng thought for a while and said, It seems there is a Mr. Wang. The company has 4 deputy prime ministers, Li, Zhang, Feng, and Wang. He had heard from Yi Qingjiu that each of them held a 10% stake. The guy from MIT called Mr. Wang and said you weren't here for the past 2 days. He also said if there were any new developments, he would report them in a timely manner. In short, he was very attentive. Jiang Cheng frowned. It seemed that Mr. Li's matter had not been dealt with yet, and now Mr. Wang had come. This Tengsing was really not as peaceful as it seemed on the surface. His wife has suffered so much. Did you say anything else? Jiang Cheng asked. Suji shook his head. That's all. I just heard these few words, and then my buddy saw me, and he glared at me. Jiang Cheng rolled his eyes at him and said, "You are amazing to be able to discover this. But it's okay, my buddy is very smart and not panicking at all. I just went up to him and asked him, 'Why are you glaring at me?'